What's up, Cloud Gamers? Welcome to this event. Pretty exciting stuff. Don't know what's gonna come out of this, but we'll see. Hopefully, we get some XCloud announcement. Fingers crossed. Something that I'm hoping for with this is that we get XCloud on mobile to have better resolutions and maybe, hopefully, some PC support officially to get at 1080p instead of having to um, do the workarounds. But that's the hope for this event. But again, we might see some exclusive Game Pass games just announced for the platform. So good stuff. Again, don't know what's gonna come out of this, but really exciting. So we'll see. We'll see. How about you, Hell Monkey? What is some of your expectations? What are you hoping to see from this event?
Well, anyone that knows me knows I love a good indie game. I don't think indie developers get enough love from the mainstream gaming um, consumer.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fantastic games get overlooked.
Yeah.
Um, Devolver Digital is one of the developers that stand out for me. They have made some great games over the years, and there's an announcement coming to do with them that we know, plus loads that we don't know about. But if we're talking cloud gaming, yeah, I want to see what games are coming to XCloud in the next 6 to 12 months, hopefully.
Hmm. Okay. Do you think we'll see like any type of big? I know this is focused more towards like little indie games, but do you think we'll see something from like a top dev from Microsoft at this event? Do you think they'll give us like a one more type of surprise, a AAA game coming or a showcase?
Uh, I want to say yes. I want to be optimistic and think, yeah, let's get another big game. But just the way that this event is lined up, I think this is just going to be, a ton of indie games,
Yeah, yeah.
ones that we don't know about just yet.
Okay.
And hopefully the trailers and what the show is going to be enticing, and it's going to let everyone see just what these independent developers are capable of.
Yeah. Let's say what's up to some of the people. Ben, how are you doing, sir? It's good to see you in here. I don't know how to say your name, but it's good to see you in here as well. So it's quite interesting because if you look at the Game Pass portfolio, you see they have a lot of stellar AA, AAA games. Something I feel like they can use some of is some indie games, right?
Yeah.
So I can see them. Nintendo hosts this little indie direct, and the Switch I feel like is killing it right now with indie titles. Sony has always had a good support for indie games. I mean, that's where Rocket League kicked off from. Warframe, even though some people consider Warframe to be a AAA game, but it kind of started with an independent indie studio. So I feel like Sony does a good job as well with indies. And, Microsoft, I feel like, can benefit from indies and they can use some indies in Game Pass. So it's going to be quite interesting to see like if they really push that with this event, right?
Yeah, because I mean, I don't see why an indie developer wouldn't want their game on Game Pass. There's
Mm-hmm.
there's 18 million
Yeah.
subscribers right now,
Yeah.
so compare that to an independent developer just putting their game out
Yeah.
by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
With so little marketing. But if
Yeah.
it comes onto Game Pass,
Yeah.
there's literally 18 million people there
Yeah.
that are going to
And
get a notification of
yeah,
some kind that this game is on there, and
exactly.
it's if you're subscribed, there's no reason not to try it.
Yeah. And like that was 18 million they announced what several months ago. The number's probably higher right by now.
Yeah,
And realistically speaking, Game Pass itself has more users than both Xbox Series 1 X and XS and the PlayStation 5 combined, so you're talking about like 18. That's a huge number of people that will have eyes to your games if you're an indie developer. So yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting again to see what comes out of this event. Wouldn't it be nice if that would be crazy, dude. That would be crazy. Talk about like getting, man. It'll be good for the devs too, you know. Even though they don't need, the game is doing well on its own, but man, talk about like pushing this game even further. It'll be really nice for the devs too. But good to see people on here. What up, Philippi? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, we're in for a couple of surprises that we know of because there's things that are completely unannounced just yet. So,
Mm,
do I think Valheim will come? I don't think so. But then
yeah.
again, I really, really hope that I'm proven wrong. You know, that would be crazy if that happened.
Yeah.
Um,
So just a heads up real quick, at my work, there's some landscapers that come around this time and make a lot of noise. So if you see me muting my mic, just know that's what's good. It gets really loud in here with the landscapers. So just want to disclaim and give you guys a heads up with that. Victor, what is good, bro? It's good to see you on here for sure. But people in the chat, let us know what do you guys, what are some of your predictions? What are some of you guys' hopes and wants? What do you guys hoping comes from this event? I'm really curious to know what y'all are hoping to see. Ben is talking about Valheim being added. Again, Microsoft has a lot of crazy studios right now on the portfolio, so it's gonna be pretty cool to see, right? If any of these studios are working on some, again, they have enough studios to build out a decent first party IP indie portfolio. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
yeah, do you want me to put up the page from
Yeah, put it
Xbox
up.
right now before
Put it up.
we
Yeah,
before we
let's see
vote? Yeah.
what people are saying in the comments too. Uh, but again, sorry about the landscaping noise, man. You guys are probably gonna hear some of that. We should have some people joining us here too. And again, I'm at work, so I might have to leave. But we have Chief and Holtz who potentially are going to come in here. So it'll be good to hear what they have to say and get their feedback, right, with this event as well.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. So I've been scouring this page for the last couple of days, waiting on this event happening, and it's actually quite interesting that Idea Xbox have teamed up with Twitch. They've went to Twitch, one of the biggest gaming sort of
Yeah,
platforms to put
yeah,
this out for a start.
yeah,
So that in itself tells me that there's going to be some big announcements here.
yeah. It's quite not okay. So you've heard rumors of the Xbox paying 10 billion for Discord, right?
It's a
Um,
crazy amount of money, by the way.
they're
Absolutely
just they're
crazy.
just throwing money everywhere these days. I should just create something and approach Microsoft and say, hey, give me a mil for this, man. But yeah, I wonder like if we'll hear any announcement. Maybe the deal is not finalized, but or maybe it is and we don't know. But I'm wondering possibly if we'll hear anything about that and if it's somehow gonna be like integrated to like a collaboration with Twitch. Just I don't know. Again, just blowing smoke right now. We're just guessing what possibly can come out of this event. Um,
Yeah, I mean, you would think if Microsoft's going to pay 10 billion for Discord, you would think there is going to be integration in there,
yeah,
with
Xbox
Xbox.
ecosystem. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
agreed.
it wouldn't make any sense for them to spend that money and not integrate it into Xbox.
Yeah. So we are at Xbox, so digital publishing program for Xbox. Love indie games. It's in our blood. Technically, it's also kind of our name. Turns out our friends at Twitch also love indie games. When we found out, we thought we'll collab. I'm thrilled to announce the first Twitch game showcase. So this is gonna be a thing, right? This thing is the first, with possibly more to come.
Yeah.
So Twitch gaming and more than 100 games from in base. Wow, we feature intensive independent titles, including brand new game announcement from developers such as, okay, how cool, Dear Village. During the showcase will debut new trailers and gameplay for more than 25 games, including, wow, okay, Wild
Yeah.
at Heart, wow, whoa, and Stalker 2. Man, these are some, I mean, these are some pretty decent titles here. We'll also be making an announcement about independent coming to Xbox Game Pass. Community favorite Twitch streamers will host. Wow. Okay. Keep going down. That is, man. Okay. That is set your reminders for Friday at 9, which should be starting in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You can. Okay, man. Again, this is not a lightweight show, guys. Good things, potentially can come out of this event. Again, we'll see what comes from here. Holtz, what's good, bro?
Hello,
You good,
host.
guys? You good? You good, monkey?
How is it going? Sorry about the
All
delay. I was
good,
on
all
another
good.
window there.
You said
All
15
good.
minutes, so I was checking on. I didn't know you started, so I was like,
Yeah, no, Ace got ahead of himself. He wanted to build up the hype, you know.
oh, is that what he's all hyped up for them
Always.
indie developers?
Indie titles.
Indie developers.
And I can't argue with the main man, you know.
Yeah, that's it. Get on there quick.
Yeah, get the hype going. Get the hype going. But
Is
if you
there
if you
anything
look
you're
at
looking
this,
forward to?
so I honestly speaking, I'll be 100% honest. Like, I'm not the biggest indie guy, and again, I apologize in advance for the noise that you're about to hear. But I'm not a big indie guy, but I've seen indie like Valheim. I've seen indie titles do well, Rocket League. And so my thing is, I mean, just reading the list of games that are potentially going to be here, it looks like good stuff, man. My thing is, Microsoft now has a lot of great studios under their portfolio, so I'm seeing if they're gonna make some announcement with some of those studios working on some stuff. So again, Second Extinction, Stalker 2, or Wild at Heart. I mean, those are some pretty decent titles, right? And to see if those games come to Game Pass too would be pretty huge. So,
Yeah.
um,
The
we'll
Ascent,
see.
the Ascent's got a big following as well. That's they're doing really well for themselves recently.
Yeah, for sure.
And-
I'm gonna
and we
mute
know-
my mic.
Yeah, and we know Devolver Digital has come out with some fantastic games, and not to go too far off topic, but I believe one of their games is coming to Stadia in the coming months. I believe one of their games is announced, and the name of it has completely gone from my head right now. But yeah, and one of the things that gets me from reading through this article as well is that they're bringing on some community Twitch streamers as well. It's going to kind of, as it says there, host and showcase and conduct interviews. I think that's really good. That shows, that Xbox actually care about the community and the gaming community on Twitch, which is quite big for indie games. So it is.
I mean, I'm the type of person that I'm just tuning in here now. I mean, just getting some hidden gems. That's all I want. I'm not really excited for the 100, but I would look forward to a few, especially if they came to Game Pass. So I'm just here to see the ones that are coming straight to Game Pass and maybe seeing some trailers that we've already seen before on the 25 games.
So I don't believe this is gonna be a light show. I don't believe like we're gonna see some crappy games. I do think, like you're saying, Holt, we are gonna see a lot of hidden gems come out of this event. indies right now, I feel like indies back in the days used to have the Super Nintendo graphics and the pixelated graphics, but I feel like those days, I mean indies. You look at a game like Valheim, there's so much meat in indie games these days, and I think we'll see that with this event. You're gonna see games that pretty much can stand out as like double A games, right? And I'm telling you, I mean, Stalker 2, right? Second Extinction, those games are not like
Yeah,
pixelated games.
that is
Those
what I'm
games
looking for.
can,
Is that the
yeah,
dragon one? Is that the
yeah,
dinosaurs that I
the
thought were
dinosaur
bored
one.
Yeah,
It
I'm
looks it
looking
looks
for.
pretty sick. Again, 3D game, great graphics. So don't sleep on this event. I'm telling you, we're gonna see some games that stand out here that potentially can be double A, potentially triple A titles. And so that's my hope. So we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I think everyone's looking for that, sort of Valheim style game, that indie game that is going to take off next.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause we see so many that have done so well in the past.
Mhm.
Some have fallen off lately, like the likes of Fall Guys had a big rise, and then just as a dramatic drop, I think. Um, so that's it. That's the style. What intrigues me about these types of events is actually, sometimes you see a game trailer and you just think, oh my god, that looks amazing, and you
Yeah,
you cannot wait to get into it.
yeah,
Um, and there's that feeling, and the thrill ride of, you see the trailer, you wait so long until the game comes out, and then
yeah,
you jump into the game, and you don't know what fully to expect because it's an independent developer.
yeah,
Whereas with a double A or a triple A developer, you sort of know what you're going to get.
yeah,
Um, there's a sort of standard, if you like, of double A and triple A games that you sort of you're going to get content, you're going to get, should I say, value for your money? Sometimes not, but then again, with independent developers, it's constant hit and miss, And I really don't mind spending money on an independent game, because the folks behind it, it's such a small percentage compared to your big developers. That these guys and women have poured their heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears into these games, and then we get to try them out and just
yeah,
see how hard they've worked, and how good the games are. Can they capture an audience? Because that's what the likes of Valheim and your Fall Guys have done recently. They've captured a massive audience, and the games have took off. That's the sort of games that I'm looking for,
yeah,
coming
The,
from these events.
the games that
yeah,
I look forward to, I mean, I've not played Valheim, but the games I love is always from like the art styles you see, like in Spirit Fair or Lost
mm-hmm,
Words or
mm-hmm,
Rayman Legends or Child of Light. I just love all that kind of art style
yeah,
and play
Yeah,
through. And I'll invest 6 hours. I'll throw my money at a full price indie game, but it's got to be that kind of art style and that kind of narrative-driven story that captivates me to actually jump into these games with a
yeah.
powerful message.
I
yeah,
agree. Like Celeste, I mean,
Yeah.
Celeste was held highly because of the message, right? Of even as simple looking as the game was, the game won a lot of awards, sold pretty well, and spoke and connected with a lot of people. They're gems in indies, man, and I think what this event is going to do is showcase that. So, and again, the games that they've announced so far are not like small. I mean, Stalker 2, you know, was the extension game that the dinosaur one. I mean, these are pretty good games so far. So again, we'll see what else that they have. What is Wild at Hearts? I'm trying to look that up now. What is that a what
is that
kind of game
the
is this?
is that the roguelike game, or is that the platformer?
Let me see. I'm
Uh,
trying to
you know,
look it up.
it's left my head right now. Do you know what I'm really looking forward to? Is I want to see another good roguelike game. I do like a roguelike game,
Okay.
where some indie games are like, you know, they want you to have a good experience, so they don't put in a lot of you know, death scenarios. So there's so many checkpoints and whatnot. I like a good roguelike game where there's pressure on you to get it done, and the longer you go on in the game, the more you learn. But as well, the further you go on, the more risk there is if you die. You know.
So you love a lot of risk and rewards. I mean, I used to like that
Yes.
years ago, especially when I used to
Yes.
chase achievements. But now I'm like, give me a checkpoint everywhere to see.
Well, I think the thing is as well. You know, I was kind of brought up in the time. You know, there's a game I seen someone on Twitch streaming the Lion King game. If you
Oh,
know what I'm
yeah,
talking about.
I thought that was a very
Right.
hard game years ago.
There was like 2 hours until a checkpoint in that game or something like that, man. And I remember.
Or even going back to like learning, like we said, roguelike, even like when we go back to like Super Mario's the first game, when you encountered that first enemy, you didn't know what you should have done, so you tried and you got hit by it. Then next time it's like, okay, I'll try and do something. I'll jump on a 10. You learn, don't you, as you progress, and that was what was so great about games back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. And the thing is as well, when you got to that stage in a game,
Progress, and that was.
you know, you came across, right, okay, I can't do that, but then the game sent you so far back. And you know what I used to do was I used to go through the game thinking, okay, I can just, you know, run through it so easily up until this final boss. But then you get caught out because you get sort of short sighted, and you think, okay, this is going to be easy, I've already done it. But then you die again before you get to the boss, and you're way back to the beginning again.
Well,
Them sort of games that as you say, holds the risk and reward is it's frustrating, but it makes the experience of playing the game so much better.
I'm more of a Metrovania type of person where I'll try and solve a puzzle and I'll go, I nearly got it. I'll spend like 20 minutes and I realise I need a certain power to get it. Then you progress, and then when you get that power, you always remember in your mind where that hidden treasure chest was that's on your head in. And it's just great to go back to get it.
Yeah. I mean, one of them style games, a lot of people might not have heard of it, but it's called Dreamscaper.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
yeah, at PC, I've got it on Steam, play it on GeForce now. That's the exact style of game there. There's so many different loadouts you can use, and you need a different loadout for a different level, and even for different rooms at times. So you got to put a loadout together that's going to get you through, you know, a certain room or a certain level.
Sure.
And yeah, it just makes the gaming experience so much better. I think things like that.
But look at this game real quick, man. Game like Stuck, dude. This is one of the games that is gonna be here, and they call him. Sorry, I thought the trailer was longer, but they call him this an indie game. You know, that's what I'm saying. With just the quality of indie titles these days are just getting a lot better, and I think we're gonna really be blown away by what we see here when it comes to showcase for indie
Sometimes when you see indie titles, they win actually awards, because I remember Hades won a BAFTA award for that. So sometimes you've got really great script writers and stuff like that, really powerful music. So sometimes there's more than just visuals for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the narrative part of a game, I think, is so important. Like, how many games have you played recently, or you know, over the past few years? That the action's there. It might be difficult at times, you know, the combat, etc. But if there's not a good story behind it, it's really easy to lose a consumer's interest. It's so easy to lose interest if the story isn't compelling enough. And it's getting harder and harder to bring something new to the table. And I think a lot of indie developers manage to bring that sort of new narrative to a lot of their games, and sometimes, unfortunately, they go unnoticed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know it's coming to other platforms in April, but I would highly recommend the likes of Lost Words Beyond the Page. And I remember just playing that for the narrative, and I was just in tears by the end.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Seeing the art
That's a
style
good
jump from
game.
the page to like her imagination plus the story
That's a
of
good game.
yeah, it was a really good, very powerful
Yeah.
message.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, the people should definitely check that out for sure if they haven't.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming out to like Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and stuff like that next
Mm-hmm.
month. If I remember.
It's good, well deserved. You know, so Guild. Would you consider Guild
Yes.
an indie?
Yes,
That's an
yes.
indie game. So we can see caliber of games like that at this event. That's what I'm saying. Like there's potential here to see some pretty awesome stuff, man. Don't sleep on
Yeah.
indie titles. That's what I've been learning. I
No.
mean, look at this
But
Stalker
even
2.
like I said, even like Little Nightmares too, I always find like that indie-ish. So I'll recommend Little Nightmares.
Yeah, that's a good one. Have you
Yeah.
guys
Well.
ever tried the game Valiant Heart or
Yes,
something like
yes,
that?
Valiant Heart. I
Oh
love Valiant
man,
Heart
I was
because
just playing that the other day. I was like, this is a well thought out
what
indie
happened
game
was
for sure.
Ubisoft done UbiArts, which was
Mm,
actually Rayman, Valiant Heart, and Child of Light, and all them games I was just addicted to. Really great,
mm,
powerful message, narrative, great sounds, great enjoyable features and stuff like that.
hmm. Yeah, the game was brilliant for sure. And again, I'm excited, man. Let's see, Chief, where are you at? You say bring it on. Are you are you here yet, dude? All right, let's say what's up to the chat. I see some of you guys on here talking. Full octave. What's up, man? It's good to have you on here. Good to see you. I don't want Microsoft. You said I'm quitting Discord. Victor, you hilarious. Yeah, the show should be starting like in 2 minutes now. Monkey, if you are listening, try to cue that up. Should be starting pretty soon. Uh, let's see. In cloud, yeah, cloud gaming is dope, man. It's yeah, the advantage, like I was saying, like you're saying here, just to echo this, is the fact that you don't have to worry about space, hard drive space. You don't have to worry about downloading. You don't have to worry about patches. Um, all right, monkey say, okay, bathroom break. All right, cool. Yeah, I love cloud gaming. I was saying this last chat. Like I have a 3060 laptop that I'm using right now, RTX. I just purchased a 3070 desktop for editing videos. I can play most PC games to like their highest capacity right now. I had a PS5, had an Xbox One X and Series X. I sold them. I just don't have the interest to be tied down to a box, right? The convenience of cloud gaming, I feel like, has really spoiled me a lot. That it makes it difficult for me to just be a traditional gamer now. So, yeah, there are a lot of benefits to cloud gaming. I do think there'll be news here. Again, they so with indies, I mean, if you think about Game Pass, right? Their focus is on mobile right now, specifically Android devices. Indies fit well to play on a mobile device, right? That's why
Especially
I think that
touch
yeah,
controls.
with touch controls, and that's something XCloud Microsoft is pushing a lot. I That's why I think we're gonna hear some XCloud announcement here. Again, the focus of this is indies, and again, touch controls and XCloud is pretty much right now limited to phones. So this might be the event where we hopefully get like 10 and more than 720p, possibly 1080p support for mobile, or just letting us know that they've brought some enhancement to performance with XCloud. But we'll see, man. A lot of things can come from this event for sure. I don't appreciate that Stadia has too many platformers. Wait, what? Stadia has too many platformers? What? Would you say? I think
No.
they don't have great platformers, or a lot of good ones to begin.
Well,
Um,
adding in the Secret of the Seasons, there's what was that one? I think only about five, maybe.
They have this SpongeBob SquarePants Bikini Bottom. If you want to call that area game that came out, I don't know what that is, but I would say that's more of like an RPG game compared to a platformer, right? They have the case game that we just did a video on. They have Monster Boy. I don't know if you can consider Monster Boy a. I don't know if you can consider that to be a platformer. Monkey, the event should have started by now,
Yeah, I
right?
think so. Should I put it up?
Yeah,
Let's
yeah. Put it up. Put
go.
it up.
Bringing it up right now. Sorry, guys. I am
No, you good.
just.
You're good. So I'm hoping for a cancellation at work. Make sure you pull the sound. That's the tricky part with StreamYard. You gotta right click. When you right click screen share, there's a little check mark in the bottom left that helps you put the sound.
Oh,
So yeah,
goodness.
Yeah,
sure.
so
Sorry.
Yeah, it's
Ari's
so
Ari in the 6th season is classified as an action
Yeah.
adventure.
yeah.
Be awesome. And as I
Okay,
mentioned, we will
action
have
adventure.
that
Yeah,
special interview with
Can everyone hear the audio? Yeah?
It's awesome.
yeah. Hear it.
Yes.
Great,
Oh
great.
my gosh, I am
Can
so
you full
excited
screen
about
it?
this. Now, before we do get started with our show, I do want to remind everyone at home, please sound
Ben
off
calls
in the
them
chat. We want to know what
smartphone
you guys
games.
think. I mean, I already see the chat moving and shaking as it is. I am
Can we make
super
it full
excited about
screen,
this.
Monkey?
So without
that
further
better?
ado, I
We
want
should
to
mix
remind everyone
smartphone with
throughout
indies, call
today's
them
ID at
Swindies.
Xbox, at Twitch Gaming, Indie Game
Like if you
Showcase,
go
we will
to
be airing
the
exclusive new game
screen, there
trailers for
should
the
be a
very
low
first time.
box to make
Some
it
will
full
feature
screen.
gameplay updates to highly anticipated indie titles.
There you
Others will
go.
be
Yeah.
brand new,
Perfect.
never
Perfect. Sorry,
before
guys.
seen game
No,
trailers.
you good.
But
You
that's
good.
not all we have. So
Good
make sure
stuff,
you
good
stay
stuff.
tuned throughout the show and share your reactions in the Twitch chat. So, everyone, let's go ahead and get into it.
So
First up,
excited.
we're dropping some new gameplay trailers. Let's take a look.
Let's see it.
Trailers first,
Wow,
eh?
they starting with the bangers, bro. Oh wow, I have a session. Alright, I'm gonna hop off and then hopefully if I look at this, guys, they're calling this. Look at this. This looks so dope. Anyway, I'm gonna hop off real quick and hop back on. If my damn, what game is this, bro? What is this, guys?
This looks brilliant, by the way.
Looks like Crisis a little bit. This looks sick. Holy crap!
Straight,
what
straight
a
away, we thought to ourselves, this is not an indie. Indie quality.
What is this? What the heck? Dude, this looks insane, bro.
It does have the effect of Crisis, he said, or Far Cry, doesn't it? Also,
It looks like Crisis.
I'm sort of getting a little bit of Halo vibe when he jumped in that warthog there.
yeah. Imagine if this is the new Halo. They can't do like, yeah. Oh my gosh, guys, I want to watch this, but I got a client.
you can always ask your client's opinion.
Yeah, get back him in.
This looks sick, bro. What is this? Alright, I'm gonna hop off and hop back on later.
Okay, see you in a bit.
Alright.
Oh, they're all not going to be this long in trailer length, are they? 25 plus 100 indies.
I wouldn't think so. I think that this is just going to be the first one that they give a little bit of extra time to, maybe.
Because I was just expecting like a showreel of this event.
Yeah, do you know, I'm getting a sort of I was getting a slight Avengers feel there, you know, sort of Iron Man with the center light in that outfit there. Oh, a scent. Okay.
What's it called? Exomecha? What? X?
You have shown an aptitude for applying lethal solutions to conflicted situations. We wish to test your abilities by giving you a special assignment. Success, and you'll be given a chance at earning your freedom.
trying to kill me?
There you go, I'm back. I just had to check the stream was all up to date. I'm like 2-3 seconds behind. I do love the music. I do like look this open world.
Yeah.
Well, not hearing back from my clients, so I'm back for a little bit. But man, this game so far has been looking pretty impressive, I must say. You guys let us know how it sounds in the chat. Is the volume okay? Is it too loud? Is it too low? Are you guys good? Let me know.
Yeah, I've got everything at maxes on my end, so hopefully
Cool.
it's good for everyone else.
Cool. Sounds good.
It's literally blowing my ears off, but as long as everyone else can hear it, that's what we're here for.
My bad, dude. I know that feeling, yeah, of it being way too loud. So far, I would say pretty impressive stuff, huh?
Yeah, it's been looking really good so far.
Yeah.
I've not seen nothing saying coming to XCloud.
No,
You
that's
mean
a
Game
big.
Pass, right?
Yeah, Game Pass
Yeah.
Cloud, Game Pass game streaming or something.
Game Pass, yeah.
You know, I'm thinking we're going to get an announcement after this event telling us
True.
what games are going where.
That's
But
true.
it's still good to see everything that's coming, you know.
Yeah. It's just like a highlight reel of games.
Look at me, I'm already starting. I think, where's the XCloud logo?
They have
Not on the-
spoiled you.
Not another logo gate, please.
They have spoiled you. You guys are a bit loud in comparison. Oh, my bad. Okay, cool. Chief saying this sounds good. Cool. Wow, look at these games, guys. I'm real impressed, honestly speaking, with what I'm seeing here.
Every time I hear that violin, I think it's going to do the Pirates of the Caribbean.
It does. It really does. Wow, look at this. I mean, graphically, these indie games are stepping up, man. Interesting. Wow.
I think developer tools are becoming more accessible for these type of indie developers now, so they are pushing some fantastic graphics in their
They
games. By the
really
way,
are, man.
Or maybe-
Void Train.
Maybe the type of gamers these days, they're moving away from them 8-bit, 16-bit games.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right, Void Train. I see what you're doing there. Void Train looked really cool. That last one that we just saw. I was getting like
Yes.
a Outer Wilds meets Abduction kind of vibe from that. Brianna, were there any of those trailers that particularly jumped out at you?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of looking at, I think it was called Wild at Heart. It almost reminded me of Don't Starve a little bit. It looks like you're trapped in the forest, maybe with a friend. I'm very excited. I mean, Xbox came out of the gate swinging
Yeah,
with this showcase.
I would say
I
for
am
sure.
beyond excited to see what's
Yeah.
next up.
Oh yeah. I the first one that they showed, that Exo Mecha game, I
Yeah.
saw some
Yeah,
people
that
in
did look
chat were
nice.
like,
That
"Is
was
this
cool.
like
Looks good,
a
man.
mech
Looks good.
battle Titanfall-esque thing?" I mean, the cool news is that a lot of these trailers that we just saw, if not all of them, I might be mistaken on this, but a lot of them said coming 2021. So those are
Yeah.
games we can expect this year.
That's
Like
true.
I said, I'm a
And
big
that's always
fan
important, isn't it?
of indie
Oh,
games. I'm
yeah.
a big fan of the
Announcement
idea Xbox
sooner than
program, which
later.
we'll get into
True.
a little bit later
True.
about how the specifics of the program work. But bringing all these indie games to light is what it's all about. So Omni, we got to see a trailer
It's crazy
for, and
that
I've
they
gotten
call
to play
these games
a very
indies,
early
man.
build of
These
that, and it
games
is
look
so
like
adorable.
AAA games,
So
man.
we've got a
It's
lot
crazy.
of fun stuff
Or double A.
coming up, and a lot of fun stuff here that we've seen already. It's been awesome. Brianna,
Yes.
do you play a lot of indie games on your Twitch channel?
I do. I kind of switch off. I mean, my favorite thing about indie games, honestly, is the art style. I am
Yes.
such a sucker
You were
for
saying
not
that,
only good
Holtz.
graphics,
Yeah.
but just visually appeasing games. And I feel
Another
like with indie
another
games, you
gamer
get
agrees
so
with
much
me.
of that.
Let's talk
And
about the art
also,
style.
by the way, I do want to remind the Twitch chat at home, please sound off.
Gotta go,
What game did you
fellas.
see from that last trailer are you excited about? I would love to hear it. And you never know, your comment could end up right here on the big screen.
But
Yes,
I'd like to look
I see
at anime.
Burnt Toast.
So.
Burnt Toast TJ or Burnt Toast J in chat says, "So great to see such wonderful support."
I didn't like that last comment there. If it's
100%,
not
yes. So
for
yeah, that
a
was
39,
Exo
it's
Mego, I
not
believe.
good.
Ascent was the name of the second one.
Well, usually a lot of people
Omni,
complain, don't they, when you see
and,
something graphical,
Void Train
really
there at the
beautiful.
end.
They always say, well, how long is it going to be? And you go, well, stop
Oh,
complaining.
yes,
4
I'm
to 8
excited.
Oh,
hours
yeah,
is
look
a
at
great.
it now.
to
Okay,
see
so
this
here was
But the
again.
price
here
has to
was
match that hour
Exo
playthrough.
Mecha, I believe is
Yeah.
what this one was called again. And this is the one that some people were comparing to Titanfall. I don't know. My first thought when I saw those mechs, I saw kind of the circular light design in the center of their chest, and I was like, Pacific
yeah.
Rim? Now, not all of them.
Oh, I
have
do
that,
love
but
Pacific
this is
Rim as
reminding
well.
me of every
Yeah,
great
no,
mech
that's a
battle
one right there.
that I know. And look at
That
that. We
is
have
the one.
underwater. I think I saw a grapple hook. There it is, a grapple hook.
And of course,
mechanic
I've
in
watched loads
this.
of anime in the
Is
past
this
with
the type
mechas,
of game
so
you think you could see yourself
Yeah.
jumping into?
could name loads of them.
See, I'm a little funny when I play games. I'm not a huge fan of first-person shooter type games. However, the graphics are very,
Yeah, I'm the
very
same. I'd prefer
nice.
fair
I mean, and it
personally,
looks
but I have
like
to
it's
choose a
action-packed.
point of view.
There's so much going on. Like you said, you're able to
Sure.
go underwater. It looks like you were shooting at a
What
helicopter
is
in the
this
last
game?
clip
This
that we
game
saw.
really has my
This is
Looks pretty
the
good. I might have to give it a
Exo
try.
Mech?
the first one they
Yeah.
showed.
I love the
Yeah,
folks
it
in
looks
chat
really
right now
cool.
that are so hyped for the Among Us segments coming up that they're just saying this
Of
game
course.
is super sus. This trailer looks
I wonder
so
if you could look
sus.
at the person
I
of
get it,
exoskeleton,
but
then you
yeah,
jump
that
into
was
mech to sort of
just
certain
one of
different play
the, so that was
styles.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I hope so. I
trailers
hope
already
that's the
shown, and
style
like
it
we
was
said,
then.
we've
By
got
the
a
way, that
packed
would
show
be
for you
really,
today, so lots
really
and lots of
popular.
trailers coming up.
Because I
thought
thought mechs
Exo Mecha
usually really
looks
slow, aren't they? And that didn't
super,
look like a
super
slow paced game.
No,
That Cyberpunk one, I think it was called Ascent. I think the Twitter handle was at
Oh,
Ascent
that's
the
right.
game. That Cyberpunk one felt very like Shadowrun-esque to me in a good way. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I played through Cyberpunk 2077, and it didn't quite scratch the Cyberpunk itch in the way that I
No,
was
'cause it was
hoping for.
missing
So
so many
maybe this game
features.
Only
will.
feature, yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
we'll see.
But I think that's going
Fair
forward.
enough.
I think that's what we're going to get in the future.
Stunningly beautiful.
Cyberpunk
Is
esque.
Omni
I
more the
guess.
type of game
Yeah.
you would traditionally stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would kind of look more towards Omni. Like I was saying before, Wild of Heart is definitely something that captivated me and caught my eye as soon as I saw it. So I am very excited. And I like that you said that about that cyberpunk feel because, you know, some people are kind of looking for something in that genre if cyberpunk didn't exactly do it for them. So I'm excited about these. Hmm.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't do it
see,
for you, why would you
Mundane
say
in
it
chat
reminds you of
says,
Cyberpunk?
Mundane's
Because does that
Balance says
put like a
Shadowrun is
stain
greater
on the
than
indie already?
Cyberpunk. You know
Yeah.
what? You said it. Not
Agreed.
but I
Yeah.
don't entirely disagree with you. Very spicy, very spicy take on there today. So, folks, like I said, that was just a snippet of some of the fun that we have for you today. But let's bring in our first guest. So, our first guest on today's show is the senior director of the ID at Xbox program, which has been helping independent developers self-publish their games on Microsoft's Xbox consoles for the last 7 years. And if you're wondering what types of games ID at Xbox are working on right now that will be coming soon to a console near you, well, here's a sneak peek.
Ooh, let's see. ID Xbox Showcase. That looks like No Men, No More Heroes. It's crazy. The Forest Cathedral.
Oh, what's this now?
Princess Pharma.
This is my style of game, Night Squad 2. I love a top
Yeah.
down.
Ooh, Echo Generation looks pretty cool. Wow, that looks cool. Again, their Alba looks good too. There are a lot of solid titles in Mad Streets. It's like a Street of Rage type of game.
These are the sorts of game when they're on Game Pass that you're going to jump in and try, ain't you?
Yeah.
You know, and you're going to fall in love with these types of games because they're on Game Pass and you can try them as part of the
that's
subscription.
good.
And that's, who knows, you might have a new Rocket League. The way like it goes to Game Pass and then boosts sales.
Yeah, I think that's just the type of game everyone's looking for, though, isn't it? Something like Rocket League to take off. Wow, this looks... Damn, they're skipping past some games that I really like the look of and I want to see more.
Yeah, it's all starting to merge together. It's like, I'm seeing a side scroll, I'm seeing turn-based RPGs, I'm seeing some little 2D.
Oh.
Hello, Chris. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you feeling today?
Good, thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me.
And the question is, how many games was
Now,
that?
for everyone at home watching that aren't already familiar with the ID
I
at
lost
Xbox
count.
program, can you explain a little bit about how that works?
Yeah, sure. So basically, we're a program at Microsoft that enables independent developers to self-publish their games. So they come to xbox.com/ID, they sign up, they tell us what kind of game they're making, and we send them dev kits. They start development, they make the game, and then they're the publisher. We try and help amplify the promotion with things like what's happening today, and then the games come out, people play them, everybody's happy. It's awesome.
It is awesome. I personally love indie games, and I think we've seen indie games have this not even resurgence, but kind of like just being brought more into the public eye in the last decade or so. And it makes it a little bit hard for some people to kind of qualify what is indeed an indie game. So I want to ask you, Chris, what are indie games all about in your mind?
Well, that's actually one thing we do in the program is we don't try and define it. In fact, I used to have a buster on the outside of my office that said indie with a little buster through it because I was like, you know what? Like I'm old, and I spent the 90s as a punk rocker arguing about what was punk and what wasn't punk, and like we don't need to do that. You know what I mean? To me, an independent game is really all about creative control. If a developer has creative control, they have that independence. But, we have folks in the program who are single individuals, one woman, one man making a game. We have studios in the program that are hundreds of people making a game. So we don't stress about it. Like our focus is just on helping people get their games onto Xbox, helping get them great, and then making sure that players get to see them and have a good time.
Cool.
That is incredible. Now, Chris, I'm sure there are so many amazing moments that you were able to experience throughout your 7 years with the program. But if you could pick one, what would be your proudest accomplishment?
You know what? I can't. The thing that like really gets both me and the whole team on ID going is really like when we're able to help a developer. Like a lot of times, especially a first game, like ship that first game, and that like always feels great. Or when we're able to work with developers from like all over the world. Like we work with developers in more than 100 countries on every single continent except Antarctica is really cool. So it's hard to pick a proud moment, but maybe my favorite moment was I think it was E3. I can't remember which year, and it was right when we unveiled like the full Cuphead trailer. And I'd seen the trailer. I knew how good it was, and I'm on stage. I got the privilege of introducing the Moldenhauers, and the lights go on the Moldenhauers, and they go off me. And then the Studio MDHR logo comes up on what at the time was the largest 4K screen in existence.
You can see it now when we start getting satellite internet. People are going to start saying, now bring it to Antarctica.
On the stage, looking up at the Studio MDHR.
That's Microsoft's market now. XCloud coming to Antarctica.
It was like, it was such a cool moment.
Sitting on a Navy ship protecting the continent.
Everybody who likes
playing Warzone.
Just excited by games. So to me, that's like one of my favorite moments in my career.
I remember that moment. I remember when Cuphead was first unveiled at E3, and
such a hard game.
What is this?
I never played it.
And it delivered. I mean, Cuphead's a fantastic
I've seen a lot of
game.
frustration.
So what excites you
I
right
really love the
now?
art design,
What's
but
the
I just
most
couldn't get
exciting
any
thing about
further.
the indie game scene in 2021, in your opinion?
Just a variety. I mean, we just saw on that trailer and all through today, we're just going to see so much variety of games. And you know, it used to be that I think when people heard the word indie game, there was this thought of like, okay, this is side-scrolling pixel art. And there's still a lot of great side-scrolling pixel art games, but there's everything from first-person shooters to, you know, every genre under the sun, new genres nobody's ever thought of before. And to me, what's so exciting is these games come from everywhere. Right. I think there's a game, I don't want to give it away. Maybe it's a review, but there's a game we're going to see in a little bit from two devs in the Philippines. It's really, really neat. Despelote, which was just in the trailer, an airport for aliens run by dogs where you like go around and interact with like clip art dogs that are rotating. Like those are all super cool. And then you have games that just come out of nowhere, not really out of nowhere, but like Shotgun Farmers, which is a game that launched on Xbox, and was from one person and dominated the sales charts on Xbox for like a couple weeks. It was like the #1 game on Xbox. And that is just so cool that the world today like enables that kind of thing to happen. So that's what I love. I just love the variety.
Mm-hmm. I'm always amazed
Just answer Chief's
learning
question.
at
No,
some
I
of
think there's
the
still a lot more
sizes
to come.
of some of these development companies. Does it blow your mind what smaller indie teams are able to create and produce in comparison to AAA
I think there are
companies?
probably about 50, 40 games.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen like
Yeah, I
such
think
great.
we're only halfway
I
through
think we
right
just
now.
call it like democratization of development with the rise of engines like Unreal and Unity and Game Maker. It really is now enabled.
I wish you had this develop at
games
the end.
is still incredibly amount of hard work to make, but the focus is on like how good my idea is, how good my story is. Like game developers are no longer gated by the technology as much as they were 10 and 15 years ago. So that's awesome to see. And it's also been awesome to see how things like Game Pass have enabled so many players to experience so many games. It's just really, really cool.
I wonder if Microsoft will actually make a Game Pass
it is
tier
super
called
cool.
Game
And
Pass
I for
Indies.
one, love being able to jump on Game Pass and try
Those
something
are
completely
Those having a
new,
play
because
class
we're
or
into that program,
Apple
and
Arcade, just
we
have
will
an
definitely
Xbox.
see games
Game
today
Pass
in the
Indies.
ID at Xbox
I would
program
absolutely
that
love that,
are
like a
available
separate
on
sort
Game
of
Pass,
channel or a
but
different
not
subscription
all of
tier.
them that we'll show
Oh
today
yeah,
are, I don't think. Isn't that correct,
absolutely,
Chris?
yeah.
Just a few,
That's
just a
right,
few
yeah, it's a
pounds, give the
variety.
options
Games
for
like,
people that like
you know,
all this on the go.
I'm trying to think,
Yeah.
like off the top of my head, Genesis Noir shipped recently.
That would get
was a
so
Game
much
Pass game,
more,
but Shotgun Farmers, not a Game Pass game.
exposure to
and there's a
independent
huge amount of
developers, that
variety
way.
that's
Someone
in
like
Game Pass,
Xbox
which is
did that.
fantastic.
And of
there's
course,
a
do what the
huge amount of
PlayStation
variety
now
of
does,
games that are,
offer the
you know, not in Game
downloads
Pass.
plus
So
cloud
it's
stream
it's
option
just great.
just for a
Like,
few pounds.
there's just
Yeah,
tons
no,
to play.
yeah, you're spot on,
and
mate.
that
You're
makes it
spot on.
really
I think
Absolutely. Where do you think that indie games are headed next? So, say in the next decade or two.
That is a great question, and the answer I'm
Fantastic.
going to give is that I have no idea, but I mean that in the best possible way. You know, if you had asked me when we started ID, if somebody was going to come up with a game where you shoot shotguns and when you miss the shot, a new shotgun grows out of the ground.
They are bizarre. They are bizarre, though,
If you had
aren't they?
asked me, is
These
somebody
indie
going to make
titles
like a game
sometimes.
that's hand animated?
Yeah, because
1930s
they've got to do
animation?
something
I
completely
never,
out there to
you know,
get
I never
everyone's
would have guessed
attention,
that.
though.
And so,
Yeah, I always find it very
what I love
innovative.
about
I
indie
do
games is
find that
always
indie games are very
surprising us. They're
innovative
always
compared
giving
to the
us
likes
something
of the
new.
same
And so when I say I
rehash
have
of
no
annual
idea what we're going to
games.
see in 10 years, like that's what
Absolutely.
excites me.
That's
Like if I
that's
knew what was going to
that
happen,
one
I
we
might
just
not be as
seen. It's
excited. So
interesting.
yeah, I think in the best possible way, I have no idea.
That's
So
really
that's your
interesting
job
you
going
say
for the next
that.
7
I am
years.
kind of curious with these next generation consoles that have just released very recently. How has that transition been? Has it been kind of difficult or?
No, not really. We've been seeding Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S's to our developers for a while, and we've been really excited to see how many independent developers are supporting features like smart delivery, where you might have an Xbox One today and you buy the game, and then when you get your Xbox Series S or your Xbox Series X, you just download the updated version of it at no additional cost. And you know, independent developers are always surprising us, and so. Next gen features, whether it's ray tracing or smart delivery, folks are taking advantage of them in really interesting ways, and so it's been exciting. It's been exciting to see the games, but one thing that we're proud of is that the transition itself for developers has been boring. And I mean that again in the best
RTX a big
possible
push
way.
for Minecraft.
They
People
get
really
this
love
new
that feature.
system and they can start taking advantage of the power of it, but they don't have to get a PhD to figure out how to use it. And so, that is kind of always our goal, to make it as easy as possible to ship, so that the focus for developers can be on their game, on taking advantage of the hardware, not like fighting against the hardware and just being excited they got something to run.
Yeah, in that context in particular, boring is fantastic for the indie
Exactly.
devs, I'm sure.
Right.
So speaking of indie devs, what advice would you give to any dev teams out there who might be watching who would want to apply to ID at Xbox?
Yeah, just reach out. It's xbox.com/ID. You can see from today and from the 2,000 games that have come through the program in the last 7 years. We love variety. We're eager to support like all developers, especially if you're a new developer. This is your first game. Maybe you're not from the United States, or you're from a different territory. Like, please apply. We're really eager to help you get your games on the platform. There's a huge audience of players who want to play your games. I don't want to be crass, but independent developers on Xbox have earned more than $2 billion, like way over $2 billion in the last 7 years from shipping their games. And that just feels really good, because it means that we have a sustainable marketplace where developers can have success and keep making their games. And so I guess that would be my message. There is a lot of success on Xbox, whether it's getting millions and millions of people to play your game through Game Pass, just shipping your game and having lots and lots of people play it and enjoy it. Please come aboard.
Mm-hmm. Wow, Chris, I want to thank
Well,
you
they get
for
more
taking
support if
the
they push
time
more
to
phones
spend
out
and
fast.
chat with us.
Yeah.
But before we do say goodbye, can you let everyone at home know how to apply to the program?
Yeah,
Damn,
absolutely.
is that it?
That's
I
just
thought
need
it
to
was
go
gonna
to
be more.
xbox.com/ID, and you can fill out an application there. I
There's
think
usually
maybe it
say,
takes like
and here's a
5 or
show
6
at the
minutes
end
to
as well,
apply.
Dubai.
And
Yeah.
that's the easy part. The hard part is making the
That
game.
wasn't
But the
100
part
games,
of
was it?
building a relationship with Microsoft and everything like
Well, it was
that.
very
we try
fast,
to make
wasn't
that
it,
as
the
easy as
one
possible.
before? But I thought it was about 40, 50, plus the one we see.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
again, thank you so very much for joining us today. This has been so enlightening.
I thought they were going to give giveaways and stuff like that.
At how all of this works. It has been
Yeah, they said
so lovely
surprises
having
that
you,
there was going to
Chris.
be
If
some
people want to find
things
you
that
online,
weren't
is there a place
announced.
that
This
they
is
can
not
follow you
what I was
personally, or should they
thinking.
just follow ID at Xbox?
They can follow at ID_Xbox, or I'm at IOCat on Twitter.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Chris, thank you so much for popping by
Mm.
today, and hopefully we'll see you here on Twitch Gaming again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Oh, that was so awesome. And it seems almost simple for developers to apply. I didn't know that it was almost that easy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, go to a website and it takes about 5 or 6 minutes. And I've known about the ID at Xbox program for years and how it helps indie devs get their games out there and get their games finished. and what an awesome program it is. But yeah, I also didn't know how
So
easy
one
it
thing about
was
7
for
years ago
devs
for
to apply.
indies, I
So
always
for
thought it was
anyone watching
PlayStation
this
that was
who
pushing
has
the
a
narrative
game
7
mulling
years ago,
around
never
up here, even if
Microsoft.
it's just in
I think
concept
Microsoft only came
phase,
to the forefront, but now we're saying it's been here for 7 years.
xbox.com/ID is what Chris told us, and fill it out there and see if you can help.
I think right now
Xbox can help bring your
Microsoft are
games
just
to
literally
reality.
they are covering all
Yes.
bases
Oh
in
my gosh.
terms
I
of
mean,
gaming,
I
ain't
feel
they?
like
Yeah.
what Chris was saying, sometimes starting is the hardest part.
They are just
But
trying to
even
get
put
their
your foot in
foot
the door
ahead of
by applying
everyone
to the
in every
program, I mean, oh
department
my
right now.
gosh. I know
Because
there's
if I
some
think who's the
developers in the
biggest push
chat
on indies, I
watching.
would
Go
say
ahead
the
and get
Switch.
started.
But
I see
Oh,
you
this
maybe
guys in there.
they're
Yeah.
trying to
Do
push for
it.
their markets to get the
Yeah,
handheld
and I
devices just by
absolutely
using
love,
tablet or mobile.
like I said, I've been following this program for
Yeah.
a while. When you go to a convention like an E3 and you go to kind of Microsoft's convention floor booth, like their section of it, there's always an ID at Xbox section. And whereas a lot of people go in and kind of hunt for the big AAAs, I'm usually scanning the floor for the ID at Xbox section because that's where I'm going to go and find the games that, like you said, Brianna, you know, if you're
Oh,
in
that's
for
cute.
art
I don't spend my money going to
for,
E3
like
just to find
the
that
game
booth.
that brings out all the feels that you need to have a tissue box handy for, if you're looking for those fantastic scores and compositions, a lot of times that's where I'm like, ooh, I will find something really unique that maybe I haven't checked out here. Which is it's just fantastic. And you know, as we mentioned, Cuphead was an ID at Xbox game. There's so many. So I believe Oxenfree might have
Oxenfree
been
was such a good
originally
game. I
as
never played it.
well. So
Yeah.
many great games, and I know people in chat are teasing and hoping for games that we will talk about a little bit
Show
later
us
in the
more.
show as
Show
well.
us
So don't
more.
worry, we've got lots of stuff coming.
We do. We have so much coming. But up next, everyone, streamer Kate Stark
okay, here we
will
go.
sit down with the team behind the new game Moonglow Bay, which takes place along the peaceful eastern Canadian coastline during the 1980s. In Moonglow Bay, you play as an old rookie angler struggling to keep your business afloat while coming to terms with the death of your lifelong partner, sorry.
There's the
But
feels,
after
yep.
exploring the world a little bit, you come to learn not everything is what it seems. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Well, Guppy, you did it. Your first catch. 40 years, and you still surprise me. I know this place seems strange. A fishing town afraid to fish. But that's why our new venture might just stay afloat. Because all those stories about the mystical monsters of Moonglow are exactly that. Stories. This bay is full of amazing new creatures waiting to be discovered. So we'll find them and share them with the world. Together. As long as this book is by your side. So am I. Welcome home.
Interesting. Interesting.
I thought that was going to get dark
Hi,
really
everyone.
fast. Like
Thank
you're
you
going to
so
say
much
there's
for
a Loch
joining
Ness
us,
monster
Zach
or
and
something in
Blue.
the
So did I.
Welcome to the show. Can you tell us a little bit about Moonglow Bay?
I mean, coat sync involved is just that's
So
a
Moonglow
plus
is
straight away.
like was said.
So do you think they're actually going to you're going to grow your
RPG
bait
slice of
and
life set in the eastern
then
coast
just
of
catch the
1980s
fish and all
Canada?
that?
No, fictional.
Yeah.
And
and it's in a town that people are afraid to fish because of mysterious things.
yeah, weird
going
sea
on
creatures.
Yeah.
Well, it starts out like a kind of scenario where the game is very regular, and you're like, oh, it's just normal fish. It gets weirder and weirder, and you're like,
Then it ends up
what's
like Deep
actually
Blue
going
Sea.
on here? People have these myths, and there's some truth to these myths, and so it's a little spooky.
And you get to fish and you get to cook and sell and make friends around the town and build the town out.
So like while you're trying to explore the world,
Oh, it's like a
figure out what
Stardew
happened
Valley,
here,
isn't it? But
along
with
our
like
partner,
fishing.
the town
fishing
itself
towns,
is going through their own
I
struggles.
don't know if I
with,
liked the
their
semi-Irish
potential
accent they got
closing
in there. It
and
was
inability
like
to
it
grow
was Irish,
and
then it
survive.
wasn't Irish.
It's kind of like in tandem.
Everyone
growth,
helping each other.
Yeah.
But
Sounds
maybe there is
amazing.
a
Now,
place
without
that sounds
spoiling
like that in
too
Canada.
much, what can you tell us about the town and what went into
Every
creating life
possibility.
in Moonglow Bay?
Every possibility.
Oh, it does.
So the town is having its centennial, so it's going to be 100 years old, and it's completely falling apart. It has no money. The town hall is closing, and you kind of like gotta help
Well,
it.
You moved into the town 3 years prior with your partner, thinking like, okay, we're gonna retire here and we're gonna just open up a little fishing shack. But then they go under adventure. Your partner goes under adventure to start up the shop, and they never come back. So you.
So that's
so
why I
now
thought
you're
it'd be
kind of,
dark,
like, left
because if
alone,
it's
you're
all
like,
going
I don't know what to
bankrupt,
do.
you don't want
And
the
everyone else
fish
is
to
also
sound
closing
like
up.
the
You're like,
sun in the
I
water,
need
isn't
to,
it?
like, I want this
Yeah.
to survive. And your daughter comes back and it's like, kind of like picks you up and says, let's do this. Let's figure this out. And,
Let's fix this town up.
yeah. And
There was so much, like, I
It
did so
reminds
much
me,
research on my side, like
is
doing
it
concept art
Cloudy
and
with a
stuff
chance of
about
meatballs with his
Eastern
dad?
Canada
He's
in
a
the
fisherman
80s,
with a
like going
sardine.
through like little groups and checking
That's
like
a great show.
people's memories and the photos that they took of the east coast of Canada. So
and also the fashion, because even though it was 70s, 80s, the fashion hadn't caught up for like 20 years.
yeah.
No, it definitely had not.
No.
Well, I mean, what inspired the story on Moonglow Bay then? Because it seems that you did a lot of research into it. So you must and very specifically Eastern Canada as well. So what inspired that?
Well, man, I always like fishing games. I think a lot of us always very much like playing the mini games,
I'm one of those
fishing
people,
games,
yes.
and RPGs, and yeah. So it's just like it's one of those things. I was like, well, what if this has to be feasible?
But I've
as a
never
full
played
scope
fishing
game. And I
games
found-
apart from
With
like
loads
maybe in
of
RPGs,
other
but
mini
sometimes I
games.
do
Yeah,
love
and
it,
it's
like
like
extreme
Legend of the
fishing
River
shows.
King, like was
So,
almost like 10
seeing
years
what's
ago,
actually in there
almost
could
13 years
captivate
ago
me.
since it came out, and I was like,
Yeah,
no,
there's a
this has to,
couple
like,
of
we need to kind of like see what's
mobile
feasible
fishing
here.
games that
So
a
And
lot
like
of people
the story is
play
like
a
Zach
lot.
and I met
So there is. So
living
this
in
could
Quebec.
catch the.
yeah.
This could catch
And
the eye.
like my family has history with
Pun
fishing.
intended.
Zach has
As a kid, I helped run a little fishing shop selling fish by the lakeside, and it was kind of like, there's this connection. We're like, this is actually really chill. We wanted to make a game that was very relaxing.
Can we say it's a
this is
game
the
where
perfect kind of
we
thing,
get caught?
'cause fishing is pretty chill, and yeah, we just felt like it was the perfect environment to start
That's
off, and then we just from there started researching East Coast because we want to go into the ocean, get this vast space,
and also it was a little bit of wanderlust of mine because my dream has always been like I'm gonna go live in Nova Scotia.
And of
it's
course,
the
on
most
that
beautiful
ship,
place,
you're going to
most
customize
fun
the
place.
interior, aren't
So
you?
it
You're going to get the
kind of
Yeah.
that
right to
part
customize
as
that
well.
now.
yeah,
Make it your own personal thing.
Yeah, the starry-eyed feel. Of
I'm
like,
getting
oh,
that sort
new
of
town,
Minecraft
beautiful, and
Roblox
that's
style
why, like,
from
one of the things in the game
the,
was to kind of
the
build
way
this
that
town up
boat's
and make it
shaped.
prettier
Like,
over time.
are you going to be able to
So there is also
design
a
your
little
own?
bit of
Build from
mystery around
scratch
the
sort of
story
thing.
and around the town. Are you able to tell us a
What's
little bit
it?
about that?
Upgrade the captivity
Sure,
and
yeah,
all
like
that
a little
shit's going to
hint,
get
which is
bigger and bigger,
basically
isn't
like
it?
there's
Yeah.
a lore that exists
Yeah,
in
you
the
would hope
world
so.
itself. It's not like the fish aren't typical. They start off typical, but as you get deeper, you get into different biomes. So like
There's a
regular
whole
water
town
like you're
there, so
seeing
maybe
right
each
now,
town
but
member's
then
got a
it
little skill and
spreads
you
into
sort of
like
build
these
them up
sulfur
to
zones,
expand
these
further in the
heavy
walls.
glacier
Then
zones, and you're like,
the more you
how does-
further out
this
the
doesn't
more
exist in oceans.
myths
How
you
does
get
this
out of
happen?
the
And so it's
creatures
kind
in
of
the
like
sea.
the
and
mystery of
that's also like part of the thing that is making people so afraid. Like people go fishing and they don't come back.
and they just it's completely
So it's
bewildering.
everything is kind of fueled by myths in the town because nobody has the courage to actually go fish and find out if the myths are true or not.
Well, it's just,
So
like, it's
you
just
kinda
a good
like
excuse
everyone
to leave the
just
town.
gossips to
Honey,
each
I'm going
other.
fishing.
Yeah, so you can go talk around your
Get away
little
from the
journal
wife for the
to-
weekend.
to see what these myths that people have accumulated are, and then you can go and like see what truth there is to this, and something like there's always gonna be like, okay, go to this location. You're gonna find this weird fish that's gonna like nibble at your ankles. You're like, wait, what?
I wonder if you're going to find like little messages
so
in the
it's like stuff
bottles
like that for the player to play.
on past fishers.
So more specifically on that,
See,
how
I
do the
was
game
thinking
mechanics
about
work? What can
going
players
out and
expect
catching the
when
rare
playing
fish that no
Moonglow Bay
one
for the
else has
first time?
caught. There's maybe only
Yeah, so
one or
it's
two
a
of
core
these
loop,
types of
going out
fish and
fishing,
things. It's
then
sort
coming
of
back and
achievement
cooking whatever
hunting
you
style.
caught in your home, and then you sell it at your vending
Yeah,
machine.
it's a less intense mechanic, the selling itself.
Yeah.
The cooking is like a bunch of fun mini games.
Like Cooking Mama style kind of stuff.
Yeah, and the fishing is like you have several different kinds of fishing. You can rod fishing is the one that goes the most complex. It has like different levels of
Difficulty based on the fish
and equipment.
Or don't
and
cover,
then
just make
there's
sushi.
trap fishing, there is
ice fishing, net fishing.
What about
and
fly
line
fishing?
fishing, which
That's
is
a
like a little
hardest.
bit more musical. So like you choose the style that you wanna
Or
you wanna
maybe a
fish
little
with
river
and
fishing,
to
and
capture these
Yeah.
100 plus.
Yeah, and there's like
sea
certain
creatures.
See, as someone
second
that's
pot with
actually
certain
like
tools,
fished in
so
the
you're gonna
past
have
and
to
will
kind
fish in the
of go
future, I'm
around
thinking
and
like
and
fly
figure out what
fishing
these
is definitely the
combinations are.
hardest.
And also in your boat, you can expand with the money you've accumulated. You can expand the size of your boat, the tooling within it, to get a little bed and a kitchen in the boat itself.
So you can go fishing for days.
So you can go fishing out at sea for days
cool.
rather than now.
I can see people get being really
Now I
interested in
know a
that feature.
question that a lot of our audience will be
absolutely.
wondering and asking, and I am myself.
I'm interested
Can
in
you
it.
pet the dog? Because I noticed there's a dog.
Yes.
Can you pet the dog?
You can pet the dog. The dog is gonna follow you.
He follows you around.
It's your little companion.
His name is Waffles.
Yeah.
He's adorable.
Waffles.
Yes.
Oh, I'm in love with this game already. This is my favorite game for
Okay,
sure.
my interest is just peaked.
Lou, you were mentioning the art style. What inspired
Stroke the dog, there
and
you go.
influenced the art style for this game?
So Zach and I, like, ever since we met, we did a bunch of like little mock-ups and stuff, trying to figure out like what game do we want to make. And it started from the principle that Zach does voxel art, and also like I wanted to bring something really relaxing. So one of the things that it doesn't look like it because it's all squared and it's like has a specific palette and stuff. But one thing that inspired me a lot on their direction is like Ponyo from Studio Ghibli, the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like as well as Animal Crossing, like.
Oh, you
and
sold me.
the old
Ghibli,
Harvest
Animal
Moon from the
Crossing,
GBA.
build me shit.
So
Come
all
on.
those things that are very.
You can see why they've sort of
relaxing
showcased this
games
game as
that
one
kind
of
of
the
slice of
sort of main
life
events of
and-
this.
All the colors are much softer.
Yeah.
this live
It's all
stream.
intentionally like catered so
Yeah.
you don't feel intimidated by anything, even if like our myths are a little bit spooky kind of thing. So
Yeah, we kind of wanted the player to just like get home from work, in this case, like finish work, and then like maybe
Yeah, but Animal
open-
Crossing's not going to take it,
open,
and they're going
like,
to
the
put
game
ships
and
on
just
their
relax
little
and
islands. And all.
distress from life.
I'm seeing a lot of people in chat mention that exact thing, so I think you're on the right track. What sort of playtime can people expect? Is it single player? Is it multiplayer? What do we think?
it's single player and
Couch co-op.
Couch co-op.
It can be drop in, drop out. Like it's
Oh,
more
that's nice.
more of a style of like assist. So if you're having difficulty catching a fish, your friend can just like, or your daughter or anyone can just grab the controller and say, "I'm gonna help you catch this fish."
And you can grab onto your player one and pull
Yeah.
with them
Yeah,
to pull the
that's good.
fish in.
So you go
it's-
extra
alongside
weight to
the
catch
story
it.
and stuff.
And
That's
and
nice.
play
That's
time.
a nice feature.
We're estimating roughly around 10 to 12 hours.
Yeah.
Depends if you want to be a completionist and try to get all the 100 plus fish in the game,
and all the side quests and stuff, or if you just want to follow the
or if you just want to gun through the story.
yeah.
So just depending on how players want to play. I love that.
Yeah,
Um,
so
what-
the range can be pretty big.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what are you most excited as the developers? What are you most excited for players to experience when playing this for the first time?
For me, I'm excited to see how people react to the fish that they pull up, because we get really weird with their designs. And oh god,
I really love, like, for me, the whole friendship system, like how you can become best friends with people in town and they can tell you like their life stories, or you can help them with their little struggles and stuff like that. That is the kind of things that I love in games. So I'm looking forward to
nice,
people seeing that as well.
I like that sort of thing.
That's fantastic. Now, tell us really quickly about scripting an indie game, and how is it challenging with that aspect of game design?
It's chaotic. It's one of those things that initially you're gonna have a set idea where you're like, okay, you have this goal
And it's gonna be so big.
Oh yeah, you can have a set
Yeah.
idea that's massive. The scope is always gonna be huge, and then you kind of, as you're building out, you kind of build the first section, and then you're like, okay, how long is this gonna be? And then you play through, and you're like, all right, yeah, that.
And can we keep pulling out this amount of like story and work and
Yeah, so
dig it
it's-
through the entire game?
like we've been making this game for over
Right, Duncan.
2-3 years,
Yeah.
and a lot of iteration has gone through, and we're just like, okay, yeah, we have to keep cutting.
And it's interesting because we also like we're still
There you go.
developing
The game
and,
grows.
Like, as we
Maybe
develop
got some
it, we play
DLC
it and,
segments there as well.
the storyline
Expand
actually
it.
doesn't
This
fit
is the
very well,
exact
so
type
we're
of game
gonna
that
have
you
to change
could
it,
put
and because
that,
a lot,
that sort
like,
of
a lot
thing
of
in
work
very
kind of
easily,
goes
you know?
down.
You know
But the
what I mean?
big thing is that we've always
Little
kept like,
events
the
and stuff
main
like
beats
that.
of the game, and so long as you can tie between all of those beats, then the length between it is not what matters so much in terms of how long that is. If you can tie them cleanly, then I think the players will always be happy with it because they're going to feel satisfied in the storytelling.
Yeah.
Right, and you were mentioning through storytelling and a little bit earlier that there is a good amount of lore in the game, and I'm understanding that the lore is definitely playing a bigger role than I may have thought. Can you tell us a little bit about the lore?
The lore is
It's hard without spoiling much.
Without spoiling too much, but like one of it is like the reason why some of the people in town are afraid is because the fishermen who die at sea their spirits are taken within the waters, within the ocean.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what
we
manifests.
should make our own
like,
indie game where the fish fight back and
it's
fish
taken like from
humans.
people's thoughts.
One the fish.
So yeah, it's
Fish are getting revenge on
Crossing
humans
the
and
weird
pulling them down to the
imagination
depths
kind
of the
brings up
oceans.
things in the
I
sea.
caught myself.
yeah. So and that's just a tinge. I want to see.
If I don't see a giant
don't-
octopus
yeah.
event or
not
catch in this
spoiling is
game,
very,
I'm going
very
to be
good.
disappointed.
We'll steer
yeah.
off of that just to get away from spoilers for a little
Looks so
bit. but
alien-like,
how
don't the
did your team
octopuses?
approach
Yeah,
replayability?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a little hard on the.
Someone's asking
the
for
story
you in
part,
chat,
it's
Holmes.
mostly like we're trying to make different challenges in the fishing itself, even though it's like it's a relaxing game, but we still wanted to give different levels to the types of fishing.
Yeah, and it's one of the big things is that adding value to that replayability, and all the way we've done it is tying to that story
Plus
because the lore
also-
is so interesting to player base. Every bit of thing that work you're doing, every added work you're doing goes towards that story, and you've got a lot of collecting. So if you want to,
that's one of the reasons why we added so many fish, because we want to like people to always have a surprise when they're playing the game. Like there's always something new, and like different zones have different new stuff for you to.
So you don't have to 100%
See,
all
they
the fish in
say
the game
10
to
to
complete
12
the game,
hours
But you
for
can.
You
gameplay,
can keep
but
going
I know
after
straight away
that
I would be
and
at least
learning
18
more of the
in a game
stories.
like that, trying to
As
find
someone
everything.
who likes to replay comfort games like this, and I think I would classify this as a bit of a comfort game, I'm very, very happy to know that there is that option. Before we say goodbye, because this has been lovely speaking to both of you, how can people follow you for updates on Moonglow Bay?
So we have the Moonglow Bay Twitter account, an Instagram account, a Facebook page. It's all at Moonglow Bay. And we also, the studio itself is at Bunny Hug Games.
On Twitter.
On Twitter. And also there is our publisher that is also going to be giving a bunch of updates, which is at Code Sync. Like
coat and a sink.
Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful.
So that's where we
Thank
can
you.
find.
Thank you
No,
so
thank
much.
you very much.
I know
It was
I'm
lovely.
excited to be taking these updates, and I'm going to be wish listing that as soon as I get off of here. Thank you so much for your time, and let's send it back to Story Mode Bay and Trisha Hirschberger.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you, Kate, and thank you, Zach and Lou. What a fun look at Moonglow Bay. I mean, as soon as we got that little nugget of lore where people who die in the ocean, people who die at sea, their spirits and thoughts or whatnot kind of come to be in the fish, I was like, oh man, this went from peaceful fishing sim where I want to like romance different people in town to something entirely
You want a romance.
Yeah,
Everyone's just
no,
being
I
dragged to the
completely
ocean.
agree.
What
I
romance
love
you got?
how Kate kind of called it a comfort game because it almost is a comfort game with, not the death part, maybe. I don't know how comforting that is. But it looks so adorable. And again, the art style for me is what really drew me in. It's almost like that pixelated type of look. You don't really see that too commonly in games now. And I love that, they brought that back. And
I wonder if the dark
I'm
twist is
putting
what's
it on
going
my
to
wish
actually
list. I
captivate
need
us
that.
because it's like
Yeah,
instead
I
of having
saw
something
people in chat
relaxing, it's like,
saying
ooh,
it's
there's
kind of
something
like
that makes it really
Minecraft-y
interesting from just a
looking,
normal
but with
fishing game.
upgraded graphics. At least
Yeah.
that's what people were
I think
reminded
the
of.
dark side
And
might come
everyone was getting
from
excited when they saw there was crafting
chatting
in it
with
too,
the
so we learned
townsfolk,
different types
as
of
it is
fishing,
we're talking
cooking
about.
mini games, sell everything in a
different
vending
types of
machine,
stories from them,
meeting
and
different people in town, and just
maybe things
for
you've got to
Zach
do
and Lou,
to
like,
to
be
help
indie
them
devs who
is
kind of create
maybe
this
that's
world.
the
I'm
dark
sure it's
side.
so
I
exciting.
wonder if you're going to go fishing one
Invite
day and you're going to
people into the
find
world and
someone's
see what
boot.
they
No,
do.
instead of
Just like
catching the
hands
fish, you're
off, we
catching the
made the
boot. It's like,
playground.
oh, there's Willie's
Now the ball is
fish.
in your
Go
court,
for it.
which is
I'd
really
better take
cool.
that back to his wife.
Right,
Look,
Yeah,
right,
I'm
yeah.
excited.
Your husband
I'm
dropped his
excited for
boot.
them. All right, folks, we have to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We have more exclusive
What do you mean a
trailers coming
break?
up. I
This
see
is
everyone in
live
chat that's like
TV.
trailers,
Come on.
trailers, trailers, trailers. We'll get there. We have more exclusive trailers coming up, and coming up, interviews with the devs from Soup Pot, Nobody Saves the World, Among Us, and more. See you soon.
Okay. We'll let them off. We'll let them off for a break. Yeah, no, I think that'd be funny. Picking up Johnny's torso and taking it back to his wife. I think I know what happened to Johnny.
You know what I mean? You pick up his trench coat, it's got like a shark bite. Don't worry, he could still be alive. The mystery, we're going to solve it.
Yeah, it's only a foot. You know, that'd be kind of cool actually if you take someone's arm back to the family in the town, and then no, it might still be alive, and then like maybe later in a DLC,
of course,
this person.
You know what I mean? We've actually seen like when we see like old pirates, you got like Peg like Pete and stuff like that, haven't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was going to get Nessie, but Nessie took my leg.
I've been searching for 30 odd years. There's plenty of avenues to explore a game like that, and I think that's the type of game I was speaking about before this event happened, that started. Sorry, that can really captivate the audience, you know, and they maybe complete the first part of the game and then they cannot wait for the next part, you know.
But the true story is they just left the islands to stop being fishermen, and they went to the Animal Crossing just to grow vegetables. It's more safer. That's what they've done. A tropical island they've moved.
Oh no, fantastic! No, absolutely. I mean, that game is really interesting, Hopes. But what would be your highlights so far from what we've seen?
Well, I know me, the one where it was like all the snow and stuff like that. I think that really interests me, that one.
Yeah. I know, absolutely. And listen, everyone in the chat, let us know what your favourite is so far. Well, these adverts run for the next 3 minutes or so.
I was a bit sceptical when he started the fishing one at the first, but I was like, oh, a developer, but they really sold it on me. So
yeah. Exactly.
I can't remember saying, was it coming to Game Pass, or is this something that's just getting supported on Xbox ID? Can't remember. Did they mention it?
They haven't really mentioned much about any games that have come to Game Pass just yet. I haven't seen anything. Nothing's caught my eye anyway. But I think the way they were speaking, like a lot of these games are probably going to be coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, and 15 hours is a good experience for a completionist in my eyes.
Yeah, especially for an indie game as well. And you know, if that first 15 hours captivates the game consumer, you know, and you're hoping that they're working on, you know, DLCs right now in preparation for everyone completing the first part of the game. I think that you've got to be prepared that way for the fact that your game might take off and then everyone wants more, so you have to give them it before it's too late, you know. So if it takes off and it does really well and they don't have anything else planned, that game could take a nosedive really quickly and people can forget about it.
Yeah, but like Fall Guys took a while, didn't I? Mean, Fall Guys put it out. What was the one?
Welcome back, everybody, to the ID at Xbox Showcase right
Fall Guys
here
never
on
caught
Twitch
my
Gaming.
eye,
My name is Trisha
unfortunately, but
Hershberger, and I am joined by the fantastic story mode.
I can understand why people
to tell you about
enjoyed
all things
it.
going on the indie
But
scene.
yeah, you've got to bring me in for the whole.
Oh my
hog,
gosh!
you know?
Like we were saying
See,
earlier,
like I said,
on
I was
the
one
show,
gamers that was
was
laughing at like Fortnite, and I was laughing at Minecraft because I was like, to me, I wanted the power of like the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360. I didn't want these games, but then when I seen the kids and people jumped on it, it was huge. I was so wrong. So
is waiting for that interview
about
the new map that will be.
And I see like I follow him and stuff like that. It's a game that I've not tried, but I knew that blew up and all that. So
we have more exciting game trailer reveals for you. From drifting across gorgeous
that's what I want
racing
some of these indie titles. I want
surviving
people
the
to actually
cold and desolate
play them and it just blows up and these
Our
developers
next
get more funding
announcements are
and create
coming to
better
the Xbox
games.
platform soon.
or
Yeah.
more
Let's take a
creative
look.
games, should I say.
No, absolutely, 100%. I love that of Rally. Now we're talking trips, now we're talking.
I love getting me racing games. I don't know nothing about cars, but I love playing racing games.
This is such a peaceful game, man. See the art style behind it. Like it doesn't having played your F1s, your Forzas, your Assetto Corsas, this is just something completely different, and it's just so nice and chilled and relaxed, whereas racing games are usually very stressful. You know, you're racing against opponents, you're always trying to think 1 and 2 corners ahead. This game's just so much fun just to jump into and just, you know, sit down and relax and just enjoy that art style that you see there, man. It's just so nice. It's so nice.
I always just love the music they put in it.
Beef soup. How many games did that remind you of there, by the way?
What's that called? Catopia.
Yeah, that was just... I need to see more of that. I need to see more of that.
Good looking game. Action RPG, would you say it would be?
Yeah, I don't know. There's so much going on. I need to see more of that. I need to see more of that before I...
Well, there's been a good handful that's been shown so far that I would actually invest in, that even if it was outside the Game Pass subscription.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That Rust gameplay looked fantastic. Yes, it did. It's a game I've never played, and I don't know why I love a first-person shooter. I'm not good at them, but I like the game.
Yeah, I'm terrible at first person. I'm more like, I like third person. I can only see like the Mass Effect where I can like change certain effects, upgrade my own character, and then just play that way. Usually when I play first person, just hide behind the box, blindly cover firing. Unless it's something like Doom, where I panic and I just start running around, just shooting anything.
But that's the main objective. That's the main objective of them, man. You've got to keep on the move, man. You've got to keep on the move. Narita Boy, we already knew that was coming to Game Pass. That was announced about a week ago now. Oh, get Secret Neighbour vibes from this.
Was it officially announced or was it leaked?
Officially, because I put in 2 of the previous news videos.
Mr. Peterson, this character has one mission, keeping you.
Yeah, it was announced not long ago.
Hello, and welcome to Hello Neighbor 2.
These games are so just...
playing as a local journalist named
They don't make any sense to me, man, but I can't help it jumping back into
Yeah, my niece and nephews, they haven't got a clue what they're doing, but they just want to try everything. Can I get in the car? Can I mow his front lawn? Can I do this? Just try anything. And they think it's all funny.
People have gone missing. And there's just something strange about your neighbor, Mr. Peterson. Everyone is afraid of him. There have been rumors of children going to his house and never being heard from again. Some people
it's the moustache that gets me, man, and this that guy.
When you hear his feet, dum 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 dum, he gets you.
Mr. Peterson, his odd house, and ignore the strange sounds coming from his basement at night. You have a feeling that Mr. Peterson is behind all of the neighborhood disappearances, but no one believes in your ideas and theories. And while you normally wouldn't break into someone's house, you're the only one who believes something is wrong.
It's not just breaking people's house, it's throwing bricks through windows and
You break
everything.
into Mr. Peterson's house, you'll be going against
See,
an AI
the
that is
person that's doing the
constantly
voiceover right now sounds an awful lot like
Our
a
goal
big
for
streamer
Hello
on
Neighbor 2
YouTube
is to
that
provide
streams this
unique
game,
player experiences.
and I cannot
This
remember
is
his
an
name.
experience that is driven by
I've
the
watched
community.
them quite a
Mr.
lot.
Peterson's behavior is a
We'll
combination
call him
of
Hello
control
Dave.
and algorithms that allow him to
The
constantly
streamer,
learn
he's
from
got like it's
experiences
like
with
a
everyone who
pig.
plays our
It's like a
game.
pig.
It begins with the collection of player
What do you call
activity.
them animation
Mr.
things?
Peterson
It's
takes
like
note of player behavior,
it's
whether or
it's
not
over his
most players
face
are
and it
likely to
mimics
hide in a
his
closet, use a certain escape
his
route, or
expressions
certain
and
objects.
everything. It
As
sounds
time
an awful lot
progresses and
like
he
him. I
learns,
wonder if
Mr.
that's
Peterson's
one of the
behavior may
streamers have got
change
on
and
to do
surprise
this.
you. How Mr. Peterson plays in one encounter with you might be different from the next, all due to his encounters with the game's community as a whole. In this way, the community's experience with Mr. Peterson changes over time, allowing for an AI that is developed through community actions,
Oh, that's good then, isn't it?
replayability, and great stories of neighborhood shenanigans.
Mr.
But
Peterson
these
learns.
experiences go beyond Mr. Peterson. In Hello Neighbor 2, players can interact with all characters in Raven Brooks, and these characters share the same AI core, but behave
Doesn't look
differently
suspicious
and have
at
their own
all.
stories for you to discover. So while you might think you're just playing the game, you're really contributing to the development and improvement.
So
of
Hide and Seek and Secret Neighbor, they weren't classified as a sequel to Hello Neighbor.
I
We hope this
don't
presentation of our
technically
AI
not.
and development gives you an idea of what to expect in Hello Neighbor 2. If you'd like to try an early access
But
version
the-
of Hello Neighbor 2,
the
you can
gameplay
check
and
out some of our
everything
alphas
was
on the
much the
Microsoft
same.
Store. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the neighborhood.
Oh, Birdface. I don't know what a guy's name is. I just call him Birdface. It's creepy as hell, man. Creepy as
Oh,
hell.
here we go. Oh,
Are you a
my
Hello
God.
Neighbor fan, Brianna?
So I played the first one and I was kind of petrified. Like he was finding me from every little corner. I remember trying to hide in the rooms and he was right there waiting for me. So the fact that they're making a second one,
But isn't it weird that when you play AAA
smarter than the
games,
first game,
certain games, someone can
nervous.
actually see
I'm
you and you
very
throw an
nervous.
object and you go, "What's that?" But in Hello Neighbor, he always knows where to look.
You know, he
It's
would
like
adapt
he's
to
got
play
better AI
style
than AAA titles.
Yeah, the way
But now
they
not
integrated
having
that
it
into
only
the
be
game is just
your runs,
fantastic,
but
by
the
the way,
entire
because it
community's
changes every
runs
time.
that Mr.
So every time you get
Peterson's
caught and you
learning
go
from
back again,
is frankly
it's different the
quite
next
terrifying
time
to me,
round.
I'm
Hi,
super
Chief.
interested that they said that the other neighbors
guys.
will all have stories. And
Good
we'll
evening.
probably
Welcome.
interact with the
Too
other
late in the
neighbors
event.
as well. That's
I
super
love
cool.
work.
I love that in Hello Neighbor 2 we get a little bit of a motivation as to why we're invading this man's house, whereas I feel like in the first Hello Neighbor you're just like those meddling kids.
Yeah.
I've never actually got anywhere in Helen Neighbor.
Bugging
Don't
No,
get
it-
your
never
balls
got far
hurt
enough.
in
I
my
think I
dark
once I got the
skin
key to get to the
yeah,
door, and that was
exactly,
it. And that took me
exactly.
days.
Now I was going
I
to
was the
say I
same.
was very
I've
happy
got so
to
many
see
hours
that
in that game
Team
and no
17
progress.
is coming out with
No
another
progress
game. They're
whatsoever.
the same developers that made
But I just know that when it
Overcooked,
shows
and
it to
even
the kids
style
on
of
the
game,
stage,
it
and
looks
that you just
very
hear screaming
80s
and laughing. So
retro and
the
almost
younger audience have a good
futuristic in a
time,
way,
won't they?
which is super
My
exciting
kids
to
Yeah.
just
see. The
emptied the
first
house,
trailer
just
that we
kept throwing
saw
it
with
at the
the
house,
hard
running
graphics
around.
and a beautiful art
It's like,
style.
are you not going to try and play this game? It's like, no, I'm just
trailers
going to
are
throw
blowing
stuff
me
around.
away. It is
And
a
Mr.
great
Peterson doesn't even come out when a brick goes through his window. Hey,
that we
get up!
saw was for a game called Art of Rally, which
Oh
got high
my
praise
God.
from the folks at Top Gear
Hey,
and
Eddie,
being
play on.
a little bit of
Good to see you, man.
a car
Hi, Eddie.
enthusiast, if you will,
Mhm.
an auto enthusiast. I was like, man, okay, loving
So,
it.
what's been your
That's
favorite game so
high
far,
praise
guys?
for
I
Art
really
of
like that look
Rally.
of the mech one, but I didn't really
Craftopia
get to
looks
see much
cool,
of it.
and I saw a
Yeah,
lot of Rust
I know,
fans in chat.
Yes.
What's
We're
it
showing
called?
Rust
Exo
console
Mecha.
edition.
That
So
would
for
look
our
good.
console gamer
But that
friends
one
who
in the
will
snow
be
enemy,
able to
that was,
get
and also we
into
just
World
laughed and
of
joked about the
Rust
fishing one just
if
before.
that's your jam. I've dabbled a little
Yeah,
bit in Rust
that Bunny
myself,
Hugs,
although I dabbled on a
well,
friendly
the
server,
developer
so I
Bunny
know it
Hugs.
could be a lot
I've
more
completely forgot the
intense
name of the game already. There's
if
been
I was
so
in a
many,
more
but yeah, that
survival-based
fishing one
server
looks.
where everybody's out to get everybody else.
That looks like
But
it could
yeah,
be my
console
cup of tea
friends,
for sure.
welcome.
Yeah,
There we
me and
go.
Monkey is actually doing some script writing for the sequel.
Yeah,
But all right, so that was
It's
just more
mentioned.
trailers for everybody to check out. I know
We,
chat is
we need to
all
get
about
that and
those
going
trailers.
co-op, man.
Up next
For
on the
sure.
show, we have
That would make a
streamer
good
Blind
live stream.
Gamer Steve will chat with the dev team behind the new cooking inspired game, Soup Pot. In Soup Pot, you'll be able to make food with
Soup
a
hot.
wide
So
range
it's like
of
super
locally
hot.
sourced or
Soup
supermarket
pot.
ingredients.
Pot.
in traditional kitchens.
We go around the kitchen
you
throwing
learn more
vegetables.
than 100 recipes while streaming your cooking on Cookbook.
Cream of chicken
the
and pea
in-game
and ham.
social media map. Okay, so we've got like a cooking game and a streaming game. Let's just take a look at the trailer.
Let's do it.
Oh, it's actually like a cookbook.
Kind of looks like the Twitter homepage for me on desktop there.
Yeah, Eddie's got it. Soup hot. Soup hot.
What is that laughing in the background? It sounds like a little creepy baby. That was really...
This reminds me of one of the games on the Fire HD tablet where you like throw random ingredients into a pot and then feed it to like a monster, and they either like it or like they hate it.
I tried making soup and I ended up with stew. There you go.
Oh, awesome.
Hello.
Oh, I am really, really excited. Hello, I'm Steve, aka Blind Gamer Steve. And to introduce our guest stars is what I'm here to do. It really makes me happy to introduce to you Gwen and Trina from Chicken Club Studios.
I don't
Hello,
know,
Gwen and
Eddie. It
Trina,
sounded
how are
like
you?
it could be.
It would be more fun to me if it was like more of a WarioWare party game where you
Hello.
can chop, roast there,
Oh my
and the
God.
food boils and
So
burns.
Pot, tell us all about it. What is it? Tell us more. We need to know more details.
Because there's quite a good following for likes of Overcooked. So this is coming along like similar lines.
It's like Overcooked, you got to cook orders. It didn't look like you're doing that. It looks like you're following a recipe and experimenting. Maybe.
There's no fail states in this game. You just do what you do in the kitchen. You
But hey,
improvise.
I'm always
Yeah, there
laughing
you
at
go.
GeForce
There's
Alpha
like
simulators, so why not have a cooking simulator?
Quote unquote
Why
It's
not?
literally a cooking
Their process in the
simulator. That's
kitchen.
what it sounds like.
And
They have every other style of
in
simulator.
Asian culture, we don't really have fixed measurements for
It'll be it'll be terrible if the game told you to let it stand still for 20 minutes.
we adjust them according to taste. We
Go
just
make a
listen
cup
to
of
the
tea.
voices of our ancestors in the background. And we
What am I
replicate this way of
watching right
cooking
now?
because
What
we
is
think
this?
It's the latest cooking simulator. You can make
we wanna
practice making your food without burning it.
the iconic
This is for
cooking methods like
All
using
the
our
simulator
fingers
games.
to
No,
measure how much water
no simulators for me ever.
when you're cooking rice. Yeah.
Oh man,
that is so cool. And you mentioned we talked before, like. By the way, thank you for tuning in. This is I know you're in the Philippines and it's way past midnight where you are. So thank you so much. But
I was
I wanted to
expecting
ask
like
because you said that
showcase
it was
of
that
5 or 10
this
games
is
or
very
something.
Filipino and
It's just
Asian
game
inspired.
after
Can you tell us a
game.
little bit more about
Yeah.
how that inspiration is part of
but
the game?
they're not like Game Pass games though.
So
they're not
actually,
I've
like
not seen like
Trina
Game
and I
Pass
both love
tags
to
in
cook.
these games.
That's one of the things. And
It's in
then
association with
the
Twitch
pandemic
Gaming, so I was wondering
happened,
whether this is
and
just
Trina and I
an
were
indie
just like,
developer
oh, you know,
showcase
like
rather
we're
than
not
a
doing anything. Like we're just at
Xbox
home.
Game Pass
We don't
showcase.
get to eat out, and then we decided to make games. So
What up,
last
Eddie
year
Player
we released
One?
the
How
demo,
are you, sir?
which was
Yeah, I
called
mean, in this
Tahan ng
pandemic, we need a
Emotions
simulator called
Mission.
Uber Simulator.
And then
Just
we looked
Uber-
in the
Uber
streaming
Eats.
part of it,
Food delivery.
and people really liked it. So one
Actually,
of the
can you
things
lower
that
the
we
sorry,
wanted is like
Monkey?
Gia
Can you lower the volume of the
we asked Gia
Yes.
of
to
the
do sound
stream?
design
I
where
think
she
it's
talks about
Yeah, they are talking
things
loud, but then we are talking over them.
and
Yeah,
that
sure.
Is that
carried
better?
over into
Much
the
better,
actual
thanks.
game.
Yeah.
Like when we saw how much
Turn it up when they show a
people
game,
enjoy
and we go,
Yeah,
yeah.
every
and
different video's at a
like
different
it.
volume,
We
man.
feel like we're filling
Yeah.
in a gap
You got to keep on top of it.
where it's
I
not
should know
just
this live
serious
streaming.
gaming,
Should be
it's
on the
not
ball.
instructional, like we want to recreate as much as how you would be in the kitchen, which is you measure by feeling, you fix things as you go, things can get messed up, and like we just want to bring in that fun.
Oh, I wonder if there's going to be a younger audience that learns a recipe off by heart and says to the parents, can we cook this in our kitchen? I wonder it inspires the...
That
like a mini
is a
game,
fantastic point there, by the way.
Yeah.
And we both love cooking.
Man,
we
I'll
both
do
love
a weekly
also,
challenge
so
for you.
we wanted
Go on, Eddie.
That's
We all love.
hilarious.
I love a good simulation game.
That is so awesome. Now we did see actually a little bit that
Isn't
that
How
there's,
Monkey like playing his way through all the
network in this
simulators?
game called Cookbook. Can you tell us
I'm
a
trying
little
my
bit about
best.
that and how that ties
I'm
in
trying my best.
to the progression
I
system in the
seriously
game?
don't know how you guys do it with the simulators,
So
man.
I mean,
Cookbook itself,
I've seen
difficulty.
we wanted
I've seen it be on the
a
panel.
License
Now I've
Sphere
seen
programs
loads
suck
now.
so many hours out of my life.
it's essentially
Yeah.
like fake Facebook where you
See, I told you it
could
looks like Twitter.
in and
And
then
they
you
said the
have
same.
Oh,
basically, like
interesting.
videos.
This can be pretty cool.
There's also
So
the
that would be
persons.
really cool if like
Yeah, there's
you
also
made something in the
curfews,
game
and then
and then you
essentially
shared it.
like you learn by watching
Like you shared it
videos
on there,
of
like
games,
that
so you
social
also
media
learn
style thing
Yeah,
with everyone
yeah.
else that
combo
plays,
fighting
and they
system
can
that
try
you
and
want.
make the same
Please
thing. Or
don't.
There's
That's
also
what the idea is, I think.
methods
Yeah.
where we've
This
What's
can
going to be
be
more
the
interesting is if you make it
Minecraft
here
map the
and then we
Twitter's
go make
too
it in real
harsh.
life.
you
Twitter's too harsh. Can you imagine some poor
make
kid putting a meat recipe
can,
online and getting bashed?
adjust the game to your playset. And
All the vegans going
Yeah,
crazy.
poor kids crying.
It's like what's that? There's a page on Twitter, rate my plate or something, and it's just people's terrible dinners. That gets absolutely slaughtered on Twitter. I could see that going down the wrong
so
road.
one of the things that like we really care for is
Or
like,
imagine the kids coming to the parents asking to make stuff, and it's like, but you said you don't like peas and carrots, and now in your recipe you put peas.
that was a very long discussion, you know, whether we put in like
And my plain pasta with some cheese on top. Rate my
we and to balance that.
Dude, don't
so
even
that
joke about that. I went
progress in the
to
game.
years ago
Another thing is
a
that
girlfriend's house, and
Trina
their parents
is
made me
designing, you know,
macaroni cheese, and it was pasta with grated cheese on the
filters
top,
so
man. And
that
that was one of
we
the
make sure
most
that
disappointing
the
times
game
in my
is also
life.
playable to people who may not
Honestly, I was like, that's
see
not
the
macaroni,
colors.
man. Come on.
Added in like the reactions, like the lines, so that
At least
have,
4
like,
different
sort
types
of
of cheese and cheese sauce.
happening in the kitchen.
Oh no, it wasn't any sauce,
it was
man. It was just grated
semi-incidental
mature
that,
cheddar on top of pasta
our sound
twist.
designer Uda in
This is like the Minecraft
they
of cooking,
just
bro.
really made the game
This has
so
potential.
well, like the sound design
It's
is
great
so
if you want to
well that
experiment in the kitchen
all
without
the
washing
audio
up.
feedback,
Yeah.
you know, really helps.
I know my
with
daughter
the
will
game.
love
Like,
this.
you could play it also.
Yeah, but it's like when we come, you know, the parents
and
getting
also
too old. It's
the
like, well, if you actually want to cook, you can learn in my
shout
kitchen if you want.
Yeah, they really shout their name.
Well, maybe I say practice your recipes here where it's safe and where you're not spending tons of money on ingredients and everything else.
Messing
And,
up
oh,
the
that looks nice.
kitchen.
Go make that in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how realistic the recipes will actually be. Like, the more they talk about this and the more we speak about it, the more I am actually intrigued to try it out and just see how realistic it is.
Yeah.
Well, we know who we should give it to the panel. So we should give it to Ben because Ben's more of the cook. You get
Yeah,
it.
oh,
Yeah.
And then you can.
Oh, Ben loves his grub.
So we have
Yeah.
this,
Ben
Put some
is probably
weird
digging
looking
this
things in
game
the
right now.
an ingredient on the floor, and you decide to pick it back up and put it on the pot. The game will record that and mark that as an achievement for the 5-second rule.
That's cool.
That's
That's cool.
And
Waste not,
It's
want
got
not.
5-second rule.
no,
Nice.
spoiling a lot of things, but
I must come from a poor area because we had a 10-second
there's
rule.
also this feature where you have a fake neighbor in the background singing karaoke, and if you get too annoyed,
Seems to have lengthened because it used to be 3-second rule and then it's 5-second.
No, it's 10. Soon it'll be 20.
That is so amazing. I love that.
20-second rule.
20-minute rule.
That's 20
It's fine.
And they're, like, you got to make sure that you have to turn the stove off, correct? You
Oh, man.
don't want to, like,
Yeah.
that's going to be an issue.
Burn the kitchen down.
Yeah. How many people have said, did I actually leave the oven on?
Egwene is gonna
My old man set many a tea towel on fire by putting it over the top of the oven, even though the ring's still on.
Yeah, my old fella in the past, I bought him burnt hot mitts. You can't burn yourself, but because there was cotton in between, he burnt the cotton instead.
From like locally grown farmers and
So he set fire to a fireproof mitt.
No, the mitts were fireproof, but not the cotton in between. Because when you picked it up, it rested on your stomach, this cotton, so it sort of protected the splash on your stomach. But he leaned over and actually burned the friggin'
if you wanted
Oh.
to make like gourmet food, and which like
So this
almost
is a
all
long
restaurants,
event, guys.
what
This
they
has been
do
going on
is
for
that
quite
they
some
source
time, man.
locally, and this is something that's very
Yeah, I was
similar
wondering. I thought it was only going to be an
to
hour. What, we're at hour 15 now. How many
But
more games are they
want
going to
to
showcase
ensure
there?
that the
That's what
design of it
I'm
also
waiting for that
reflects that,
announcement, man.
I think we're
Give us
And
probably
they
only
said
about
there's going to be some
local farmers
surprise
and
announcements,
homegrown
right? And
organic
it's
Mm-hmm.
all been indie stuff
yeah.
so far.
better and like
I
more
would say we're
fresh
only probably
compared
about
to
2/3,
like
maybe 3/4 of the way through.
supermarket ones, just because of like fast food and like waste and
They're
all of
making me
those things.
hungry.
So
I'm
you
not
don't
gonna lie,
necessarily
man.
feel that in
Yeah,
the game
It's
because
actually
the
dinner
design
time
is
here,
really
and
good.
I'm waiting for
You
somebody to
know,
cook me
no
something
fake
to eat.
and
Seriously.
the
About
quirky
to grab
insults that
some.
both Trina and I grew up with. Like that is how the game is. So I feel like it
Your
doesn't
lunchtime, right?
push
Is it past
the
your
things that
lunchtime?
we want,
It's
but
still
we designed
breakfast,
the game
just
in a
10
way that it
a.m.
reflects.
right now.
I love that.
And I didn't
Now, is
eat
this going to be
breakfast, so.
like a solo single player experience, or is
How
there
do
going
you
to be multiplayer
survive
in this at
without
all?
breakfast days?
Oh, it's a solo
Huh?
experience.
How do you survive without
Oh, that's
breakfast,
awesome.
man?
I used to always have to eat breakfast, but I guess like my body's used to like having a kid or waking up so early to where it doesn't cross my mind anymore because it's like daddy mode in the morning and then rushing out the door to come to work.
And yeah,
That when I'm
like
at work, I'm just like, oh
that's
shoot, I forgot to eat
Yeah.
breakfast. Type
I
situation.
usually pick
when the
stuff up
game
because
gets
my
hard,
dad,
it
when I
also
was a kid,
drags
horrified
you
me. Getting my dad to
the
make porridge
Japanese and
put me off
Korean
breakfast all my
kitchen,
life, so
because of like
I
how
don't even
they
try it myself in case I'm
interact
inherited this
to
bad
what we're
breakfast
exposed
cooking
to.
skill.
So there are a couple of recipes
I never
that
used to
you
have
could choose
breakfast
to cook
until
in a
pretty
Japanese
much
or
I had
Korean
kids.
kitchen
I
also.
never used to
Yeah.
eat breakfast.
That is
Oh, really?
A kid's breakfast these days is jam on toast. Have that.
What's wrong with that? I still
No,
eat jam on
Cereal.
toast.
I was going to say, that's
That.
fine. My
Cereal.
kids either
Right.
have cereal, bagel,
Yeah.
or toast.
And soup pot.
Depends
Yeah.
on
So
what, when I
unless
went
they
shopping
unless
now.
they meet a jam and toast simulator, I'll be fine.
I wonder if you've done how many times it drops on the floor. How many times does it land jam side?
Well, it always does because the weight it's when butter is rather throws it on the top side of it, isn't it?
They busted that on Mythbusters once, I think.
Did they?
It's to do with the height of the laptop.
Will be coming very
Yeah, they
soon
had
to
different
Xbox.
heights, different
Thanks once again,
increments.
and I'm gonna send
But I'm not one of them people that just spread a little bit of jam, man. Just like literally covered in jam.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was adorable.
Wow, that's a long presentation, guys. I'm not gonna lie. That's a very
really
long
like this?
presentation. Yeah, they're cool.
I've gotten
I
better.
wonder if they
yes.
know who the
When I
audience
first
is. I
started
wonder if they know
cooking,
that
no,
more
not
people are
really, but
tuning in
it's
on
almost
Twitch as a
like
younger
trial and
audience or
error.
something. That's why
I
they
love what
captivated
they
the
were
soup
saying
and the fish
earlier about how
videos.
in their
Possibly.
culture there's no
Good call.
sense of really following
Just
recipes.
as you
It's
mentioned
let
that,
the
actually, that's
ancestors
the sort of
guide you,
thing
and
like
they'll
the
tell you how
Roblox,
much you
Minecraft
need to
style
add. That's the kind of
games
cook I am.
that have captivated the biggest audience, though.
Self-professed
You know, something that's never going to
non-nutritionist
get out of fashion because
and I'm
you know
watching
children
this
are
thinking,
always
maybe this will make me a better
children
chef,
are
but
always
like,
born, so these
Dance
games are
Dance
gonna
Revolution made no
be
way
around
better
for
dancer, so
years to come. I
For
think.
ages, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I
surprised
imagine
Creator
what
hasn't done better on that front. Because I'd expect Creator, especially as it's now on Epic, to start getting to Roblox style.
Yeah,
amount of people.
I went back to playing Creator, and sorry, devs, but that game is just a bad game.
Or even they
I'm
were saying
sorry,
the
like,
5-second achievement
even,
thing.
I was
Drop
like, give this
food,
game
and
some
as
time,
long
let
as
more
you
people
do
get their
that,
hands
blow
in
the
it.
dust off and put it back on the
Something
stove
special
within
can
5
come out
minutes.
of it.
You'll be
And I
good.
went
It's
back, and the
fine.
games
Time
are
is like
just
play.
not fun. I don't know, it's just, it doesn't feel polished, you know?
Well, everyone,
I don't
thanks for
know.
watching. Coming
Maybe
up,
it's
we
not for
will
me,
have
played
but I
a
Roblox?
just,
for you from Among
huh?
Us about the
you
new
played
innocent map
Roblox?
coming over to the game.
Is
And
it
later,
as bad?
Trina
Maybe
and
those
Five
type
will
of
have a
games are just
conversation
not
Roblox
for
with
me.
the devs behind It's
10
Nobody
times worse,
Saves
in
the
my
World.
book.
Yeah, I would agree. I would
Really?
agree with
Kids
you.
love it.
Great. Be right back.
And Creator, you've got to dig really deep for, a little gem. Like everyone's games are.
Prop Hunt's really fun, but when it was on Stadia, you could never get anybody to play with. You'd hop
No.
on for a random game, and it was just empty.
No, but I've got it on from Epic, and there is so many more players. And what I will say as well, actually, is that I've started trying to, create a game, and this is coming from someone who knows nothing about creating games. So I'm going through the tutorials on the Creator website and whatnot.
Eddie confirms Roblox is way worse.
Yeah, but
oh man.
The mouse and keyboard integration is so much smoother on the PC game I've created than what it is on Stadia. I don't know why.
Interesting.
I just find it a lot easier. Whereas if I'm on Stadia, I have to use controller.
Yeah. Guys, man, Luna got some new games. Did you guys see that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What did they get?
Observer was one, and
No way.
Yeah, they got
Yeah,
Observer.
What's the
Observer
chances?
system
I put that
redux.
on PS Now the other day, and now it's on Luna.
But Monkey,
And then go ahead.
I feel bad because years ago I used to make games called on RPG Maker in like the early 2000s, and you think if I kept up, I could have been a Xbox ID developer.
Mate, get straight back into it, man. Go for it right now. The good thing I think about Creator is actually like coming from someone that knows nothing about game development or creating games. The tutorials are actually they're really easy for someone like me to understand. You know, that has no background in this sort of thing.
Well, that's good. I have no background too, but Chief can attest to the first game I tried to make.
Yeah, no,
it didn't come out good, man.
they're always they've even got
The game's still annoying everybody.
They've got videos on YouTube. They do live streams on Twitch, and when they're live on Twitch, the whoever it is that's live, they're always really receptive to your questions. So they are, which is always good. You know, community-wise, that's always a fantastic thing for a game.
I'm gonna share.
While we're
screen
waiting,
real
I'm
quick.
going to go and see if there's anybody playing Prop Hunt.
Well, the only thing I've ever created.
Hold on. Let me share. Let me share my Luna screen real quick so you guys can see. We'll get back to that show. But these are the new games that dropped. So 36. So we got Starlink, Observer, and a new version of Watchdog Ultimate Edition.
Oh, nice.
Which is quite interesting. But yeah, you can
I've
take
not
it
played
back.
Starlink, but Observers.
Why is Grid back on now? Oh, that's Luna Channel.
Observer. I would
Yeah.
actually like to play more if I didn't have a ton of other games to play right
Yeah.
now. Observer
So it's a
was
good
actually
get.
quite interesting.
It's a
Yeah,
good
it's
get.
an interesting game.
Yeah, well,
Right, I'm
have
joining
To, all right.
Prop
Yeah.
Hunt. What do you reckon? How many people in Prop Hunt right now?
Switch Gaming. My name is Trisha Hirschberg.
Well,
Fifty.
Eddie says there's 10. There's 10 in his
There's
lobby.
10 people.
Oh, I've got a full lobby straight away.
Through this event today, leading you to all the
Are you in Stadia?
Screenshot it.
It's
Screenshot it.
it's crossplay, isn't it? So
It's
it
crossplay.
means that Epic Games has brought tons of people to Creator, which is great to see. My lobby's actually full. How many have I got?
But
That's
before
awesome.
we get to that interview,
Now, my
we
thing
have
is,
more
are people
gameplay
gonna
trailers to
create
reveal.
games from Epic?
From the Battle of
They
Normandy
need.
to the scrum of
I
medieval
just. I
combat,
don't know. I'm
this
not a
next
big fan
batch
of the games they have
promises
on there.
something for everyone.
It's only as
Take
good
a
as
look.
the creators, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Look at the game
remember
I created.
Epic's
What
got
is
their
this?
creator
What is
tools as well.
this? Demon Turret. It's another kiddie-ish game. The hell is it? Oh, okay.
No.
Hey, look, a platformer. Yeah, Creator being on PC, free to play with crossplay is definitely
It's the
brought new
right
life
way
to
to
that
go.
game.
Yeah. I wonder if they like beg Google to let them go that route, you know?
Yeah, I don't think it's ever exclusive.
It was, I thought, for a little bit. This game right here, I like the visuals. It's quite interesting, actually.
This is like Hulk sort of game.
Which? This one?
Hold, so since I have you on here, man, where do you stand with these Japanese RPGs coming to Stadia, man?
I'm really made up because JRPG is one of my favourite genre of choice. And I was seeing in this when you reply back, I'm like, me and Ace have got like the same taste. It's like you come from the Switch, and I mean,
exactly.
when I see them on stage, and I'm like, yes, this is exactly the games I want. Such a good step in the right direction for me.
It's awesome. It's so awesome.
I won that
And I just-
before.
And when I was speaking about I was thinking of Square Enix, was talking about Final Fantasy 15, was speaking about Octopath Traveler. They're the type of games that I was thinking, yeah, that's great to have, and GeForce Now doesn't have this. And then I'm like, even though GeForce Now does have the Ys and the Legends of Heroes, it's just good to see that stage is getting them with the new upcoming titles as well. So
it's
more than anything, for me.
The Ys 9, man. I was really shit because that was exclusive to Sony for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And to see them get that.
And these games like 50 to 200 hours long. So to me, to play that on the platform without no installs is going to be really amazing.
It's going to be great.
I mentioned that in the news video. Like, you're going to get your money's worth out of them games. You know, although that $60 price seems steep, as you say there, Holtz, it's like 200 hours in each game. So.
And it's a factor thing that now I can take it on the move and start grinding my levels and stuff like that. So playing on mobile or even on tablet, just somewhere, will actually be great to help me push my hours up in RPGs.
Hey guys, did you guys see the previous game? And are you guys seeing this game right now that they're showcasing?
Yeah, these looks like Game Pass.
Really good games, bro.
This looks similar to the game that was announced in the Epic event.
Morsel 191. Morsel 1
it does. It
This
does.
is that MMA.
Although it is Chivalry 2. That was announced during the Epic Games event not long ago. So it was Chivalry 2. I thought that looked familiar.
Yeah, that looks good. 2 games so far right now. 3 games, the
Graphics on
other
this
one
look
earlier.
crazy.
And this looks pretty good too. They gotta walk a little faster though. Okay. the slow-mo walk is killing it for me, bro. This looks cool. Ooh.
Looks neat graphics.
I love the artwork.
What's that game that was on Stadia recently?
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly
It's
what I
like
was thinking.
an upgrade on this, isn't it? Not to mean any disrespect, but like graphics.
No, I hear
wise,
you, graphic wise. But that game on Stadia is really fun though. A lot of people haven't, tried that game out.
Do you know what? I'm one. I haven't tried it yet.
This game looks incredible, guys.
Which games are you relating to?
Huh?
I'll try and find the name of it.
Sekiro? What?
No,
not
it's
Sekiro. It was like a 2D. It was like a 2D.
It's a 2D. Yeah. Ooh, this looks so. Sons of Iron. I would definitely rock that game. That looks pretty sick. And what is this? Holy crap! No, these are the games. What in the world?
Yeah, the X and S enhanced, aren't they? So that's why they're probably looking so good.
It's so good, right?
It's just like the Avicii type.
Yeah. Let me try and get the name of that game though.
I'm looking for it today.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a game that I purchased but returned because I just didn't have the time to play it.
Was
but
it
I'm
on?
just.
I thought it was on Pro.
No, it was discounted. I think on Pro. Into the end. Eddie said it. Into the end. Thank you, Eddie. We're here trying.
You really.
Thank you. Eddie's like, read the chat, fools.
It's the end.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Unto the end.
We're too busy trying to find it. Yeah. It looks very similar to Into the End. That's funny.
XO1 was interesting gameplay.
Oh man!
Cool. Last trailer. It was so
calm.
Just kind of floating around as a frisbee.
Yeah.
You need to just zen out. I saw Blank Arcadian in chat.
I don't have Zen, so that's not one for me.
King of Iron said Assassin's Creed Persia, and I just thought that was hilarious. But you're mentioning things that I love, Blank Arcadian. So King of Iron might be right up there as well. Rihanna, did you have any that jumped out at you that you were like
Assassin's Page?
Wow, that first one, Demon Turf, I think it was called, definitely caught my eye. It's kind of like a 3D platformer, but what I liked about it is they kind of experimented with that 2D style.
It's a shame, she needs better internet.
So yeah, I'm excited
Yeah,
about
her
this.
internet is.
Are these two streamers?
Weekly as
Yeah.
a site.
Yeah.
It's our very next
Twitch
interview coming
streamers.
up. Up now, streamer Dano Taj is going to connect with the devs behind Nobody Saves the World. From the developers of Guacamelee, oh, I love that
I
name.
did love Guacamelee.
Nobody Saves the World, which is a twist on an action RPG in which you play many different
This
character
is one of their
forms, each
highlights.
with their
It's one of the
own
headline
unique
type
gameplay
games.
mechanics. You get to
Let's
explore
see.
a vast overworld, clearing generated dungeons in an effort to beat back the calamity and save the world. Let's check out the trailer.
Guys, this is a lot of games in Xbox though, like indie games. Just being real, it's a lot of good stuff.
A lot of them
here.
are coming this year as well.
Yeah.
So there. Someone's lost their tail.
Just waiting for the disco music to kick in.
Looks like something like Hollow Knight. No,
This reminds me of was it West? Something West?
West of Loathing?
That's it. West of Loathing.
Give me a tip. Yeah.
You see, games like these are not my cup of tea, man. When people say indie, this is like what they picture, and I'm just like, nah.
This is the stereotype of indie.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, indie games are getting so much more advanced, graphics-wise, FPS and everything.
They have been.
So when you see something like this, some people are immediately disappointed because they expect to get a sort of Valheim, or an Ascent. But these games are just as much fun sometimes.
To be honest, I really got into West of Loathing. It was a great pick up and play game. It was quite funny as well. But yeah, generally, I'm not a great indie fan.
Well, one game that I love that you pick up and play, it's got so much great humour, and a lot of people could call it indie, is Disgaea, the Disgaea series. But if someone called that was indie, I would defend it. But because of the quality of the artistic design, would say it was indie.
Hey, Holt, have you played any of those strategy games that was announced for Stadia on Tuesday? Not the Yeast, but the other one that they announced. Have you played any of
the
them?
Legend of Heroes?
Yeah, have you played any of them?
No, I haven't. I've never played that ones, but I knew they were big in Japan, but I've never.
Yeah, it looks
played the
good.
Yeast, but
It looks good.
Yeah, nobody's
Like story-wise.
they're already on Switch and GeForce Now, so I don't know why I didn't actually pick them up.
Legend Heroes and GeForce Now?
Yeah, I'm about to say that.
If it is, I'm about to pick that up right now because
Which one? Legend of Heroes?
Heroes, the third one.
So
Well, maybe
it's basically like a top-down RPG, action RPG.
I think before them, though, as well, there was one other JRPG instead. There was the Valkyrie Chronicles.
Yeah.
That was on it, but that was like the only one,
Is that
wasn't
it?
it?
Horse, which one is that?
Don't know. It's got like 4. I don't know if it is, but there's
Legend of Trials of Cold Steel 3.
Yeah, so they got Cold Steel 3 and stuff like that.
Once you escape from your prison, you notice that the rat has.
Because you know me, I'm that type of person that goes, well, Stadia got it, why hasn't GeForce Now got it?
Yeah.
When I've seen GeForce Now, I just go, wow, how come I've missed this one?
So it doesn't have Cold Steel 4,
and you also unlock.
but maybe it will next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the third
YS
one.
YS9 releases on Steam on the 9th.
Yeah, that game
releases
was
on
a
Steam and Stadia at
PlayStation.
the same time.
Yeah.
So what I was going to do, I had my show notes ready for this Saturday, and I was like to myself, well, why for next week's Thursday announcements of the whole month, you better add these games because I will be happy.
So hold up, guys, hold up. So I'm looking at Legend of the Heroes 3, The Trials in the Sky 3rd, and graphically it doesn't look like what Stadia was showcasing. So did they remaster it? Is that what we got in Stadia?
Absolutely. Like every form has.
I just seen the title. I couldn't say that I actually looked at it compared to GeForce Now.
Aspects to enemies and taking advantage of that. Some are like real heavy hitters, but they need like long windups and they need an element of like timing to them.
2028 update.
Some can fly, some can swim. There's like lots of combat and traversal mechanics.
When's
as you
Cold
get
Steel
further
4
into the
already
game,
on
you
Steam?
can mix
Because
and
I
match
thought that
the
was a PS
abilities
exclusive as
between
well.
the forms. So
No, so Cold Steel 4 doesn't arrive on Steam until the 9th of
No,
April.
no.
goes like a
Cold
ranger
Steel 4
or a
comes out
horse that's,
later
you know,
for
like
Stadia.
fighting
I think it was summer, didn't he say? Summer.
So
No, Cold Steel 4 and
really
YS 9 I thought were the 9th of April, which is when they both launch on Steam as well.
We talked about it a little bit before, and I think that's
Cold
the thing
Steel
that intrigued
3
me most. It sounds like
is on
there's sort of
GeForce
April
a
1st.
kind of
Yeah, Cold Steel
Lego
3
plug and
is.
play.
Cold Steel
Get
3
to
comes to
pick different
Stadia on
forms,
the
kind of play with
1st.
them. Is there like how
And
complicated?
I'm
can
sure
it get?
Cold Steel 4 and
It
YS
gets pretty
9 were the
complicated.
9th.
Like to start with, when you unlock a new form, the form quests are all kind of like
No, I don't know where I got that from. I thought one was on summer.
new mechanics that are presented in each form.
No, was it YS 9
it'll be
this
like
summer?
getting you to use your
Because they.
Yeah, YS9
No,
is in, is
yeah,
in
Monstrum,
is in the
Monstrum Summer, yeah. YS9
Yeah.
is summer.
Can I intervene here?
is the first.
Can we stop saying YS? It's geese.
Geese?
It's
You tell him,
geese.
Hellbucky.
It's geese without the G.
Yeah,
So,
tell him, Mikey.
I've done so much research so that I didn't mispronounce that.
No,
game.
if you mispronounce that, the fans will come after you. That's one they always say.
Exactly. Could not put that out there.
Geese 8 is the best.
Let me see
Thank
how
you.
cheap I can find let me see how cheap I can find this game, Trials of Cold Steel 3.
So Cold Steel 3 is the first, and Cold Steel 4 is the
awesome.
9th.
Yeah, and it's
So
the
the 9th is when it launches on Stadia, but there's no pre-order for it on
It
Steam.
looks very much like it looks like my.
I'm pretty sure I've seen a pre-order on.
Like it's a lot of chat
on
as
as well.
well.
On
so I
Steam,
think we're
it's
all
just
pretty
add to wish
excited about
list.
that. But that sort of freedom
no
to
pre-order.
play with.
If I can find a
rules
cheap
as
key
a
for
developer,
Cold
but
Steel
also be
3,
able
I'm
to kind
buying
of
it like
do
right
things on our
now.
own and get pretty creative.
Cold Steel 3 is 50 quid.
Don't do it, Ace. Don't do it. Wait for the Stadia.
Humble bundles usually.
I'm gonna pull a mark.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The art style in this game looks amazing, and I couldn't agree more. There's just so much stylistic.
I'm having a
virtue to
look
it, and
somewhere
it seems
else,
like it's you're taking a lot of inspiration from your past work.
Cold Steel
like
3 is
Walk Away,
£26.
we talk about like
Cheapest I can
what are
see.
sort of the things that maybe you learned in the
Where you
past.
seeing
brought
that?
to something like
I mean,
that.
that's a
The
good price
famous
because it is
CGX person.
a $40 game.
I mean, talking
so
with
it is
the
the
artists
content you get in them games.
through the development process, of course. Like
Okay,
one
yeah,
of the
it's
goals
going
is
for
to try and
30. I'm
break
seeing
a
30,
bit
30,
free
30.
from what we had done previously.
Wow, this game
I
is
guess in terms
pretty
of, say, like,
pricey.
Severed and
It came out
Guacamelee have a very, like,
2017. Holy
angular,
crap.
vectorized art style.
You
This
were
is
right
like
in your news video when you said these games hold their value.
Yeah, no, they really do because these style of games, although I don't, I'm maybe not the biggest fan, but they have such a big following and are held in such high regard. So they
Okay,
are.
I see it for $15 on Steam. I'm doing it.
were referenced
What?
in the art team.
Yeah.
It's
It's like
26.
appealing, but
Are you
also
sure you're not looking at one of the expansion packs?
No, yeah, don't make sure it's the right
There's
one.
a little bit of grunge.
Make sure
Cold
it's a full
Steel
game.
2.
Let me see.
Pretty
Buy a
Let me
DLC
make
without the
sure.
base game. I've done that
DLC,
before.
yeah.
I've done that before as well. Jumped in it quick.
However, Legends of Heroes
Wait a
Ultra-
minute.
Some
It has a
mentions,
demo.
and something that I sort of came up with. Or
It
That's a free
does on
demo.
GeForce now?
a lot
Yeah,
of
there's a
thoughts
free
of
demo of it
making
on
a
Steam. I don't know
roguelike,
if you can
but
play
I
it
wanted to
on.
drive home that it isn't a roguelite. It's very much an
Alright,
action
so
RPG.
it says
But
Trials
you
of
guys have
Cold
something
Steel
very
Standard
special, which
Cosmetic
is,
Set.
you guys
Is
wanna
that
talk about your
No.
DLC.
Yeah.
So yeah, the structure.
That's
of the
like
game,
outfits and
it's kind of like
Yeah.
you're
stuff.
exploring a large.
Unless add like standard edition
like,
plus cosmetics, etc. Then
Yeah.
no, I'm too risky.
But scattered throughout this overworld, there's dungeons.
Premium
the base version's
Cosmetic
50
Set?
Dungeons right now.
Damn, these
And all
games
of
are
the dungeons
pricey, bro.
procedurally generated,
Holy
so,
crap.
And they all have completely different themes as well. So like we have some standard.
Alright,
So
I
it's
guess
like
I'll
that's
wait for Stadia.
That's what I like about Ace because he's played the Valkyria Chronicles, he's played this, he's played that. I'm like, oh yes.
Oh yeah, I love the JRPGs, man. Good stuff. Have you played Yakuza 6 on Game Pass? Just did a video on it last night, bro.
No,
Game is pretty solid.
I've played 6 before, but I've not played the remastered. I'm slowly grinding from 0, 1 all the way back
I
up
don't
to.
really like it actually, apart from the ridiculous amount of cutscenes.
Yeah.
Dude, the intro literally took
It's
me
like half an
like,
hour.
Yeah.
No, I love all the bizarreness in it, so
Oh my
I
god.
can justify them videos.
If the story's
if I hadn't-
compelling enough, that's fine though, isn't it? Though.
Yeah.
if I didn't skip all the cutscene, I think I had literally 10 minutes, and I was just skipping.
Yeah.
And it still took me 10 minutes, and I'm like, skip.
Yeah, I said that I just did a gameplay video. We'll probably launch it later today, and I
But the
was
best-
just saying it literally took me like 10 to 15 minutes just to get through skipping the cutscenes.
But the best thing about playing it on the Series X now is at least you got quick loads, haven't you? You got the quick resume, so you can always just turn it off during this cutscene. It'll play again.
But the
Yeah,
whole
that's
thing
true.
with it being on
I'm
XCloud,
trying
at
to
least you
find
can
the
just
most
pick it
broken
up
thing I could possibly find, just play it the whole
on your
time.
PC.
Now
Just let it
We
play
still,
and
we
watch
still
it.
do some,
That's true.
From time to time, we do
That is true.
give the player some places where they can just put together the
Save
best,
space
most
on
powerful
your
forms, just
Series
because
X,
we
man.
want you to be able to feel that.
But I did.
Yeah.
I distracted myself from Christmas playing the Final Fantasies. I did say I was going to play all the Yakuzas, so it's a slow grind. But because I've played them all before,
Speaking of
it's
a
like
very powerful
at least I'm
thing,
picking up some pace. But
you showed a couple. It looked like bosses.
Not fast enough.
Straight up from.
So-
I said I'm really
and
tempted by that Cold Steel
I'm-
4.
That's like where
'cause I love
Yeah.
a good
my bread and butter
RPG.
comes from. Where I
Yeah, I'm
oh,
definitely
the
gonna pick
dungeoning
that
is,
up.
like,
And
super
Ys
fun
9,
and
I love
awesome,
Ys
which
8.
is
I'm saying it right,
And
Hell Monkey?
what
Don't
sort of
get
things
at
do
me,
you
bro.
love about these high level,
So Ys 9,
yes,
right?
yes,
But yeah, I loved 8. 8 was so good. It was so fun. So I'm really looking forward to 9.
was that Lacrimosa of Dana?
Yeah.
I think that was when I was. I remember that was when I was saying on Luna that I really wanted to play again. I know when
Is
that
it
was
on
one I was
Luna?
excited.
It's on Luna?
That
Yeah.
Lacrimosa of Dana took me about 6 takes before I got the pronunciation right in that video.
Yeah, I mean, because I've been used to the
tough,
titles. I remember doing a panel with you a few months ago when it did come to when Luna first came out, and I remember seeing Ys 9,
let me see,
Ys
let
8
me see.
Lacrimosa of Dana.
I did ask
Check
you in
it.
chat because somebody said in one of the videos that they're on Luna. So
Yeah,
Cold
it was-
Steel 3 might be on Luna.
It was one of the first.
Would you do a comparison, Chief?
No, that's cool.
No.
I mean, because there are a lot of games that.
He just said he hates the cutscenes for 15 minutes. He doesn't want to do it again.
Do that
Try
twice
not to
over.
die, essentially, but you just gotta
I don't know
get
if
the boss.
Yakuza's
It
on
sounds
Luna,
like it's
but
very much
somebody was saying that
No,
one of
Yakuza's
the used
not on
or,
Luna.
Yakuza's on PlayStation now, but
am I
not
wrong in
remastered.
saying that you're going
Some
to
of the-
Yes,
basically
Which
either
Yakuza is
used
on
8
PlayStation
or
now?
Are you gonna
Cold
be
Steel 3, I think they were saying was on Luna.
restarting pretty often if you're not necessarily like just a savant?
Like I said, with these RPGs, I was saying this the other day about Dragon Quest 11. I haven't got time. Even though it's a slow grind, I'd rather pay for them just in case they get removed from these subscriptions while I'm still playing 40, 50 hours in.
Yeah.
So that Dragon Quest looks nice, but on the Series X it looks really, really nice. And I just don't have the time to play it, unfortunately.
It looked good on Stadia, though.
Allow the player more
Wait,
flexibility.
Chief,
I haven't looked
do we do a comparison with that?
No, it's on the list, but it's been such
Oh.
a hell of a week.
I was about to say that would be a good one to compare for sure.
Did you buy it?
Yeah, I have it.
Moving through the world and exploring
I
this
have
Let
it.
me have a look.
And
I
Stadia
think
now.
oh no, I might have deleted it. I'll have to check.
jumping into all the dungeons
Yeah,
and finding it.
yeah,
Not just
I
be
have
Pick
it
a
on
phone.
Stadia.
I've got 4 phones in front of me. Which one should I use?
Deal or no deal? Which one are you going to play?
Yeah, you don't want.
You think I'm
you don't
kidding?
want something to be too frustrating. It's pretty cool. I like. I
Oh,
just
yep.
like the visuals of
Ys
looking at
8
the
is on
history
here
and
on
how it
Luna.
comes together.
Because I remember that was one.
It's easy to read
It's only like 5 games that I want to play before they announced all the other ones when they first kicked
kind
off.
of everywhere.
Pick a phone, any phone.
It seems like you really paid attention to how everything.
So I'll just give some kudos
You
to
mentioned
Luna
also,
Plus. They haven't
a lot of
removed
high-level
one game
story.
yet, right?
Is there
I mean,
something
putting
that-
Yeah, because it's in the beta. They can't remove it in the beta, yeah.
Like getting fully
It's still in the
immersed
beta
in
testing.
what sort
Yeah.
of story are
What we
gonna
don't
be
hope
looking
though
at?
is what happened with GeForce Now when they came out of beta. A lot of games left. I really hope that
There's
doesn't
a lot
happen
of
with
They
Luna.
did.
variety, I would
mean,
say.
that-
I guess it's like a blanket
So,
statement.
so let me
That-
throw this at you guys then, because Game Pass is technically still in beta. Are you guys saying when it comes out of beta, they're
Game
gonna
Pass
lose a
isn't.
lot of the
XCloud is.
XCloud?
Game Pass is
Yeah,
in
true
beta.
that. True that.
A person
Good
cursed
point,
to be
good
a
point.
walking
I do
talking
have.
hammer.
I do still have Dragon Quest 11
He's got a
installed.
really good storyline going on.
Okay.
But yeah, there's all
Yeah,
kinds
dude.
of like
Get on that
many strange
comparison. I would love to see
Um,
the
many
that's
strange
difference.
situations that you're going to meet. And actually,
But Dirt
it kind of
is a
ties
bit of
into the quests that,
yeah,
like,
Dirt
Dirt
5's up
Dirt
next.
5.
described a bit already,
But
but the ones we talked about are
I
kinda
actually
like
played
combat
Dirt 5
quests,
with performance
the
mode
story
enabled
allows
by
for a
accident.
whole lot of other
So I
quests.
And
like
also
one of those
recorded.
you get sat on.
Yeah, so I also recorded it in graphics mode.
And like, so you're just
And
Yeah, so
realised
performance
you'll
is
that-
always be
frames,
finding
isn't
these
it?
things as you're going through
Yeah,
the
but
world.
graphics was still 60 frames per second of full 4K resolution. So when I switched it from performance to resolution, I saw a slight increase in resolution, but no frame rate difference.
I'm hoping you don't make
That's
it
why
crazy.
I didn't have 120
I'm
hertz
not
set
gonna
up
ask you
at
to react to that or
4K.
anything, but
I was
mean,
actually very
you know,
impressed.
there was a whole thing going
So,
on Twitter. It's like, don't crash this video
resolution
game,
made
but look
against
at this
Stadia?
game. And
Would you
I
really
feel
want me
like
to
these
put that
types
out?
of games that introduce really cool characters have a lot of opportunity to make
You
that
should
happen.
do it.
So
We might get a lot of hate
excited,
for it, but
and-
it's the
and
truth, and
hopefully
people
I do
need
not
to
get
see
We got
that.
so much love from
it looks really,
Star
really
5
awesome.
Showcase.
Is there anything that,
Yeah.
that we may have missed that you would like to show off
It's
today?
so
Nobody's
interesting.
seen the world.
Sometimes if Stadians feel like we're doing the games in Stadia disservice
fantastic. I'm
because
looking forward to
we're.
it.
But again, we just want
before we
to
wrap up,
again showcase
where can we
how
find Nobody
it
Sees the World?
stacks
Where can
up
we
to
see
the
online
best.
and-
You
Yeah,
know?
see, all I do, because I don't do comparisons, I just turn it on my CCU and I go, it looks lovely. That'll do. It's gorgeous.
This is the problem.
It's
Is
good.
I'll play it on the Chromecast Ultra. I go, man, this game looks amazing. It's
Yeah.
And then you
awesome."
put in your
and then I put it,
Xbox.
and then I play on the Xbox and think, oh, it looks awesome. I can't really tell the difference. And then I put them together on my screen and go, oh.
There it is. Yeah.
And
There's
that's
the
about no
difference.
compression, no nothing. Just when you look by side yourself, you just
Yeah.
notice straight away.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much.
As soon as you start playing the
thanks
footage, you
to
think,
Graham and
okay.
Ian for joining me.
There's a reason
Thank
why
you
the
everybody
Xbox
for
costs
watching this.
500 quid.
Please keep this on your list because I would
So
love
fair
to
play.
But when
see
you're
it.
looking at it on the Chromecast
I
Ultra,
have things to talk about
unless you
with you all.
compare it,
We're gonna throw
you
it right
won't
back
notice.
to
It's
Story
only
Mode
when
Bay
you then
and
put them
Trisha.
side by
Thank
side
you
you
both
think,
for joining
okay,
me.
now I
Thank
see
you
the
all so much for
difference.
watching.
But when you see one, and then you come away and then play the other one, you'll be like, oh, they look the same.
Well, it's the same with me because I'm playing off the external SSD for the Series X. So one day I've actually done a video comparison between the internal and the external. Well, I actually notice a difference because when I'm playing on it, they both look gorgeous, but I've never paid attention to them.
So you shouldn't, yeah, so you won't notice the difference apart from the launch time.
Chat the whole time
So
during that interview, and I saw Timo Masso
about
in
10
chat.
seconds difference in the launch time if you launch from external versus the
Yes,
internal.
that's a good way to describe it. Because I mean, there were a lot of people saying, "Oh, roguelike," and we heard Ian and Graham say, "Well, kind of."
Phil Monkey, you wanted a game that was roguelike.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
my
lot
cup of
to
tea.
love here
Bring it
from
on.
from kind of the quirky characters and
The Angry Scotsman will come out.
that they talked about. That I do think it's going to have.
See,
a
to
lot
me,
of
I latch onto my characters, so losing them and losing all progress will just frustrate me.
No, listen, it is, man, it is, but it's like, okay, I'm going to get this done this time. And then you die even earlier than what you did the
I
last
mean,
time.
I definitely want to check
Mortal
it out.
Shell
And I love
nearly
what you
broke
said,
my
too, about the
PC.
replayability because I feel
Oh, that
like
was
there's
instant
so
death, didn't you
many
say that
where
one?
you play and it's almost like it's one and
I
done.
can't. Yeah, I
But
can't
no,
do
I
those
want to get
games,
my
bro.
money's worth. I want to play
Like,
this.
I've
I
Mortal Shell was
literally
too much for
spent
me.
20 minutes
feel
getting through
so
this
excited
section,
about each
and now I'm
playthrough
back
that
to the
I do.
beginning, and
So
I've got to
yeah,
start
I'm
again.
definitely checking this out. Chat at home.
Now, the problem is
What
as you get better, I
is
find that I
there
get
a
better in
game that
certain
you're
parts
super
and
excited
worse on the
about
parts that was
that
good
you've
in
seen from the
before I've
trailers
done that again.
already, or
Yeah, because when you die, you go back and you get a loadout for the part that you died at. So then you have to go through the initial, levels or rooms or whatever style of game it is. Your loadout isn't fully prepared for that. So that's why I always end up dying at a stupid early stage.
I've been playing Crash Bandicoot 5 of late, and I'm dying so much that I'm thinking if I put that in classic mode, my controller would have been through my telly.
So you guys asked me if I still play Valheim.
But next up, we have a number of titles. Never
The answer is no, because I died and I lost everything, and I said, hell no. You cannot pay me to go back to playing that game. No.
You just run back to where you died and get it all back.
No, so I did that, and then I died again, and it was gone.
Yeah, unless someone comes along
If
and
you die
steals all your
twice,
stuff.
you're done.
Yeah, I think the Souls games do exactly the same, and Bloodborne and stuff like that. You try and find your equipment that you died at, and then you hit you again, and you got 2 spawns.
You're
and 3
done.
spawns.
And the Oasis.
I was so pissed. I was like, I'm done. So Valheim is.
Well,
done.
what's this?
This looks good. Yeah. I'm just
Like
thinking
Final
about that,
Fantasy
too.
7 and 12 remake.
What's up with these like 2D, side scrollers though?
Ingredient for our society.
It looks good.
is called a harmelin. The harmony between our people depends
What
on
was I playing the other day? Not Elder Scrolls, Three Houses, Fire Emblem.
Oh,
not least. Let me
how
tell you about us.
do you like that game, Holmes?
I finished it, but I like the battle system, the story, but I didn't like the side quest stuff and all that. It was quite
Okay,
boring.
yeah, it's tried to do the whole Persona thing, right?
Canon's harmony.
Was the story good? The cutscenes, CG?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. The story was great, and there was 4 different storylines and stuff like that. So pick one. I wouldn't replay it for the extra storylines. Definitely not.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
a
I've
game
seen
I
people-
actually. Yeah, go ahead, Chief.
So I've seen people in Valheim, off sailing and all sorts. It's like, I haven't got the patience for that.
Yeah. If I've got a narrative, if I've got a direction I'm going in, you won't see me freaking sailing on ships and all that.
Oh, what's this?
But then again, if you told me to play the likes of Legends of Zelda, where you can told me to go and navigate the seas, I'll be off I go.
Ooh, what is this? Guys, I
looks
have to
nice.
say, man, we've seen a lot of good indie games here. I'm not gonna lie. Like, ooh, whoa.
Face plant into a rock.
Oh, that's a building. Building.
Sailing, flying.
It's like build massive
It's like-
contraptions to
It's
travel.
like Valheim 2. This is nuts. What the fuck?
Have you ever seen the movie? Have you ever seen the movie Immortal Engines?
Yes.
That's what it looks like when we build
Yes,
all the
yes.
buildings and off you go.
Yes, it does.
Guys,
it does exactly.
This is nuts.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Urban cities.
land big.
This is like Mad Max 2 meets.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Mad Max
Mad
meets
Max
Horizon
from the
Zero Dawn.
1800s.
Whoa.
It doesn't have to be 1800s because technically speaking, humankind went backwards, so could be in the future.
Then you got the monsters in here as well, though, that are like sort of like Monster Hunter. I got
Yeah.
that sort of vibe there
Big,
from.
big monsters. Wow. Okay, what is that? Last
Days.
Oasis.
The Oasis.
Last Oasis.
Now you have my attention.
For
Wait,
an
what?
indie.
Out now?
Out now! Out
What?
now! Out now!
They said they were going to be dropping some surprises.
Yeah.
Is that on XCloud?
I know, that's what I'm checking.
That's
Please
what I'm
come
going
to-
now.
What do you mean? I was
I
checking
just-
on Game Pass.
Yeah, everybody's like, scramble! Ooh. What's that?
Okay.
These already out now.
They're kicking it
What?
right
Oh,
up.
what the fuck?
What was that game called? Last Oasis.
Last
Last
Oasis.
Oasis.
Yeah.
Alright, it's on my other screen.
All your 4 phones.
Four
Goodbye,
phones and I load
phone.
up the PC test app. It's not an
This
XCloud.
look- Ah,
Not
damn it.
XCloud PC anyway. Not PC. What am I talking about? It's not an XCloud mobile.
By the way, if you guys haven't tried out Empire of Sin, such a good game, and XCloud, such a good game.
Empire Sin. It didn't look like my type of game, to be honest.
It was
so
a hit and a
fun.
miss on the reviews, wasn't it?
I don't
Yeah.
know, but I'm loving it.
Yeah, I got a feeling that either people loved it or hated it, sort of style.
The Marmite of games.
Yeah.
This looks pretty decent. Coming 2022.
Last Eidolon. Oh, time for another game. My next game has
Farm
this.
Simulator.
I look like a pinball machine.
New John Deere DLC. That's a grass cutter.
So guys, I'm kind of confused here because I thought like Microsoft was going all in on Game Pass, but a lot. This is for holds.
Well, the whole point is, it was a few logos that I've seen that said Game Pass, but I'm only talking a handful.
Yeah, a lot of these games are not coming to
But
Game
then a lot of these
Pass.
games haven't been announced yet, so maybe they're waiting.
Yeah, this is the first time
Right.
we've seen a lot of them as well, isn't it?
Oh, here's another Hulk game.
Oh,
I'll do like Game Pass on Xbox, so I'll be fine.
Oh, I like the art. The art.
The
for
hell?
this. It's like a puzzle slash. No, this game would drive me insane.
No, that's it. I thought it was like Dark Siders Genesis as the start, but then I seen the puzzles. I'm like, no.
I like the artwork though.
That last Oasis is on Steam, and it has been since March last year.
Really?
Oh damn! Them Xboxes getting old games.
We can play it in Shadow then, right?
It's early access.
I was just going to ask.
I'd like to test that out. Ooh. I wish they took out the puzzle element of this game. I think it would be a fun one.
It's until you get in there and you actually try and see how that works, you don't know how beneficial that's going to be.
No,
you know,
that's
this
true.
is just the trailer.
This looks... oh, damn.
Oh, that was a dark ending.
That looked good though, I'm not
So
gonna
much
lie.
Last Oasis hype in chat.
Hey, White
I love it.
Angel.
There was a lot to love there. Last Oasis looks great. Lost Eidolons is maybe how you pronounce it.
I think so, yes.
What's Island?
This is hilarious. That's
Looked
what
awesome,
I
and
said
I saw chat
too.
also very excited for some of those things. Lawn mowing
Jeff,
simulator
what's good,
made me
man?
giggle
White
if you want a
Angel,
really,
those,
really
yeah,
intense,
for
very
sure.
accurate
Yo,
lawn mowing
I4NI,
simulator,
what's
then
up,
that
bro?
could
It's
be
good to
you.
see you.
But Last Oasis
We're
is
doing
out
good,
right
man.
now
Just
on Xbox
hanging out
One.
here.
Yeah, that
Good
is
stuff
incredible.
this
And
show,
again, like
for
you
sure.
said, there's so many fans
Do you know what I
at
don't like?
home watching.
Like, we've just seen
You guys
that
go play,
Last
go
Oasis, and I
download.
feel
It
like I
looks
should have
incredible.
already heard about
Now,
that game
I do
since
have
it's
a
already
couple
on
of
Steam.
questions about Log
Like,
So okay, you're on
Simulator
Xbox as well.
because is
On
there a
Xbox
story
since March as well,
mode? Are
apparently.
you just kind of
Yeah, but I'm
mowing the
not in
lawn
the
casually?
Xbox ecosystem right now, but
Yeah,
I am in the
couple of
PC
questions
ecosystem.
about it.
I feel
But
like
that
that's
last
one that I
trailer
have
for
missed.
Loot River, oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm kinda disappointed.
lower the volume
I
a
wonder,
little bit.
so
like
did you say last year March was out?
motion.
Yeah.
It's like an
So
adventure.
that's March usually the
if you
premier
will.
games come
Oh,
out,
I wanna
don't they?
play it.
Usually on consoles, that's why you probably missed it on Xbox. But Steam, I guess there's no
Before any
excuse.
trailer, I'm like, yes,
Hmm.
please, let's get
It
that.
still says early
It
access
looks like
on
it'll be
Steam.
challenging mixing the puzzle.
No, I don't have
play
time for
with
early
combat,
access.
And the art style looks cool. The second
Oh,
I saw
come
the
on,
Dr. Helmet,
Hobbs.
like, white
None of that. Playing broken games, missing features, and none of that.
No, I'm gonna give that game Last Oasis a go though. It looks too good to pass up. How much is it? Early access?
combat. I don't know if we
Chief,
can
did you check?
specifically tell that from the trailer, but that's at least what it seemed to me. Which, when you
I would
combine those
Flip a coin
$30
between The Legend of Heroes and Lost
I
Oasis.
think it'd be $30 for you. I think it was
Absolutely.
26
Now,
for me.
which one was the one with
Okay.
the guy and he was
Well,
Yeah, I'm
flying
seeing
in the air?
23,
Was that
so
Lost?
That's
yeah,
not
but
bad. That
$30.
game
Thinking
looks
about a different
incredible.
one. I'm trying to remember all
that
these
early
titles.
access
They were
price, or?
so good
Yeah.
that one was
Yeah.
exciting too.
maybe Last Oasis. Last Oasis was the one with like the cool airships that everybody's pedaling, and it kind of takes place in a desert
Yeah,
atmosphere.
immortal
So
engines all over
it might
with
be
monsters.
that you were thinking of. But yeah,
Yeah.
really,
It's
really
on
fun
I'm not
trailer.
now as well,
What
guys.
does this even mean?
Is it?
For some games.
Last Oasis, yeah.
Next up on the showcase today, our next guest is one of the creative
Yeah, I
minds
can
and
add it to my
developers
library.
behind
Oh, it
the
is as
small
well.
little indie title
This
that
is a long
some of
show.
you might know.
I actually have a
Well, they said
client.
last
I'm going for dinner now, so it's like no more interviews.
Airships is dropping into the game.
6
So
o'clock,
let's go
yeah,
ahead and
geez,
take a look
2
at the
hours.
trailers
Yeah.
And they've still got one more interview. So what game is this? Another Super Indie.
Super indie.
Oh, this is Among Us feature.
Oh, yeah, that is Among
Oh, this
Us.
the airship, isn't it? The airship. with the
Yeah,
monsters.
that's the one.
Is this the new one?
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
Yeah, he said this last time, didn't he? On the that they were working for this.
I always
Oh,
forget
is
I've
this
got this
finally
game,
the
man.
version 2 that they've dropped? Because they had got so popular they had to go back and fix loads of stuff.
Or maybe just take a nice shortcut. Quit grouping up. Choose a route to start.
I don't know not about Among Us. So anyway, guys, thanks for the phone, and I'll catch you next time.
Try to sabotage us.
See you later, Holtz.
Hey, Holtz, man. It's good having you.
Keep your eyes peeled. We definitely have an imposter here.
What is this? Alright, let me see. I have a potential 11 o'clock client. Let me see if they're
Hello, Victoria. How are you
I think
today?
I'm done for the event now anyway.
I
so
am
thanks,
great.
guys.
Thank you
So
for having me.
thanks for
Thank
letting
you
me
so
join.
much
and
for being
thanks for giving
here.
it a cover,
The
Monkey.
chat is
Yeah,
so
no, see you in a
tight.
little
Like
bit then,
they
Chief.
are moving so
All right, are we done with the
incredibly
event?
fast. I
We
think
shut it off.
everyone is
They're very
beyond
honored.
Yes,
if
I
you
think everyone
guys
is
want I'm
beyond
easy to
excited,
keep
not only
going,
for
but
Among Us,
All
but
right,
this
if
new
you want to
map
keep going,
coming
keep
out.
going.
yeah.
I
What
might
can you tell
have
us
a
about the airship?
cancellation. I just gotta. If I have
Yeah,
another
so the
cancellation,
airship
I'll
is
just hop back
actually
on.
dropping.
Yeah, no, I'll keep it going to the end,
in
man. I
like
don't
5
wanna.
days.
I
Oh
don't
my
wanna
goodness,
not
5
finish
days.
it.
So soon.
So it's very soon.
All right,
Yeah,
man.
it's going to
Take
be
care.
our biggest
See
map
you.
ever.
See you in a bit.
It's going to come with an account system. We have some free hats coming with it, as well as some cosmetics that you can buy. There will be all new tasks. There's going to be ladders and moving platforms. It's going to be hopefully a lot of fun for everyone to play with, and we are really excited for it to finally be out.
Can you tell us, for those of us that really like to play imposter or get chosen as imposter, can you tell us what the venting system is like? Is this going to have a fully connected vent system for that pro level play?
Oh, you know it. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see how everyone gets around to murdering each other.
Oh, I cannot wait to, in the best way,
I always get
murder my
caught going up and
friend.
down events
But
in
with that
Among
being
Us.
said, I thought it was
So bad
really
at being
interesting from the
the killer.
trailer that after meetings, you're able to select what room you spawn back in.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice feature.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll like definitely change up the strategy. And if you spawn in the same room as the imposter and it's just you two,
You're dead.
good luck.
I mean, whoops. Do you have any pro strats for people encountering a map that has dual level play?
Yeah, just run as fast as you can. just trust no one, run as fast as you can, all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah, it's going to be a lot, and we hope like in the future to make bigger lobbies so you can have more players, but that's going to be coming in the future. So
See, could you imagine Among Us with like
Exciting. Now, I did
20 plus
recently learn that
players?
the airship is going to
Could go
be
on
the
for
biggest
days,
map
man.
available. Does that mean that there will be new tasks available as well, or new death animations maybe?
yeah, so there's going to be all new tasks available, and there will be one new death animation if you buy the additional cosmetic pack that comes with it. As you can see, it's based on Henry Stickmin, which is another game that we made in the past. So there it is. It's Right Hand Man's kill animation. So we're hoping people have a lot of fun with it.
Oh man, are you allowed to tease what the new hats are?
You saw lots of it in the trailer, but we will have some new free hats, such as a unicorn hat, like a little heart, some angry eyebrows, zipper, a chocolate ice cream hat that is definitely not poop. It's definitely chocolate ice cream and nothing else.
See, that's I mean that's all well and good, but I kind of don't see where they can go with Among Us that
But
makes
with
it
that
any
being
better than
said,
what it
do you
already
have
is.
any personal favorites about this new map?
There's nothing there that's
Okay, so I
enticing
know
me
it
personally
doesn't.
to go
I
straight
don't know
back
why
in
I'm
and
so
start
excited
playing
about
when this
ladders,
comes.
but I am. It's just like something. It's just so simple, and there's really nothing that special about it. But I just love the like simplicity of ladders just everywhere.
I think that's cool. I'm
Simplicity
excited
or
too.
complexity
No,
for
check
the
out the new
players.
map,
So
but
I
the
wonder,
game in
you
itself
said
is
this
just
is
the
going to
same as
switch up
what we
people's
had
strategies.
before.
How much
There's
are you
I like to see
watching
different game
gameplay? Are you
types.
watching streamers to say, all right, here's the main strategies that people are running with right now that would consider themselves, pro level at Among Us, because there are people out there who are very good at this game. How much of their gameplay do you watch when thinking like, oh man, we need to switch it up?
Yeah, this is what I was.
It really
This is what I
depends,
was
right? So
meaning.
we do try to keep up, and there's a lot. Thankfully, we're very grateful to have a lot of people who play Among Us, so that's really cool. But we do, try to keep up and see who's playing and kind of their strategies and see the kinds of cool things they come up with. But within ourselves, actually, like with our game design and with our own like QA and our own play testing, it's really a mix of like our own sensibilities and just years of making games, and also just seeing how the community runs with it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like things like, visual tasks being able to be on and off, having the taskbar fill immediately, stuff like that, that it's kind of like through playing it, you're like, oh, this could be tweaked. Oh, this could be tweaked. And not just necessarily like tweaked to make the game better, just to give people options of what you want the difficulty to be. And I'm sure Brianna and Victoria, you can both relate to this, but it's like, you know, if I'm playing Among Us with my family members that don't game very often, my settings are going to be very different than if I'm playing with a bunch of streamer friends that are, you know, 24/7 Among Us players.
Yes.
I mean, I don't see how anyone could play that game for such a long space of time. Like,
different kinds of people that come
couple of
together
days,
to
man,
play
and
Among
you
Us,
get bored
right?
of it. It's just the same thing over and
we've
over
had
again.
classrooms of people playing. We've had
There's only so much
families
you can
playing.
do
It's been
with that
really
game,
nice to see.
in my opinion, anyway.
That's so cool. I am kind of curious because I have
It's
been
good to
an
jump into
imposter
maybe
on my
once a
mind.
month, I feel,
Are
with like
you
your friends.
able to maybe kill someone on a ladder or one of those moving platforms, or is that off limits?
Unfortunately, it's off limits, but the fact that you thought of that, I'm like, all right, someone's ready. Someone is just ready to kill on these things.
Yeah, I can see it now. Stack kill on a ladder. Story mode
I
bed.
know. Oh my goodness. just plopping on the floor.
Leave
Just
it to
push it
me.
off the moving platform.
If it happens, we know who is sus. So I have to ask you, Victoria, how much do you play Among Us on, like, I would say a weekly basis? Are you like, hey man, this is my work, I kind of need a timeout in my personal life, or are you just 24/7 in the game?
Yeah, because it's my work, I try to separate it. Like, I'll play it for charity and stuff. But the thing is like, I'm not actually
Yeah, so, like, the
a
game
great
is-
imposter. Like, Forrest, who's our
You can't play
programmer,
it for such a
accurately
length of
called me
time.
out for being an imposter because no one was dying. Like, I was too anxious to kill everyone.
Yeah.
So I don't really play it in my off time, but for work, obviously I will.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And speaking of work, I mean, I just have to say, I feel like the team has been incredibly busy within the last year. How is the development team doing? How are you all doing, kind of transitioning into this high demand for the game?
Yeah, we are. I mean, one, we're grateful and excited, and we wouldn't trade it for the world or anything. But wow, we are tired and anxious. It's been really like wild to see the reactions to it and just like playing catch up with everything. But with the launch of the new map and with the account system, we're like we've kind of caught up, so we're hoping that we can
Okay,
get
so
more
I'm getting a
regular
lot of Game
updates out
Pass
and, you know, talk more.
notifications
But it
from
has
Twitter.
been a really
So,
wild 2020.
Let
and
me just
2021
check
at
these
this
out,
rate.
guys, because
Yeah, I bet.
Extremely.
I see Riash 45
some of them
in chat
probably
says,
coming
thank you
from
to
this
the devs
showcase
for
that's
this
coming.
game. And I'm trying to keep up with you here, chat, but it's going so fast because there is so much hype to see
Thank
you,
you, chat.
Victoria,
And I'm back.
to have you answer questions here live.
Hello,
on
Ace.
Twitch, which is super cool.
That's good.
And to get a preview
Yeah, I'm just checking out some
of this new
notifications I've been
map
getting
and,
from the
I'm
Xbox
sorry, I just
Twitter
laughed at
accounts.
that murder ball
And,
animation that just happened right there.
Nobody
But yeah,
Saves
the
the
airship
World.
looks super cool. As you mentioned,
One of the
it's
games
coming
was announced
in
is coming to
5
Game
days
Pass.
now.
Yeah, it's
if
hard to
you
tell.
want
It's hard
to-
to say which one
Yeah,
is
if people want
coming.
to pre-order or get their hands on any of this content,
But
or
yeah.
at least ensure that they will be getting their hands on this
Yeah,
content
I
on
have
the
got like
31st, where can
16
people do that?
notifications from Twitter.
Thing
you
is,
there as
great
well?
thing is, if you've
Yeah,
already bought
so
Among
Nobody
Us,
Saves the
whether that's on
World is
PC
coming
or mobile,
later this year on
it
launch
will
day
automatically update. It's a
with
free
Game
update.
Pass.
It will be there for you on March 31st. And then in 2021, it will be coming to Xbox
It will
consoles.
be coming
I don't
to
have a
the
specific
PC
date for you yet.
Game
but
Pass for PC later in the year as well.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
I'm
This is so
very excited about
interesting.
it
This
coming to
game is so
console, for
huge,
sure.
and
And with the console,
I
can you
don't
say whether
see
there's cross-platform
why this game
play
is as
as well?
popular as it is.
Yes,
But
yes,
it has,
there
it
will be
has a
cross-platform
huge
play because
following.
I'm the same as you, Ace. I'll jump into it with friends. It's good to play once a month with
absolutely love
friends, I think.
Victoria, I don't know where
but
time
other than that-
So you've
flew
played
by
it with
so
friends.
fast. We could literally talk to you.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
day
You jump in
long.
a party,
But
you know,
if anyone
8
has
or
any
10 of you,
questions or
and
wants to know where
you know,
to
you all
find
get on
you,
the chat, and
do you
it's a good
have
laugh.
maybe a social platform?
But out
that
with
you
that, I
prefer
just feel
people to
like
reach
it's
out
so
on?
repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Totally,
really
yeah.
easy to
So
get
you can find
to get
us
bored
on
of it.
Twitter most of the time. So that's twitter.com/AmongUsGame. You can also find us on Discord at Inner Slockdads.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, Victoria, thank you so much.
So
for
Ben is
stopping
saying
by
he needs
the
to.
I
Are you
Need
going to
Xbox
buy this, Ben?
Showcase
For
today.
real?
Thank you for coming by Twitch Gaming, and
That's
hopefully
cool.
we'll see you here soon.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me, and thank you,
All
chat.
right, I'm ready for the announcements, man. Come on.
Oh,
Yeah, I kind of
man.
feeling this is
That
going to be
was so
the
fun.
end.
I can't wait
You know,
to
the
jump
end run,
into
the
that
big
new
run
map,
now
and
at
I
the
can't
end,
wait
you
to
know.
see what the new tasks
Yeah.
are, and how to adjust
My
your strategy
goodness, good
accordingly.
night.
I saw the people in
$30.
chat
What's you
appreciate
taking this, Ben? Would you
Everybody
actually pay
always thinks
30
I'm
for
the
that?
imposter,
It's
even
always
when I'm
insane.
not, and I don't know why. Apparently, I'm super sus all the time. But you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it, and then we'll adjust my strategy accordingly. And what kind of imposter are you, Story Mobe?
You know, I like to say I'm strategic, but sometimes when that imposter title flashes across the screen, it's like I kind of black out a little bit. Maybe I get a little
So
hungry
this is
and
quite
greedy with
interesting.
power. And I'm just like,
Who's
yes, the
I
first
don't know who
person I see,
Victoria
oh yeah,
is,
that's
but I
who
see
I'm
that
going for.
Brienne is
And
one of
all
the
my little
co-hosts.
plan just goes
Are you
out the
saying just
window.
another
I panic
female
sometimes.
who
It's fine.
is another
I
co-host
try
named
my best to have a nice
Victoria?
clean kill when you can get
And
somebody
Xbox
alone
don't
and then
put the
vent
both of
out of
them
there real
together?
quick. But it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you have
Let
a
me
kill
know.
and then
I'm trying.
three
I
other
didn't get that.
players walk
It
in.
gets
And
messy.
No, actually,
it's
Ace,
the
I
luck of the
think
draw
that
sometimes. But
person
the
was
more
meaning
clean
something
kills, the better.
completely
All
different.
right, folks, we have
Was
so
the way that
much
I read
more
that.
show left today in
I
the
see.
ID at Xbox Showcase.
Yeah.
Death's Door devs are up next, and then more
Holy
exclusive
crap.
gameplay trailers. Huzzah! And again,
This
just
event
a
is going
lot
on
more content to
forever.
show you. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
This is a long show, bro. Holy
Another
crap.
break. Oh my
This
god.
is a long show. If you want, we can end it. I mean, whatever else, this showcase we can just cover in the news video. But this is wild. Almost a 3-hour event. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was going to be. Just turn that down. Sorry, I didn't think it was going to be that long. Like, I know they said 100 games, but I expected feature 5 or 10 games,
Yeah.
and then the rest, throw at you in a sort of little
This
segments.
is a lot.
Yeah.
This is. I know. I gotta eat. It's my lunch break. I'm just like, what? The
Yeah,
hell
I'm
is
way
going
past
on?
dinner. I'm way past dinner time myself. But we ain't getting anything, sort of Game Pass, XCloud, or just console wise.
Yeah. We can end this, man. We can end
Yeah,
this.
I mean, it's all starting to feed into my Twitter feed right now, so I'm just saving them to put in, our news videos and whatnot. Try and cipher through it all.
More games, Chief, is insane, bro.
It just keeps going.
Last alert. All right, let me check. It's nuts. On StreamYard, when someone posts a link, you can't copy it, which is kind of annoying. I'm trying to copy Ben's link.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's weird. If I want to display, let me see. Let me just Google it. See if I can pull that up.
I am sending it to my other laptop right now. I will drop it.
Okay, I found it. Oh, it's on Steam. But I think Ben is saying it's an Xbox. Hold on. That's the link. Oh,
I've just dropped in the private chat.
All right, cool.
For you, Ace.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've got it up. What's it saying?
Let me share this with the screen. Oh, it does have a free trial. Great.
Yeah.
Great. Share this while we wait for this crazy show to start again.
I mean, that's the way to get you in, though. Give you a free trial.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do that.
If it's an hour or 2 hours, however long it be, you could get to a point where you don't want it to end, so you're going to lay down that $30.
Yeah. Well, y'all see my email account, but you cannot see my password. Oh my goodness, they're giving all my personal business here. Jeez Louises. I'll do this later. Ay. Giving all my personal business. Okay, well, it's here. I will definitely test this out. I'm curious to see if people would actually want to see what this. Maybe we'll stream this game via Shadow on Twitch or something. If people are
Yeah,
really
well, it's on GeForce now as
interested.
well, so there's...
Wait,
there's
what? It's on GeForce now. Last Oasis?
yeah, it's on GeForce now.
Are you for real?
No, wait, I'll show you.
Like, are you sure?
Yeah, no, honestly, look, it's in my library right now. No, not Avengers Code. Oh, hang on, it's just disappeared. It shows up when you search for it.
Let me see.
So it does.
I'll go crazy if this is on GeForce now. That means I don't have to download it. No way.
No, because it's launching. My game's launching right now. How did I
It's-
cancel?
it-
How did I
it isn't-
cancel on browser?
It's on GeForce now, though.
Yeah, because
It is in G. What the fuck? When did this start? When did this come out? When did this come out? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, well, it's been in early access for quite a while. That I was reading there. So
Oh man. Okay. Well. Yeah, you can go back to that.
yeah, sorry, Chief just went to refresh because it's went funny. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, guys.
Okay, I will be playing this. Wow. I will definitely sign up for early access too.
Hi, Jay. Thanks for popping in.
Yo, wow. I don't think a lot of people know this game's in GeForce now, bro.
I didn't even know the game was on. I didn't
Yeah.
even know about it until today. So that's what I love about these events. So is you find games like that.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay, we'll be checking this one out. This is insane.
Like this game on screen right now, I really like this style of game. Death's Door.
Death's Door.
I mean, that's Devolver Digital. They do such fantastic top-down,
They really
top-down
do.
style games.
They really do. Good stuff.
Now that was very cool. I'm Stallion83. With me today, Mark and Dave. and we
Still
are here
going,
to
my
talk
man.
about Death's
Yo,
Door.
Chief,
Think
did you
that's
know
cool.
this was on GeForce Now last Oasis?
No problem. So I want to know about the Crow. Like that is.
Alright.
He's awesome. He's a
Again, if you
badass
want to
Crow.
end this
I
show,
wanna know
feel
the
free to end
inspiration
it. I think
behind
I'm
the
done. I'm gonna
Well, we
go
thought
check
the
out
Crows
Last
were kind of
Oasis, man,
relevant to
but
the theme of death. They're kind
Wait,
of
we still got
the same
19
capture
people
the
watching.
themes
I'll
of the
hang
entire
out.
game, really.
Alright.
I'll say it.
Kind of mysterious birds, but they're also pretty cute and funny. So
Long
we
show.
decided to make the character a crow, and as soon as we did that, the game started coming together.
Huh, what is this?
Really,
though?
really cool. So what can you tell us about the story in Death's Door?
So it's set in a world where
Wow. Okay, we'll
Oh,
be
got a bit of lag,
checking
sorry.
it out.
It's set in a world where nothing
This looks
dies
good, though.
naturally anymore. So this group of crows,
I like
who
the
work in this
animation
office we
and the
saw in
art
the trailer,
style.
they are in charge of reaping the souls of the dead and maintaining some kind of order in this world. You obviously are one of the crows, and you get sent to a place where nothing has died for many centuries. So as you can imagine, things basically escalate from there.
So many games,
Very
Chief
cool, very
is
cool. So is
crazy.
this a roguelike? To me,
It's
it looks like a roguelike,
insane.
or is it an RPG? What type of game are we looking at here?
It's not a roguelike, so
Oh.
it's just one storyline.
Why
You don't
not?
play it
Why is
from
it not a
start to finish,
roguelike?
and it's like
I'm
an
still
entire
gonna play it though.
It has some
Do you
light
like
RPG element
roguelike
to it,
games?
too.
Oh, I love them, man.
combat
I
system
absolutely
is
love them.
great.
goodness.
You've
Yeah.
got things like strength and speed.
Oh my goodness, I
and
cannot
stuff like that,
stand
and you
them.
can also find
The,
new
the
weapons
risk and the
along the way.
reward is
And out in the world,
is
you'll
high.
have loads of different
uh,
secrets to
and
discover
it
as
makes it
well.
all
So
the
it's
better when you,
almost like 100% the
you know,
game.
when
There's
you
like a lot of
when you
juicy
beat the
secrets in
game.
the world for them to try and find.
That's true.
Speaking
You
of
see,
like
me,
100%,
I like my
what are the
games to be
achievements looking like in this
fun.
game?
You
I
know,
have to ask you that question.
if it stresses me out too
Mandatory.
much, like Valheim did, I just
Well,
turn
yeah,
it
that's
off.
part of it because we have so much content
But
in
the
this
good
game
thing
with
is
so many
that
secrets and so much like little touches.
I'll
and
go
different
away.
things
I'll go
we
away
can
and
do.
I'll play.
We
Like I
had
know
a lot
you
of
like
fun
NBA
coming
and I
up with
like
the achievements
FIFA.
as well.
You can just
Probably,
go
I
and
think
jump
one of
into
the
that
most fun ones
style of
at
game
the very
for
start of the game. You can
a
actually
couple
pick
of
up
hours
an
or
abandoned umbrella
an hour,
in this office where all the
and
crows
then
work,
a couple of
and you
days
get an
later you
achievement
can
for
go back
using
to.
that for
It's
every
true.
battle in the game.
So like
It's basically
Oh my
a
God.
very
Dreamscape was the
weak
one for
weapon
me that I
that
really
is
like.
half as powerful as
It's
any
taken me
other weapon in the
forever
game.
to beat
So
the game, but
it's a hard mode for people who want to do that kind of thing.
It doesn't
So
mean
that
to
might
say
be the
I
most
don't want to
challenging
play it anymore
achievement, that one
because
right there.
it's got the better of me the last 6
May well be,
times
yeah.
I've
I
played it.
haven't
Right,
tested it myself, so I
that
can't
just
speak on it,
entices
but
me.
that
Like this time, I'm gonna get it.
So, with a game called The
That's
Death's
crazy. You
Door,
have patience, man.
are
I
players
can't.
going to
After I failed 2 or
die
3
of the end of
times,
this game?
turn it off, man.
I wouldn't say I've
There'll
got
certainly be a
patience. I
few
don't
deaths
stream
to
them
have
types
to
of
go through,
games
yeah.
because I
Yeah.
don't have
It's the kind
patience.
of game where you
If you get me.
I wouldn't say it's hard as nails. Like if anyone's played our previous game, Titan
Duncan
Souls,
said the end of theirs,
that would
yeah.
be described as probably
Get in
hard
here,
as nails.
Duncan.
But this is a bit more
Get in
forgiving, a
here.
bit more
Get it?
accessible.
You can start
still think it'll
again. You
present
can
a good
take
challenge
over
for
for
anyone
us.
who was a fan of the old game.
Oh man,
Yeah, I
this
think
this show's
one is
mad,
certainly a
bro.
very intense
Wow.
action game, and it's definitely going to
I
challenge
do,
you.
I do,
But
I do
one
like
thing
that
we
they're
wanted to
giving
do
this
this
sort
time
of
around was
time
create
to
something where if
the
you
indies.
are hitting a wall
It's
with
true.
like a
True.
really ridiculously hard
because
boss,
you know,
don't just have to keep trying over and over again. You
well,
will
no single
have
developer is going
options you
to
can
announce
do,
100
different things you
games
can do to
like
prepare.
sort of
So
thing.
you might want to go and get more souls, which lets you
But
upgrade
this
your
just
stats
shows
a
you
bit,
the
enhance
reach
your
that
play
Xbox
style,
have got.
or you might
So they've
want to
always
go
been
and
working
search
with
the
all
world
these
for various
developers for
secrets.
so long,
So there's
and they've
alternative
coordinated
weapons
it
that you
so
might
that they
feel more
have
comfortable with,
100
and you
games
can
that they
also
can
find
announce
upgrades for all the
on this
abilities
one
that you have
day
access to. So
for the
yeah,
coming
we want people to be able
however many
to
months that
take
these
different
are all going to be
approaches and
coming out.
overcome challenges in their own way.
Yeah, fair play
Okay, so
for
what can you tell
managing
us
that.
about the combat
sure.
system and how many
For
different
sure.
weapons can we?
Yeah, Chief was saying this is the long. Yeah,
I've always
this
said the
is a
exact
long
number of
event.
weapons, but
Monkey, I don't
there's
know
a
how
few
you're
to,
still on
like,
here, bro.
change up your
Like
playstyle,
you haven't
make it
left
more
yet, man.
fast-paced, or
My
maybe
back
do
is
one
killing me.
I would lose my ever loving
The
mind
combat
by
was kind
now,
of
man.
inspired by
It's insane.
it's like Hyperlight Drifter, maybe a little bit of Hotline Miami. It's kind of like fast
It's
paced,
insane.
and you have to play quite reactively to your
I'm
surroundings. Like
hungry.
things change a lot.
I want to give this
You have to
like
be
10,
on your toes all
15
the
more
time.
minutes. I'm gonna go get something to eat.
And we were
My
also
family's
really
had their
careful
food,
to
I
make
can
sure
smell it.
that all
Mine's
of
is going to be in the
moveset
oven,
that
man,
you
just
have
like
is very fast,
going
very
cold by
fluid,
the minute, but
very
that's fine. I don't
responsive.
think
So every action you perform, it'll be
this will be
executed
worth
within
it,
very
like
few
because
frames
well,
of you pressing the button.
I've just
So you
got a
have
feeling
that
that
kind
there's
of
something
nice,
something
rapid
towards the
fluidity
end of
that
this
gives
event
something
that's
special
just going to be
any
like,
kind of challenge.
wow.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, you want
Like
to
I
take the
told you,
same
I-
kind
I-
of reactive.
incredible.
I think so. I
Sorry, go
think
Yeah, you
for
want
it,
to
Mark.
take
Go
the
ahead.
same kind of reactive interactions like Titan Souls, like pixel art kind of games, and bring it to the 3D world
Duncan, I
as well.
hope that halfway, buddy.
How many
Okay,
games?
so what about replayability? How much replayability will this game have?
Shit.
I think like,
there's-
the first thing I would
after
recommend
they-
doing when
Yeah, Chief, stop,
when
bro.
starts
Stop
coming,
with
when
the
you finish the
those
first
shots
event,
fired here, man.
is to continue that save because we actually let you carry
Zero
on
gave us a
afterwards,
self torture.
and There's loads of secrets to uncover in the world.
This is
loads
mad.
of things to do. Like we were saying before, it's
Chief,
really
why you gotta
fundamental
go here,
100%.
bro?
And
Why?
then beyond
Why?
that, then you've
Why?
got this kind of light
That's
RPG
funny.
system.
Yeah,
You can
no,
go
really.
for
Has anyone been
play it,
keeping count?
and
I
it does
think
change quite a lot. So
we
you
either
can
close to
focus on something
100
that's
or
far more
surpassed
speed and
100
magic
games by
based,
now.
or something that's more down
They've
to brute strength
showcased a
and range and that kind of
lot.
thing. So
I mean,
yeah,
I
think that would be
counted like,
the best way
well,
to
me and
enjoy its
Holtz, we thought there
replayability.
was like at least 40 games in the first
So how
20
many
minutes.
bosses? Are we looking
Yeah,
at? Looking at like,
yeah.
what is this right here on screen now? Is that a
Obviously, neither of
active
us listened to
boss?
school.
It looks
Right?
really
We
awesome.
were
Yeah,
way
that's
off.
technically
Yeah.
a mini boss, actually. I mean, mini is probably
That's a
not the
mini?
right
Oh,
word
wow.
for it, but yeah.
They just showing
There's
this.
quite,
I
there's a
mean,
few, there's a handful of
I get it. I
boss
get
characters in
it.
the game. As you
But
progress through, you kind of the core
anyway,
bosses have their own storylines that develop, and you kind of
I
interact
think
with
they
them a few
could have
times while
released
you're on your
series
journey. So by the time you get to them, you
interviews
maybe
have
know
been doing.
their
I kind of
backstory,
feel like they
you're
could
going
have
through
released
that
this
area of the world,
as
which is
like
kind of
content somewhere
they've
else
left that
rather
mark
than
on
doing
the
it
world.
live.
yeah.
Yeah, we really want to
Yeah.
show how these bosses have adapted to the the strange situation that's going on in this world, and how they've become these like overly powerful beings, and like Mark was saying, how they've affected the world around them. So there's a lot of kind of, each chapter of the game has a bit of
how many
build
still
up, learning
watching
about this
on
boss,
Twitch?
potentially even meeting them, and then when you do get to the bosses, it's
Yeah,
like the
check that
culmination of
out.
that
See if
chapter,
it's dying
and
over
our
there.
opportunity to up everything to 11.
Let me check on this other screen.
I'm
Claire?
barely hanging on, guys.
When can
Just being
players get their
honest.
hands on this game?
Barely hanging on here.
We're
I'm
actually
supposed to be
pretty
streaming on
far
the
along with it.
CGX
We're
channel on
almost
Twitch in like half an
completely
hour.
just polishing. And
I might need
You
to-
should end this. You should
I
end
might need
this.
to
Take
delay
a break.
that till maybe
and then-
8.
Okay,
Awesome,
yeah.
man. That sounds
Did you
great.
see
What
PlayStation
about, like,
Now
DLC? You guys got
for
anything
$1?
planned for DLC down the line?
For real?
Is
it $1 for a month? That's cool.
Sorry,
So
we're
they're
focusing
trying
on
to do
making
what
sure that
Game
the
Pass was
core
doing last
experience is
year.
full,
Or
satisfying.
maybe they're still
experience
offering
where,
the dollar
if you
promotion.
want to explore when you're playing the game, you know
Oh, I'm
that
still here.
world
I'm still
is
here.
Man.
entirely realized. There's
No,
nothing
you
we're
good.
waiting to add
You
later.
good.
So we're focusing on the core single player narrative experience for now, and then maybe we'll consider other things after.
So shots fired
So
real
if,
quick. As
fans
long
wanna
as this show
follow,
has been,
more information about
it's
this game,
still
where can
better than what Shadow puts on
They should
on
follow us
the
on
live
Twitter,
event.
at Acid Nerve.
Just throwing that out there.
I mean, I can't argue. I can't
Oh
argue.
my goodness, trying to watch a Shadow live event, man. Check Discord.
We handle quite a
that
lot
is
between
torture,
us,
man.
but we
That is
also have
torture.
an art team. So we have this
It's so
awesome team
difficult,
of a
man.
couple of concept artists and a
Alright,
3D
Ben,
modeler
let me check
who work with us as
Discord.
well. So it's them who created all of the assets that we need to bring our ideas to life.
Oh wow,
But
a
yeah,
lot
we
of
wear
messages
quite
here
a lot
in
of hats between the
Discord.
two of us as well. It's
Dropping
quite
this.
quite a good
You
collaborative
son of a
where everyone
gun,
has a
man.
lot of creative input.
You son of a gun.
I just seen it as well. Do you know what? I'm looking at Twitch right now, and there's just under 20,000 watching this, and I'm thinking like, this is Twitch gaming, this is Xbox. I kind of feel like there was
That's
probably
like that acts as a hub world.
4 or
so
5
as you
times that
progress
amount
through
in
the
the
game,
beginning.
which is one like consistent open world to explore.
Yeah,
you find these
we
keyholes
can
that
end
you
this
can unlock
stream.
and
Ben
they
just killed me
introduce
with that
shortcuts back
food,
into this
man.
hub world. So the actual main world is like this color, overgrown, like interesting place. Then there's
Okay,
the office where the Reapers work.
Now
which
I
is
gotta
kind of,
go eat some.
noir. It's kind of depressing bureaucratic.
Now I
environment.
gotta go eat some.
And the trailer, I
Son
saw
of a gun.
like tombs floating.
Oh
what's in the tomb?
man.
They were probably the doors. So
Alright, I'm done. I'm done. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
Monkey,
okay.
if
I'll
you
keep
want to
it
get
going,
done,
man. I'll keep
oh
it
my
going.
goodness, I don't know how you
They
doing it,
have these
man.
doors
It's
with convenience
crazy.
to any place.
I'm
So
out of here.
that's how
Alright,
it
chat.
functions
We'll
as a
see
hub. You can
y'all.
use
I
the
gotta
doors
go
to
eat.
travel
Cheers.
via shortcuts to back anywhere else in the world where you were.
Oh no, I'm going to see this to the end trips.
Okay, well, thank you
I kind
guys
of
for your
feel. I feel
time.
like
I appreciate it, and we're kicking it back.
even
Thank
if
you
even
guys
if we
so much.
quit
I
the
appreciate
stream,
it.
having us.
Thanks.
something's going to
Death's
happen.
Door.
I'm going to be watching it.
Oh, these look good.
And I kind of feel like we've
Now,
came.
I do
We're
want to
nearly
say
3 hours
first,
in
you
now.
know, shout out
I
to all
can't
all
leave
of
it
the
now. We
developers,
can't leave
but
it now.
especially these smaller studios. My goodness. I mean, they were even
Yeah,
saying
small
between the
studios.
two
We
of
know
them how
indies.
many different
It's an
hats
indie
and how many
event. Get on
different
with it.
roles and responsibilities they have
I'm
to
only joking, guys. I'm only
create these
joking.
amazing games. So shout out to all of you because oh my gosh, I can only imagine how hard of a job that is.
So much. Yeah, just a team of 2. Way to go, Mark and David. Love to see it. And chat was really loving this one. I was trying to pull comments out as we go. I saw Monkey Dwalis is for real, instant buy. I am Orvana's. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. Said devs made a really great game. Love the dark mood. GG and tons of love in chat for
Yeah,
black
no,
and white
Duncan, you.
atmosphere when we saw kind of the black and white atmospheric scenes.
Yeah.
And
See,
I
I'm still
definitely
gonna
wanna
have
know
to
more
deal with
about
this
this world
for
fleshing out. I think it really,
the
really looks cool.
recap,
I even saw some
the
people in
news
chat say,
recap that's going to come up on
potential
Sunday.
future game of the year.
Um,
So definitely loving that.
And I've got so many
Again, way to go,
notifications
team
right
of
now,
2,
so we
Mark
have
and
to go
David.
through all of this and find out what
Yes,
ones are
for
coming
sure.
to
Up
XCloud.
next, everyone. Oh, I'm
Okay, we're
I'm
on to the
excited
next
about this. Have
section.
you ever wondered what it would be like battling dinosaurs with guns?
Okay, so
Or
this is
are you
second
hoping to learn what
extinction,
kind
I
of
think.
weapons you'll get to use in Stalker 2?
Oh
Our
no, it's
next batch
Stalker.
of trailers will provide many
Okay,
exciting
it's a
updates to
few,
games
right?
we're
Okay.
all dying to play. I see you guys in the chat moving. Let's take a look at some more new gameplay trailers. Here we go.
No, Ben, no. I'm winning Valheim. Just to let you know. I'm only joking. I never win anything. Oh, hang on, guys. How's the volume for yous? That should be slightly better. I know. Yeah, Chief, there he is. I know Chief likes this game. I need to pick up as well because it feels like it would be such a good, fun co-op game. Although I would feel kind of bad about killing dinosaurs. Like, they already died once. and then we need to make them go extinct again. Game Pass, there you go, Game Pass 28th. Well, I mean, when we see games coming to Game Pass, we're always hoping that they're going to come to XCloud as well, ain't they? Yeah, no, you're right, Duncan. That's the thing. I kind of feel we'll probably get something in the next couple of days that is going to break down what's coming to console, cloud, and PC. You know, Game Pass wise.
Wrong. What was the difference between the people on the inside or the outside? Neither of them gave a damn about the beings that power our way of life.
Oh, right, okay. This is
Trespassers are the same. Murdering living creatures for a tiny piece.
This is intriguing me. Strategy games, I love strategy games. Turn-based, it's a hit and a miss for me personally. You know, depending on the game. But this looks really cool.
We are the caretakers.
And we're seeing it's just Series X and S and Xbox One later this year. Oh, right, okay. Well, that's a nice thing as well, actually. That's...
Indie Creates and Sunsoft present the final piece of a trilogy. A metal attacker embarks on a brand new adventure. The side view and top-down action is more intense than ever before.
I mean, these are the types of games that when they come to Game Pass, that you're going to jump in and try. And you're probably going to have a lot of fun. Whereas if it wasn't on Game Pass, you probably wouldn't pick it up.
Await him in a new dimension. The pinnacle of mutant blasting
Yeah,
action
no,
is
Ben.
here.
What I just pull that corner. I'm in full screen right now. Yeah, no, you're absolutely spot on though. Yeah, because the devs and Xbox got to sit down and hash that out for sure. And that's what I mean. We're going to get all this news filtering in the next couple of days, I hope. And yeah, Chief, no, I thought we were done 2 hours ago. But it's good though because it just
and now we are developing Stalker 2.
Xbox are just, you know, they're on every level right now. They're covering every base, so there's going to be something there for absolutely everybody. And this is the way they're going to get people into the Game Pass ecosystem because that's where they want their gamers right now. And besides buying the consoles, you know,
25 years of making games.
going forward, Game Pass is that's their moneymaker.
This year, we have an anniversary gift for our fans as well. It's an update on Stalker 2. It's not as big as a new trailer just yet, but we hope you will enjoy it. Let's start with something familiar, yet completely renewed. And here is
okay, we'll get some just stuff for Stalker.
Updated costumes. The zone is a dangerous place, so it's filled with different factions. The freedom and the duty are two iconic opposing forces. First ones see the zone as a free, ever-growing state.
The detail in there is incredible, by the way.
Their lives to prevent its spreading. These ideologies will never meet the agreement. As you may have guessed, you will see them in the sequel. The recognizable design for each faction has been enriched with details. If you look closely, you can see scuffs, scratches, and sticking out threads.
There's big developers and publishers out there that,
Please keep in mind the
are
models
putting out
still
AA and
work in
AAA
progress.
games that haven't got that amount of detail.
The time has
Maybe
passed
it'll be different
and
during the
new
game, but
forces emerged in the zone.
it'll be interesting
You can
to see.
expect to see more factions in Stalker 2. Let's move on. The reception of Stalker 2 has been extremely positive so far, and we are truly grateful for that. Thank you for your passion and your interest. Stalker 2 is a shooter game, and you can't imagine it without the guns, right? Here are a
Yeah,
couple
well,
of
it's kind
guns
of the
you will
point of
see
a
in the
shooter game, isn't it?
The arsenal will include more than 30 different weapons. Of course, there will be lots of modifications for each gun.
I mean, again, that detail's incredible, but is that going to transfer over to the game? Will I be able to see all that detail when I'm playing? Not to that degree, I know, but I hope it carries over some sort of elements that we see here. The safety switch, man, the detail in there, that's incredible. The blue masking tape round the top of the hand. Yeah. I mean, did you see just that last weapon there? Did you see the settings that you could extend? It had the numbers and it had like the switch, the flick on the inside, so you could extend the length. I mean, that's really nice.
Finally, let's finish with something completely unexpected. We work a lot to fill the world with a decent amount of memorable details. And sometimes
Chief, you
it
beat me
takes
to it,
us
mate.
to
Yeah.
completely unexpected grounds.
I mean, I like
Can you see
watching.
this guy? Quite a charmer, if you ask me. But let's take a closer look at his teeth.
I like looking at the details of the guns and everything. That's all well and good, but is that part of this
The tooth
event?
is gone, or changed, or
This is
replaced
Stalker
with a
2.
dental crown.
Ace, I presume.
All made with our custom teeth tool, one of the many plugins we use in the development process for specific changes like that. These tiny accents ensure each character looks completely unique. Literally every human in Stalker 2 has one-of-a-kind smile. Or grin, I suppose. And that covers up our news for today. Please subscribe to our official social channels to receive
dude, this
up-to-date
ain't
info
a...
about the game or ask any
We
questions.
want to see the game. We
would
want
be
to see
pleased
the
to share more about
gameplay.
Stalker 2,
No.
including gameplay demonstration later this year.
Why is that not in here?
Until then, good hunting, Stalkers.
I mean, the game's good. The game's good, but
Wee. My gosh. I mean, there was so much hype in the chat for Stalker 2. I mean, wow, I'm blown away. For those to be a work in progress, they were so detailed. My gosh. What did you think about that, Trisha?
Yeah, I mean, hyper-realism. So thank you, Zach,
Yeah.
for that update on Stalker 2. I saw a lot of support in chat for the dev team.
No
A lot
gameplay,
of love,
though.
like you said, Brianna, for
Wait,
this game.
let's
The
be honest.
updated costumes
We're
look
here to
super
see the
realistic and
games
fantastic. We got an
that are
in-depth
coming.
look at some of those weapons. And that tooth customization.
That's something that could be saved for.
Super realistic and definitely
You know,
unexpected
put that
for
on
me.
your
I
own
saw
channel.
667 Dielos in chat. Says
Put that
these
on your
graphics
own
are so
social
dope.
feeds.
WTF sexy headphones, which I
Send
love.
it out to the
that
people
your
that already
name
have the
your
game.
says absolutely cannot
But for
wait
an
to
event
play
like
this
this,
game. Yet
people
I hope
just want
that
to come
the
here and
devs
see the
take all the
gameplay, really,
time
don't
they
they?
need to make it right. So
I mean, if you
saw a couple
disagree,
people in
feel
chat
free
saying,
to
take your
let me
time.
know. But
Let's make this the best
for
game
me,
ever. And yeah, it was
Yeah,
cool
we're
that
here, we're
Zach
here
was
for
able to stop
gameplay.
by
We're here
and show us
to see
that update
gameplay,
of what they have so far for Stalker 2.
new trailers, find
Absolutely.
out
And
what
I love
games
what
are
you
coming.
said too. I feel like it is so important to give developers the time that they need to push these games out and allow them to do them properly. I know there's so much hype behind so many different games, but developers are people too. They need some time. They need to take
Yeah.
the rest that they need. Give them some time. And don't worry, you guys will be happy. Just a little bit of patience.
I'm always a fan. I will be patient and I will wait for the game to be awesome. So again, thank you, Zach, for that update. Up next, streamer
Okay.
Technique will sit down with director Luis Antonio
So another
about his
interview.
new game, 12 Minutes, an interactive thriller about a man
no,
trapped
no!
in a
This
time
game
loop. Let's take a look
looks
at that trailer now.
fantastic. By the way, this game, guys, right? Just silence, please. I really like the look of this.
Changing, moving backward, returning to its bud. Think of that bud, unopened. Look at it as a whole, and silently repeat these phrases. May you be free from suffering. May you be free from fear. May you know peace and joy.
Okay, Ben, I don't know what's happening in the chat, mate. I'm confused right now. We'll get to it. Okay, that was a really short.
Hello, everyone. Welcome
trailer
back.
for what
And
is
imagine being
looks like
stuck
it's
in
going to
the
be a fantastic
thrilling-themed
game.
12-minute time loop over and over again to figure out what's going on in your life. Well, today I have the pleasure to bring in Luis, the director of 12 Minutes, joining me here as Technique, as you guys know.
Okay, I've done a lot of
Luis,
not research, but I've read up quite a bit about this game.
This game, when I first saw it at E3, I was just like, what is this and what's happening? Because it reminded me of an old movie called Butterfly Effect.
Yes.
I remember seeing it when I was younger, and it
that was a
blew
great
my
movie.
mind. Can you introduce yourself and tell the chat a little bit about yourself and about this game, 12 Minutes?
Hey, Technique. Yeah, definitely. So 12 Minutes is it's an interactive thriller about a man trapped in a time loop. The whole game happens inside an apartment. You come home from work, you're having an evening with your wife, then this guy shows up. He accuses your wife of murder, and then he attacks you, you pass out, and then you go back to the start of the evening. And then you have to use the knowledge that you accumulate every loop to try to change the outcome and hopefully break the loop. It all happens inside the apartment. It's all in real time, and the game doesn't really tell you what to do, right? So it's kind of up to you to decide what to do based on what you experience.
See, this is, I mean, I like this sort of game, but
setups for failures.
some people might not, and I can understand why.
But before we get into all the complications of the game, we have to know. And
but
I'm
yeah,
pretty
this
sure
is my cup of tea.
When is the game going to be ready? Because we are ready to get
Yes,
our hands
tell
on
us,
this
tell
and
us,
experience
please.
12 minutes and find out
Breaking
how
news
to overcome this loop.
So the game, we're the final stage, like final stages. We're doing QA, polishing, a lot of play testing, making sure that the game is really smooth, finalizing the music.
Yeah, if anyone from 12 Minutes is
gonna
watching,
come out soon,
I apply for a
very
game
soon.
key for this, so yeah, send it out.
Definitely this year. The exact date we don't know yet, but once we do, we're gonna announce it, and it's happening. It's definitely happening.
We believe you. I can see the progress over the years for sure. But we can't talk about the game without going into a little bit more detail about this is a cinematic thriller, so to speak, and it's very interactive. So the most important key components of this.
See, this is a sort of
your
game where
cast and the voiceovers.
you're gonna
and the
have to
narrator.
actually
Could you go
listen
in a
to
little
what
bit, more detail about
the
that?
characters say.
So the whole experience, because the game never really tells you what you should be doing.
Very
so
small
a bit about
details
how you
like that, I
interpret
think,
what's
are going
happening.
to.
And so it's a very personal.
They're going to be very
intimate
important, I
environment where
think.
it's you with these two other characters, and yeah, so the voice acting is there to really help. Like you gotta connect with these characters and care about what's happening in order to to be able to follow the story and see where it leads.
In fact, this is the game.
That's
This is
a
the game,
very, very
guys.
important factor is
I'm just
connecting
going to
with the
confirm this,
characters
but
and-
I
and
believe
finding
that
some kind of
James McAvoy
relatability
is voicing
to
one of
feel
the
the emotion
characters.
that your main character feels, or main
If
characters, I
anyone
should
doesn't know who
say.
he is, he's quite a big.
And talking about
He's
relatability,
quite
everything
a big
happens
movie
into
star
an
these days, isn't he?
apartment. So the control aspect of this game has
Yes,
to be
it is.
very important.
So,
So what kind
James
of controls
McAvoy,
can we look
Daisy
forward
Ridley,
to,
and Willem
the accessibility
Dafoe
of controls in the system?
are all
So
doing
for 12 minutes, I wanted to,
voiceovers for the game.
it's kind of a point and click game, but a bit cleaner than
Which,
the old
by the
ones
way,
where you never quite know what's going to happen. You have objects
for
in the
an
apartment,
indie
like
game, is
on the trailer you
pretty
can
good,
see
by
pick
the
up a
way.
knife, there could be a mug, there's the plates. So anything you can pick up, you can combine with other characters or with yourself. And then there's things you can like open the door, close the door, and it might seem that it's not that many interactions, but each one, the characters react to everything you do. So very quickly it branches out into many possibilities.
I've been sitting here so long that daylight has
That's amazing.
disappeared.
Yeah, I saw a tiny bit of
No,
the
I can't
gameplay through
find
the
that.
trailer. It seemed
Switch
like
for my lamp.
the stuff that you do pick up have everything has a consequence, it seems, and it's kind of like a risk reward system. Like eating dinner. What if you pick up a knife and you try to go after the guy that comes in the apartment? You might have a consequence of that. That's really, really cool. I would love to dig more into the story narrative and the characters. Now you have I'm guessing that's her husband that comes home to see his wife, and
Yeah.
they're going to have a nice dinner, and somebody's going to come by at some point and accuse her of murder. Is there anything else you could tell us about that? Like, I mean, does the husband not know about the murder? Like, what's going on?
See, they can't really say much about the game. I got afraid when he laughed.
I don't want to say much because it's but everything you learn will affect how you.
You
how
got
you
so
deal with
loud
the
there.
situation. So there's not much that can be
Come on,
shared.
Louis, calm down.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, no,
I
exactly what it
think not
says there.
much
I was
can
doing a
tell
lot
about
of
the story.
looking into
I
this
want
game, and
players really
they
to
can't
go
tell
in
you much because they give away the game.
Right, and have a blank slate in how they're going to interpret the situation. But it's pretty
So have an
intense.
open mind, pretty much, is how you need to play this game. I'm assuming, right?
So this is a style of game
Yeah,
that
like the situations that
you wouldn't want to watch anyone playing it
None of them. There's no
because
there's
it's
no
going
right
to
or
take
wrong,
away
right?
from the
For example, let's say
experience
the
of
cop
you
comes
playing
in
it.
and he starts attacking you, right? You could try to fight or not fight, but each option that you choose will branch out in a different direction. So you're always learning, and you will use that knowledge, and the character also learns everything that you've done, and you're going to try to use that in order to try to change the outcome. So having a blank slate is pretty good for the player, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm looking
A lot of
forward
these-
to
A
this
lot of
one.
games like this do have a lot of mind tricks involved. But speaking of gameplay and keeping your mind open, how the length of the game, I'm pretty sure people are going to be like, okay, I understand this game is called 12 minutes. Is the game actually 12 minutes? Can you expand on the length of the game and give us a little insight on that?
Definitely. So the loop lasts 12 minutes. But for example, when the cop comes in, it's about 3 minutes into the loop. So if this was Groundhog Day, the film is like Bill Murray was dying at breakfast. So once you actually manage to survive the cop, the loop still continues. From playtesting, I thought the game would last about 8 hours, but so far we're rounding up to 15 to 18 hours.
Wow, I mean that's pretty incredible that you can get
What I would call a satisfactory end.
12 to 18 hours out of a game that is basically just based in an
You're
apartment
getting on that 20-hour
with
mark.
3
and I wouldn't
characters.
even believe in my head that was going to be that long of his experience. That's really great. This is a single player experience, right? This is no multiplayer or nothing like that. It's completely single player.
Yeah, it's a single player.
Okay, so single player experience. What about replayability? Once, let's say you solve the loop, what is there to do afterwards? What do we have to look for?
Yeah, this is a very good question, actually.
So yeah, I think once you play through, you're gonna have your own experience. I think a lot of it will be talking with your friends and other players about the interpretations of what's happening and how they dealt with the situation and whatever branches they went through. But yeah, this is my goal with this was to make something that's very clean, no fat, and very really respecting the player's time. So yeah, you play once, you enjoy this, and then you're done.
See, the thing I hope that doesn't let us down with this game is actually,
I respect that so much.
I really hope the
Just
story is
looking at
good.
it seems like you're just thrown automatically into.
That is a
action
narrative
of it.
going to be good enough to draw
There's
us
no,
back in.
overall huge arcing story that you have to sit and wait a couple hours before you get to the gameplay. I really, really expect that. And I'm going to say kudos to you because, correct me if I'm wrong, you were
It's a
working on
bold
this
style of
alone at
game
some
to
point?
make, so it is for sure.
Yeah, I was
It's an
developing this
absolute
alone
bold style
for
of game.
like 2-3 years, and then I partnered with Annapurna Interactive, and that's when we kind of managed to bring the voice cast in and really take this to another.
I can see this style of game coming to XCloud. That's not saying it's going to come to XCloud, but it's quite.
The atmosphere.
It's
you
not going to be
really
a
hit
massive
on that
game. It's not
thriller.
going to be
It seems like
graphically
it starts
demanding.
off all peaceful and then things get chaotic out of
And
nowhere.
it could very well be the
Are
sort
all
of
the
game that
rooms
you
in the
take on the
apartment,
go with you,
well,
which is
first
what
of all,
cloud
all the
gaming is,
rooms in the
one of the big
apartment itself,
advantages.
I'm thinking you start on an elevator or maybe you like come into a hallway. Are the rooms available to go into, or is it only your apartment? And if it's in your apartment, can you go into every room
Yeah.
and interact with most things in your apartment?
Yeah, so the whole game, what you see the moment the game starts will be what you're going to have when the game ends. Nothing else will change apart from your knowledge of everything that's happening in there. Yeah, you can go to all rooms, you can interact with everything, and yeah, if you've played before and you start again, you'll have a lot more knowledge on how to deal with the situation and handle things differently. And I would say also, like, the reason why it's so small and so tiny is actually to allow your actions to have very clear outcomes. You know, like if imagine the loop was 24 hours, you'd get lost about doing a bunch of things in sequence in order to know what was going to happen. But by compressing the experience to this level, like
No,
if I
Ben.
lock the door,
No,
I
Ben.
know that maybe the cop won't be able to get in, or maybe he'll do something
I can see you
else.
now.
And in a minute, you're back at the start, and you can very quickly
It
see
popped
the
up and
outcome
said
of your
300
actions.
seconds, mate, and I've been
makes it
sitting
really
here for over 3 hours now. I couldn't
Seems like a
even
lot
tell
of
you how
thought
many
process has
minutes
been
that
put into the
was.
game, and I really like that feature as well.
It wasn't me.
Of not giving us
I
too
didn't
big
put you
of a
in
loop so we
timeout.
can just really hone in.
I don't know
because a
what-
lot of games, especially RPGs, give you so much information in the beginning, reading all this stuff, and you tend to forget the
I didn't-
core product of
Excuse
the
me.
game itself. So having us in
Sorry,
that loop
guys.
is a very,
I
very good
didn't put you in
idea.
timeout. I honestly have no idea what
Are there
happened.
multiple endings? You know, I'm not asking for details. You
And
know, I
yes,
just wanna know
Duncan,
that,
it's
you
still
can solve a
going.
loop one way, but is there multiple ways to solve it?
So when I started to work on this game, right, that's
It's maybe
question
just
kept
YouTube
coming
doing
up.
funny things, man.
I kept asking myself, how do you end the story that keeps repeating itself? So the answer is there is. What
How
you
do
can
you
call
end
a
a story that
conclusion,
keeps
but
repeating
it
itself?
doesn't
That's what I've been
match what
feeling
you'd
like for the
expect out
last
of a
3.5
movie
hours.
experience, right? When you see a movie, you get to the end, you get the credits, but this is interactive and you can participate.
was
So
cheap.
what we call an ending is slightly different from
I actually honestly have no
what
idea.
usually movies do. So
Ace has been very
you'll reach a
quiet though.
satisfactory conclusion.
What I will say is he has been very
What
quiet.
that is and how that is, it's kind of different from people usually expect in games.
That's amazing, Lewis. I have to ask. This concept is something that we don't see often in video games. Were there any inspiration that led to creating this game? You said about 2 to 3 years ago you started it. Did you have any kind of inspiration behind it that could lead into maybe even more titles like this?
So early on, I there were some pillars that I wanted to work on. Like, so I've been working in games for many years. I've been at Rockstar, Ubisoft, worked on The Witness with Jonathan Blow, and always as an artist. I was always on the artist side of things. And this idea of repeating the same amount of time over and over, which games do naturally, you know, what if that repetition was actually something you were aware of, right? Rather than Tomb Raider, you die, you reset, and you're doing the same thing, but no one acknowledges what's happening. So along with this,
It's a really nice
I wanted
idea,
also
this
to
game.
kind of
But the question is, can they
take
pull it off?
things from the movie industry, like from the cinematic side of things. You know, like for example, like Hitchcock, Rear Window, the way you spend the whole movie sitting in the balcony and interpreting what's happening, or like in
That's a great
Memento, where
movie.
Nolan changed the order of the scene so that the player feels what the character is going through, right? And as I started to learn to program and make the game,
Still
I
going,
realized
Ace.
that we do have these
Still
tools
going,
as the
buddy.
game designers, and we can bring them in. You know, how
There's
you
a game
interact with
popped
the
up that
environment, how
actually
much
really
information
interests
we
me,
give
and
you,
if
how
I
the
would
world reacts to you.
highly recommend anyone to
So
go
it
and
was
have a
slowly
look
each element I would bring in.
and see what you
I would
think
see
about this game. 12
elements
minutes.
in the same
There's actually
language
not a lot out
that
there,
and in the
which
same theme
makes it
message
even
I'm
more
trying to convey.
enticing.
If yes, it goes in. If not, I would take it
Well,
out.
for me, anyway, it does.
So and slowly these things start to grow into 12 minutes.
But they are dragging it out quite a bit now.
So that's really cool. We really don't, in chat, I just want you to understand, we really don't get to hear this side of development, right? We get to see the game and we're like, oh, this is cool, this looks beautiful, and this, that, and the other. But it seems like, Lewis, you have almost like a movie direction or cinematic background and be able to lay out a game, and you were just doing art side of stuff. I'm pretty sure you took a lot of those tools that you got from all those other developers and brought it into making your own. Do you see yourself making more titles with more cinematic approach? Because I think this is a wonderful avenue that a lot of games typically
I think
just throw
we're
for
at like
cutscenes and not really give us the
they
player
have been
experience.
going for.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it I think it's cinematic, but I
Why
would
is it
call
not
it.
telling me?
I think it's like the
3 hours?
history of games has this background of, you know, you have levels, you have objectives, you have
So
coins
you
and
would
goals.
think
I'm
that
like,
this is going to be
what
the
if
last
we
one.
bring
If not, there's going to be
some
something
aspects of it, but not
incredible
others?
just going to be
And
teased
I
right
think
at the end.
for this specific experience, I think being cinematic and bring a lot of cues, you know, from films about the way the actors move, the way they talk to each other, the tempo. And everything
I know,
makes
Hopes,
sense.
I know.
And I would like to keep doing that for sure. But if the next titles would be similar, I don't know. But I think this idea of
To
really
be
paying
fair, I
attention to
sat
the
down and played
elements you bring
Cyberpunk when it
in.
launched for like
For example, the top down. The main reason for
18
doing
hours
top down
straight,
is
so
so that you can
I've got
easily
good
navigate
experience
the
in this.
environment, right? If you bring first person, suddenly 80% of the people cannot play the game because they don't know how to control the character. But I realized, look, if you just click where you go, and then when you go into an object like the fridge, it goes into first person, and now you keep having all the verbs you would have in other video games, but the simplicity is there. So someone who doesn't play video games can
So
just
that's
jump
nice. So
in
it's
as
going
long
to
as you know
switch
how to
from the
click
top
where you
down
want to
view,
go to. It just
and then
works.
it's going to go at
And
first
there's
person
no
when you want to look at
compromise in
something
the
or
design
inspect something to try and get your
I can pick your
information.
brain all day. You just seem to have an answer for everything. I love it. Wow, that is just amazing. So the funny thing is, I love how you chose. I was thinking about the accessibility and what you were saying.
Stop
because
asking
I was
questions.
Like,
Stop asking questions.
Us video gamers are going to be a lot of people going to be like, why point and click, where we can experience this a little bit more in depth. But I also love the fact that you went point and click for the simple fact of you get to see the environment that you're in, and it kind of builds a kind of tenseness to it as well. Like when you hit your first loop or your second loop, you know this guy is coming. What do you do? Where do you go? You know, and being in first person, you kind of panic and you lose a lot of that atmosphere effect. Being able to go into rooms, lock doors, and take apart certain mental puzzles, I should say, to fix it. Now, I really want to know about.
Oh, this guy's still got questions. Come on.
Characters, because they're the most important key components.
See, I'm really interested in this
especially
game,
the
but
main characters that you play.
after
Does his
3
attitude
hours,
change through the loops, or do you kind of have like a more of a monotone feel? Does he start to realize that he's in a loop and he's like, oh my God, and he gets frantic? Or the choices that you make conversation wise get a little bit more tense or soothing?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So early on, I kept asking
That's actually a
myself,
really
how
good
am I going to
question.
convey the progress of the character if everything is resetting, right? I cannot change his clothes. I cannot change. Nothing can change. Everything goes back to the start, but his knowledge stays. So the idea is that every time
this is the sort of game that,
you loop,
and as sad as I am, I don't even mind saying it.
he will do
I will
his
sit
thing,
and play
but
this game with a notebook and a
we try
pen
to
right
read
next to me
the
and write stuff
frustrations you're
down
going
so that I
through, and
don't
he will react
forget.
to those frustrations, and everything that you make him do, he's going to be aware. So, for example, when you go talk with the wife, everything you know is what you will. Every loop you do, everything you do, he will know it and be able to talk and execute on in the next loop. Or if you make him do things that he doesn't feel very comfortable, the more he makes them, the more comfortable he will be making them. So
Yeah,
he
so like,
evolves next to you.
in one of the
And
trailers
you'll
I
see that
watched,
evolution. The way he talks with
the
the
guy and
wife,
the
like
woman sitting at the
the
dinner
first
table,
time, maybe he's very excited
and
to see her. By loop
his
50,
wife
he's like, hey, how are you? What's your
his
day?
wife starts to talk,
You see that
and then
evolution.
he says everything that she's about to say, and she gets really confused,
Something else we realize
and
is
then
by
someone
doing
busts through
top-down,
the
you don't
door
see
and
the
starts
faces. And by
causing
not seeing the
chaos.
faces, first we don't go into this
That's what sort of
technical
got me.
challenge of rendering faces, but suddenly the body movement and the voice acting, they elevate the experience because you're kind of projecting what they're
Hi,
saying
Chief.
to each other because you don't see exactly what the faces are doing, and it really helps.
Why is this event still going?
Intensity.
That's
It's,
animation is going to be a key part. If
it is what
everyone
it is,
in chat
isn't
wants
it?
more than 12 minutes, I can talk to him all day.
3-hour
Unfortunately, I'm
game
going to take up the whole
showcase.
show.
My
We're not supposed to
goodness.
do that.
Xbox aren't playing it by heart,
Lewis,
are they?
thank you so very much for being here.
No,
But
no,
before
Are we
no.
gonna get a wrap up,
where they
or are we
can
gonna get
find
another
you,
announcement?
the game, and
Place your
every
bets.
information possible to be able to experience 12 minutes.
So yes, you can go to 12minutesgame.com. That's the website. There's a development blog that I've been writing for like 5 years now. You can, if you feel like you can see the whole progress of the game. That's what I'm going to announce when we're at a release date, and I'm always posting stuff. You can follow the game on Twitter at 12minutesgame, or follow me at Faca Elétrica also on Twitter. But just
Excuse
type
me?
12 Minutes Game on Google and you get all these links.
Boom. 12 minutes. Thank you so very much, Lewis, for joining us. In chat, I would love to stay with you, but I got to go and send it back to Story Mode
Okay,
Bay and
for
Trisha.
some.
Thank you for your
Please
time.
drop something big at the end. Make
Come
this
on, this is
worthwhile.
nuts.
Take my
Thank
money.
you, Technique and Lewis. I don't know about you, Brianna, but 12 minutes has been on my radar for a while now. I want to say it was maybe a couple
Wasn't on my radar, but it is now.
when maybe they first kind of showed us a look
Ah,
at it, but
no,
having
yeah,
that
it
really
does
like
look-
top down, very
Coming
personal and
up,
intimate
exclusive new
viewpoint
game
on it,
trailers. They're
plus
still
the
going.
intensity of the emotions of what's going on in the loop. I just think it's a super cool concept. Has this
my
been on
gosh.
your radar too?
Yes, and it looks amazing.
Thank
This
you,
is
Ace.
exactly the type of game that I have been waiting for. I definitely love to see so much hype coming in from the chat, especially because the concept of the game is so brand new and different. Normally, I feel like people would be a little bit apprehensive, like a top-down view the entire game. I don't know, but there was so much hype, and I understand completely. Like I said, take my money, take my credit card right now. Like I am buying it day
I'll
one.
take a
no
credit card if
questions
you like.
asked.
Not a problem.
Oh yeah, a lot of people in chat saying buying day one. I saw that Silky C said I want to
I
play
think
this
I'll
game
buy
so
that
bad.
day
It
one,
looks
to
so
be
good,
honest.
and the
That's
concept
it's quite an
looks so
intriguing little puzzle
fascinating.
game.
Amaya
Yeah,
Quite into
said,
that.
"Sounds
It's
amazing,
quite
well
nice,
done, guys."
intriguing games
The
suck
art
me in,
design
like
is
that
so
Observer.
beautiful and
Like,
clean.
I'm actually quite
Still
intrigued to
a
go
lot
back
to
and
love with
find out
12
what's going
minutes,
on
but
there.
we have so many other things still to cover.
Yeah, no,
Next up,
Chief,
we have another
I'm
exciting
like that
game
as
from
well. Like the
Annapurna
less they
Interactive to
tell
announce.
you about a game in the
Last
beginning,
stop.
the more
But
intriguing
rather
I
than
find
show
it.
you a quick trailer, the team at Annapurna Interactive were nice enough to send along an exclusive gameplay demo.
Okay.
So after
Okay.
that, we will then meet the creators of the game, Astra Ascending. So right now, let's take a look.
Oh.
I just seen your
Hello,
message,
and
Chief.
welcome
Thank
to
you.
Last Stop, a new game from Variable State and Annapurna Interactive. Last Stop is a story-driven adventure game where you navigate
the
through
fuzz.
3 entangled stories that intertwine into one wild sci-fi adventure.
This is
full of
nuts. How many games?
and danger. Today we're going to show you how this game works by playing a quick sequence from one of these stories. In this tale, 2 neighbours, John and Jack, have accidentally swapped bodies in a freak accident. They must now help each other blend
Freaky
in
Friday.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
and way of life. Let's take a look at how you could play this out.
So where do you work? Superfab. It's not far from your office, actually. And people pay you to do this? Yeah.
Oh, Kamba, there's just too many games to list out, man. It's gonna be a big recap on Sunday.
I struggle enough with the oven timer. I don't think this is going to work. Don't sweat it. I'll walk you through it. Think of me as a master puppeteer and you my obedient marionette.
Don't forget, I need to be taken to school at some point.
Yeah. Now,
It's gonna be really freaky.
you can't miss it. It's the one with the robot doing a sick dab. Sneak past Sonia, the receptionist.
I don't even know what to say about this game, but this is just.
She didn't sound that dippy on the phone.
You're mean, Jack.
And so you actually got to end up playing as them, pretend. That's interesting. Turn it into a stealth game.
It's a role-playing stealth story-driven. Worst.
You wouldn't notice that going on in here.
What the hell is going on here?
It's like a quick time event.
This is going to be some sort of joke trailer, is it not?
Hello, stranger. You look well rested.
Slept the whole weekend. Anyway, I should probably
It's
just
like a
go.
chapter. What's that? It's a game fairly recently about
Good morning.
where you play through it, isn't it? Oh, I've forgotten what it's called. A chapter game.
Who the hell was that?
What? Jack, you sure you're not still feeling ill?
He's my boss.
I have no words for this.
So.
Not in a bad way.
It's Monday. That means sprint planning. You're going to coordinate with your team on their tasks for the week.
Dad's no good with stuff like that.
Molly's right. I don't think anyone would follow me into battle. It's simple, trust me. Jonah's working on modelling the last of the cream cakes for Mrs. Clapton's tea shop. Letitia's putting the finishing touches to the AI for the retirement home scene with the shell-shock veteran. And Tobias is writing up the design for the interactive funeral procession. And Maya is midway through implementing Rumble support.
Jonah cakes, Letitia's shell shock, Tobias funerals, Maya Rumble.
See? You're a natural.
Hello. Good weekends, everyone? Get up to anything interesting? Okay, let's see. So I'm supposed to go around everyone and check what you're all working on. So, Jonah. You are modelling cream cakes, aren't you? I'll take the silence as an agreement. Okay, Letitia.
Oh man, I've got. It's really annoying me that I can't remember what that game is. Where
No, IA.
you
For
play
retirement
through and
home.
it's like you're almost playing a book.
Okay, Tobias. Are you rumbling? Actually, I'm not sure that's right. Finally, Maya. Are you doing the IA? The AI? One of them. Sorry, I'm not sure that's quite right. Look, even I can tell this meeting is a bit pointless.
It says everything that he's
You all
doing
know
in
what
the
you're up
in
to,
the
even
screen
if I
behind
don't.
him.
Yeah.
I guess what you're really looking for is a pep talk, isn't it? Some words of encouragement. I'm sorry. I thought I could do this, but none of this comes naturally to me. You all look like nice, bright people. You don't need to listen to an old fart like me. I'm sorry that I can't give you anything more inspiring. Maybe I'll just leave you with the
Sat
advice
there
that
as
my
a
granddad
young
told
guy
me
saying
on
old
my
fart.
18th birthday.
Oh, I forgot they switched, didn't they? I was
Don't take
confused there.
unnecessary risks. Stay out of debt.
Just
Cheers.
And that's just a quick look at Last Stop. Be sure to check out more updates soon as the game rises to console and PC.
Ben,
this
you
year.
play some of the chapter-ish games.
Thanks for
What's
stopping
what's
by.
the game I'm thinking of?
Chief, I can't even help. I have no idea right now. I'm so confused.
This looks interesting.
こんにちは、野島和重と申します。ですね、普段は日本の大手の、メーカーさんの、割と対策みたいな感じの、ロールプレイングゲームのシナリオを書かせて
おお。
崎本と申します。作曲家と、あとは、サウンドプロデューサーなどをやってることが多いです。あと、ベーシスケープという会社の、運営をしています。代表作は、多分一番有名なのは、スクエア社の、ファイナルファンタジー12というですかね。
アストリア・アセンディングの中では、私は、世界観の設定と、あと、プロット、ストーリーと、細々としたセリフまでやってます。はい。
ミュージックディレクターだと思います。はい。もちろん、作曲
The sketches look brilliant.
ストーリー上っていうか設定上、この星に住んでる人たちは調和の実っていうのを食べてて、ある意味その本能的な部分は抑えちゃってるんですよね。鳥はあんまり高く飛べなくなっちゃったし、猛獣系のやつらはちょっと筋力が落ちたりしてるんで、それでなんとか調和を保ってる。
Was that flying monkeys?
テーマ的にはその
Style things.
もう我々にとっての調和の実っていうのは何だろうみたいな。
お話はそうですね、かなりシビアに展開していきますね。なんで、その人の大義とは何なんだろうとか、何かを守りたかったり、 して、まあそういうのってその人間が動くその根本的な原動力だと思うんですけど、その結果どういうことが起こっていくのかとか、そうですね。まあそういうことを結構突きつけられる感じのゲームだと思います。
まあ主人公たちはデミゴットっていう、まあ、その調和を守るための戦隊みたいな感じなんですよね。国民の中から、まあ、
Tell me
ランダム
why
に選ばれて
that was the
3
game
年
I
間
was
の
thinking.
任期を務め上げる。
ディレクターのジュリアンさんからも言われていたんですけど、とにかくそういう
I thought that was a Backstreet Boys song.
It's sort of where they like play
mind.
through a story. That looks like that's what the kind of thing is, but it looked a bit too cringing for me.
そのテーマなんじゃないですかね。
まあ、主人公たちがそのデミゴットに
Are
選
you
ば
going
れ
to
る
show us a bit more gameplay on this one?
それぞれまあ幸せだったりいろんな問題を抱えてたりする普
This
通の
looks very early Final Fantasy style again.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It seems to be, you know, a really nice
仕事として
RPG, sort of turn-based.
っていう
Is it side scroller
葛藤と
again?
か喜びとかを描こうとしました。
先ほど少し触れましたが、その
Yes, and
ゲームの中の
yeah, from what we've seen, I think so.
でも実はそういうのを
Yeah.
だんだん音楽から遠くなっていっちゃうんですよ。なので
Because there's a bit.
More platformer.
Yeah, well, maybe we're getting both elements.
そういう記号としても機能するから、そういうところを目指してやりました。まあそこはうまく。
Puzzle platform.
僕自身はそのまあやっぱりゲームが大好きでこの業界に入ってきてるので、ゲームに対してそのこうあってほしいみたいな、それとかあとは昔自分がその遊んでて楽しかったゲームに対してのなんか思い出とか、あとはその思い出補正入りだと思うんですけど、そういうものがもっともっとこうもっと素晴らしくこう表現されていていいなっていうか、その世界に
I don't get the pace of this event. It seems like they chuck loads of gameplay trailers and then spend like 10-15 minutes on one dev.
まあうまくそれが効いてるといいんですけどね。まあその辺はユーザーさんの反応を見て、評価
Yeah, I feel like they could have broke this down.
そういうのはぜひ味わっていただきたい。
Not just because I've been sitting here for 3 hours, but
仕事と
you
は
know,
直接関係ない
for everyone, I feel like this
絵
could
が
have
綺麗
been
ですね
broken down.
あとキャラクターのアニメーションと
I
か
think yeah, the dev interviews and stuff could have been a bit
ア
shorter.
ートを感じるんですけども、
But like you said, maybe they could have done this as a 2-part or 3-part event
皆
or
さんも
something.
楽しんでいただけるんじゃないかなと思って。
Yeah, but we're well over the 3-hour mark, and they're still saying there's more to come.
Yeah, I mean, even if they had like shortened the interviews but then released the full interviews, maybe in the next coming days. Okay, that's coming to Game Pass. I've seen there. That's good.
Oh man, how awkward was that poor meeting in the last stop trailer? Like I felt it in my soul, Brianna. How awkward it was for that guy.
I don't have a soul left anymore.
I mean, you know what? I really appreciated that for Last Stop. They gave us a demo. I feel like so often with gameplay trailers,
Final
you
trailers.
don't really know what's going on. Or sometimes the trailer doesn't really reflect how the actual gameplay is. So big shout out to them. I am very excited for it. But I'm also very
Come on, give
excited
us
for this
something
next
worth waiting
section
for,
coming
please.
up.
Brianna
Now,
and
we've learned
Trisha.
so much
Please.
today about unique indie titles that are coming to Xbox soon. But we know what you guys are wondering at home, myself included. What games are coming to Game Pass? Well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we have the answer for you. Let's take a look.
Here we go. Here we go. Celeste, we knew that though, didn't we? I think.
Human Fall Flat available now. These are all available now. Yeah. So these are all the indie games available now.
By the way, Deep Rock Galactic, people don't sleep in that game. That is.
No, I wanted to get a code for that and they wouldn't give me one. So it's on Game Pass. I might have to hop in.
I've watched a few people play it and they say it's brilliant.
These are all play day one. So these still coming. Yeah. So that was one we just saw announced.
Yeah, we've seen these. They were right in the beginning, weren't they? This was in there somewhere as well. Shoot, no. seen so many games. Bungalow Bay, that's the one. That's the fishing one that looks really.
So I'm really hoping to see Second Extinction and also whatever it was, Rising, Last Oasis on here. Come on.
Oh, Last Oasis, yeah.
Let's hope that we see those in here.
See, I want them on XCloud, so that when XCloud comes to PC, I can jump in because I don't have an Xbox.
Stalker 2? It's coming to Game Pass Day 1. Edge of Eternity. Don't sleep on that game either. It's quite hard, but that's awesome that it's coming to Game Pass. I've had that on Steam Early Access for ages.
Is that sort of Sekiro style?
No, it's
similar?
like
No.
real time. It's like Final Fantasy 14 style.
Oh, right, okay. Spiritfarer, that's a good. Damn, that's a lot of games, man.
Oh, no.
Game Pass, hi!
No Second
So many
Extinction.
great games coming to Game Pass. I mean, like,
it still might
I'm
come.
trying to keep track of them all, but they were flying at me so fast. Celeste, Wild at Heart, Nobody Saves the World, The Ascent, and for everyone who's been asking for it in chat, Library of, is it Ruina or Ruina? I know I'm going to say it wrong, but yes, coming to
That
Game
one.
Pass, which is super exciting. Game Pass is so dope.
I mean, nothing
Cyrus and Ade, I see
massive
you
in there, like
there
no
in
like
chat. But
huge,
yeah,
amazing
so we've
announcements,
seen
but all good,
a lot of
solid
great games today.
variety
We've
of
seen a lot
games.
of teases, and of course, super hyped. Brianna
I
and
know a
I are
lot
both
of people are
Game
excited
Pass,
for Stalker 2, so just
wanna
that
take a moment
coming
to
to Game Pass Day 1
everybody
is pretty
who's
huge.
joined on the show
Yeah,
today.
and that's
We
why
had
I feel
Chris
like they
Starla from ID at Xbox
they
earlier.
didn't show much
Victoria
gameplay when they were
Tran,
speaking
Inner Slot
to the
for
developer
Among Us.
there. Just
Gwen
showed a
and
load of
Trina were
guns.
here to talk about
I mean,
Movie
it's
Club,
nice
to
and all
talk
that,
about
but I didn't think this was the
Superpod.
event for it.
Lewis was here just recently to talk about 12 Minutes. Graham and Ian talking about Nobody Saves the World, which
Yay,
was
they're
awesome,
wrapping
from
up.
Drinkbox Studios. Zach and Lou were from Bunny
Kudos,
Hug, and
Hell
they were here
Monkey.
talking about Moongrove
You
Bay.
held
Mark
it
and
out to the
David were
end.
here from
Well
Asperger
done,
talking
man.
about Death's
No,
Door.
enough,
Of
bro.
course, a
I mean,
huge
listen,
thank you
I'm
to all
excited
of
for
our
all the
streamer
indie
friends
games
and
just
guest
as much
hosts who
as
were here
anyone
today.
else, but
Kate Stark, Stallion
yeah,
Energy,
this has been
Danatage,
too long.
Technique, and Blind Gamer C. You guys were all awesome, and
See, the thing
Glenn
is,
and I
see,
literally
tomorrow I'm going to sit and
have
watch
done
this
the show
again
and
to
shown
see
you all
something
of
that
these
I maybe
wonderful
missed.
indie games without you. So
It's just what us
yeah,
gamers do,
Brianna,
man.
how you feeling?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're at the end of our show. This was so amazing to be a part of and co-host with you. I do want to take a minute to shout out to production for holding it down behind the scenes. I know it is not easy putting these shows together
I
and
still
getting
feel like
everyone
something's
in their
they're
right
just gonna
places
drop
where they
something.
need to be. So
Come on.
thank you. We do appreciate you.
That would
Now,
be
if
cool.
anyone's, looking for me on the internet, my name is Story Mode Bay. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok if you're into that sort of thing. Come by and say hi. I promise I don't bite at all. Now, Trisha, where can
Definitely
everyone
good
find
stuff.
you?
If people want to find me on socials, on Twitter, Instagram, etc., it's that girl Trish.
Oh.
There's no I in the girl, so just that GRL Trish. Or right here on Twitch, you can find me at Trisha Hirschberger. Just my name. It's like right there. Yeah, right there. But this has been so much fun. If you are an indie games fan, I do an indie games showcase on my channel every Tuesday.
Oh, they're just
but you can expect to see
self-promoting now.
plays and stuff on my channel as well. But we have a real good
Hi.
time. Stop on by and say hi to Dragon Rider Army. And thank you to
There's like
everybody
20,000
here
watching.
in chat who's been commenting. We see you. Thank you
Shout out
for
to people who've been
participating
watching
in the show. And also
along for
shout out to
3.5
anyone
hours.
co-streaming this event today. I know all the things that are co-streaming are
Right on time.
co-streamable. So to all my co-streamers out there, what's up and thank you. So again, just thanks to everyone who was part of the showcase today. I hope you found a new indie game to fall in love with.
And quite a few
we'll
games
see you
that I'm going to
soon
be
with
certainly
more great
keeping an eye on.
content here on Twitch Gaming. Thanks everybody.
Bye.
Oh, right. Okay, that was absolutely fantastic. There's loads of good games in there, by the way.
Great showcase. There's that 12 minutes. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on that one. Good work,
Dexter
now
was-
Monkey.
No, listen, guys, and thank you to everyone that was that's hung around with us from start to finish as well, because that was an incredible sitting. And yeah, we might as well just wrap this up since the games are just doing the overview right now. At a rally, guys, get a wee shot of that, man. That's such a fun game. Such a fun game. And yeah, I should be streaming on our Twitch channel just shortly. I'm going to get some food and stretch your legs, man. I might do a 5K or something to loosen up.
Don't blame me, man.
Yeah, I've not decided whether we're going to carry on with Doom yet. I kind of want to change it up. Can get boring doing the same thing over and over again. So we'll see. Probably around 8 p.m, 8:30. So in the next hour or so on our Twitch channel, guys, for anyone still here. And yeah, thank you again, everyone that stopped by. You know the usual stuff to do. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bells. It really helps us. And Chief, would you like to add anything before we go, my good friend?
Thanks for watching, everyone. I know it's a big kudos to How Monkey for sticking out the entire 3.5 hour event. And we'll see you guys next time.
Cheerio.